You just have to get it up fast enough. If you get a delayed Lotus, it's not going to feel great. If you're leading the pack with Lotus, it can feel amazing. And ATF likes these kind of builds. We could easily see some sort of Lotus, Lincoln's, Pango build this game, just so he can roll in and block some of the Slaughter Ramp, the Bane Grip. Demonic Purge, also very influential spell in this game off of the Shadow Demon first pick for Jin Q. Amazing Purge game. Versus the Pugna.
Yep.
Versus some of the buffs. Versus the Escape Act from this Ringmaster, right? The panel was talking about Nullifier. They might not need a Nullifier as fast as they normally would because they have Jin Q on the Shadow Demon that can provide that constant dispel for the first target you are trying to burst down. That first point of contact in the fights is going to be everything for both of these teams because of how XG have built their lineup.
That's fair enough. I think it's also worth mentioning Lotus Orb did kind of get a buff recently.
Provide that constant
It's just a little bit harder to see than it used to be.
I mean, maybe I'm just old. I always complain about the visual changes, but
yeah.
You know, you can't complain about it now. You've seen it before. You've played against it. This is a grand final. Step up or go home.
Nice two-man stun. And X-Nova almost kills Crit off of it. Two-man stun into a two-man blood grenade. Not too bad. Damage being dealt doesn't find the first blood. That is still on the table.
Don't want to get baited by this Ringmaster in the laning phase, though. This hero's very strong on the lane. You can always bait you in with stick charges, Lotus, potential strongman tonic, whoopee cushion action.
Yeah, the last thing you want to give him is a kill in lane, and then he starts snowballing off of those souvenirs he gets.
You just want to make sure he doesn't get anything out of it. If it goes even, you're pretty happy against this hero, particularly with the Bane. This is a good matchup for Ringmaster. Crit's going to do a little stacking on top of it as well.
Yeah, speaking of going even, it does look like the laning phase as a whole is going even, which is a good sign for Extreme. Last thing they want is to be at such a disadvantage they give up the Wisdom Shrine again. Disruption into a bash, into the crush, but the teleport is coming in, and now XXS is the one in trouble. It's first blood going to Snake King, and a second kill on the way. The Shadow Demon, he can do little to stop this Jin Q doing what he can against Skeeter, but I bet he's wishing he never popped that poison.
Sick TP from Crit. Instant on time, turns it around. That's a tough fight without the support coming in from the Ringmaster and his extra DPS. Big turnaround for the Gyro on this lane. That's a lane that could have swung either way off that kill attempt. Instead, it goes Falcon's way. Skeeter very happy about that experience. He'll get to go to base and come back now.
Yeah, with the boots pick up, he'll be back to base a little bit quicker, but it does mean that Falcons won't be able to min-max the advantage they got off of those kills. The Slardar able to play the lane solo for a little bit. Primal Roar and trying to secure the power rune. Don't get the power rune, so instead get the kill.
And no brain sap, no sleep for X-Nova there. Just gets taken down from the high ground. Secure the rune for XM, but how much can he do with the regen? Have to see. If I'm XG, I don't want to fall behind in economy again. I don't want to let these heroes become unkillable, which means getting some stacks up, making sure your Sven and SF are having a very good laning phase into that acceleration. And potentially making some plays.
බලන්න ඕන කියපු කට්ටිය ඔක්කොම ඊළඟ ස්ට්‍රීම් එකේදී ටයිම් අවුට්
the
කරනවා.
Bane setting some stuff up on the map. You do have this Bane SF combo where you can kind of see people into Requiem. You really want to play around that.
වම් පැත්ත ටීම් එක කෙලිම බායි චන්ඩි මල්ලි ඉස්සර ගහන ටීම් එක වගේ.
They are controlling the vision around this area.
පටන් අරන් තාම විනාඩි 5යි.
XG prioritizing.
තුන් දෙනෙක් මං හිතන්නේ මිඩ් එහෙම මලා.
This time around. I think that was a huge factor in that game too.
Absolutely.
You have to prioritize it a little bit here.
Yeah, Falcons are certainly not in a position to get aggressive in that regard. In fact, it's going to be
look at this.
Extreme who are going to get aggressive. Triple raise on an Ancient stack. That was the one point where I looked at Falcons saying, okay, they got a little bit of net worth lead, but if they also...
මං ආස එක හීරෝ කෙනෙක්වත් නැහැ මේ මැච් එකේ. අන්න මේ කැන්සිලාගේ ප්‍රියතම එකයින පුග්නා ඉන්නවනේ එහා
Not
පැත්තේ.
only a 6-minute power rune that you can use too aggressively, here, beautiful usage of it. Go steal some stacks, slow down the beast
Pugna.
map, accelerate the SF. And he still
Gyrocopter.
It's crazy. Puts XM in a very solid
සාමාන්‍ය ගයිරොකොප්ටර් එහෙම ඉන්න ටීම් එක පර දෙනවා අපි ගහද්දි.
People think of the XM sniper, but he's also been playing this Shadow Heat for a long time.
Jin Q gonna run into
සුපුල
Snake
සුප
King.
සන්දයාවක්.
A pick off perhaps. It's going to be up to Snake King if he can get off a Decrepify that's good enough and make a run for it, but they should just be able to tail him. Nobody around to help him out. The Gyrocopter's not going to join in on this. And especially if XM, they do have the Beastmen. They're trying to sandwich this right now, but it's 3 heroes. So it's not so simple as Maureen just running in for the roar.
Can't go in on XM there. He's way too strong.
නයිට් සුප
You have
සන්දයාවක්.
to think about the saves that actually have too. If you're Maureen here, like you go in and roar a target, that target gets disrupted, that target gets slept. your teamfight presence is going to be mitigated for a while. So he has to make sure his game is good. He's continuing to scale. Don't take too many bad early fights into the saves here.
Yeah, there are actually so many interactions here that Extreme have the answer to, right?
Shadow Demon
Thunder's gonna come in, they have
Sven
the answer for that.
happen.
If there is the single target stuns coming out, they have
මොකද්ද ගේ නම?
Disruption or Nightmare. Then you've
ඕක
got
ගහන්නේ උන් එහෙම මහ පට්ට කාලකන්‍ය පට්ටම annoying. මොකද මේ ඕක ගහන්නේ උන් හොඳට සෙල්ලම් කරන සාමාන්‍යයෙන්.
High potential for Extreme to be able to outplay Falcons, but are they going to be able to get there? As an early game does seem to favor Falcons for now.
Got some decent support levels, a lot of playmaking available. Their lineup does seem a little more
විනාඩි 10කට කලින් මැද ටවර් එකේ මත් ඉවරයි. අර එහා පැත්තේ එහා පැත්තේ මගේ ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නේ.
A higher impact before the Sven comes online. That could be a real point of contention.
Snaking, if you show here, it might be a triple raise in your future. Disruption, he's too far back. XM will not be able to catch that. They'll just make sure there's no deny here. Mid towers claimed by Extreme, and the SF, well, he's free to move around the map. He relied on X-Nova to get the sleep, but he doesn't. Oh, he does get in range.
He just got level 5, levels it up to 3, extra range.
And now it's going to be a stun into triple raise, potentially. They let him get off the shield crash, though.
What was that?
And because of that shield, where was the stun from Ame?
That was just bizarre.
හැබැයි ස්වෙන් ඉතින් පට්ට මේ පට්ට මේ ලේට් ගේම් ඕක හොඳට හැදුවොත් එහෙම උට ගහන්න පුළුවන් එහා පැත්තේ ඉන්න හැමෝටම තනියෙන්.
Strength now being on cooldown and a bit of the surprise spoiled Falcons. They'll bring numbers to this bottom lane push in Extreme. I think they're likely just to give this one away. XXS is having, you know, a fair time at the top lane. He's playing solo right now and chipping away at a tower, so there's really no need to risk fighting at bottom lane.
I thought the early portion of that lane was rough for XG, but they eventually kicked Skeeter out. Now he's the poorest core out of this lane phase. This Gyro just found almost nothing in terms of fighting after we saw that double kill that Crit TP'd into.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any ancient stacks to fall back on when he does get the farm for it. Now there's still plenty of time before that comes to fruition, but
this is great for XXS. He was struggling, now he gets a free lane. And XM, another ancient stack going to this Shadow Fiend. This is one of the best Shadow Fiend starts we've seen.
Yeah, this is actually just disgusting. You have a mid hero who wins its matchup so hard, takes the tower, that allows him to go into the triangle, and he's a stack player. That just means he's going to be playing both sides of these triangles.
Very influential tower to lose early in this game, particularly with the mid beast, who wants to protect those ancient stacks. Going to give a lot of freedom to XG here, and we are not seeing that same kind of run over from Falcons in that game too. You know, I think there were probably some concerns.
උගහන හීරෝ මොකවද මේකේ? මොකද මම උන්ගේ නම් දන්නේ නැහැ. මේකේ මේ උගහන හීරෝගේ නම කියන්නේ. එතකොට මට මතක තියාගන්න.
They have run into a brick wall here. They will not find the same momentum. Doesn't mean they can't still build it if they start getting some good team fights going their way, but it's getting to the point where you're going to have these early fighting items on the side of XG, and as long as you protect this Shadow Fiend, he's kind of a beast in the fight. No one's challenging him. Especially, you can't just all-in war him because the saves are behind.
Yeah. There's certainly always going to be a massive difference in Falcons and their tempo, because so much of it, faster tempo is played around Maureen. If he's playing Primal Beast, he wants to run around, get kills. He's playing Beastmaster, he's going to play far more to neutrals, a slower game. He wants to get his Aghanim Scepter first before he risks too much, and we're seeing the impact of that. 12-minute, an Invis room. They do have the Sentry in place for this one. Can X-Nova get the right Nightmare? Oh, Mark got himself stuck! Can he get out of this? The shield crash is stuck, and now he's going to be Fiend's grip. Just to make sure the Shadow Fiend gets away, X-Nova will die for it, but he sacrificed his life to make sure his mid laner does not go down. That was the most farmed core in this game. And Falcons, they should have had that kill.
Not the place or time to get stuck on the Pangolier.
No.
Reset that mentality and try again later. That's a botch kill on the SF. Good bailout from X-Nova, though. I think he might have been able to bail him out even if...
Beastmaster හිටින් උදේ ඉඳන් රාය වෙනකන් Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend. ඔය Shadow Fiend ගහන්නේ උන් එහෙම පට්ට කාලකන්නියෝ. හොඳ මොකද උන්ගේ 80ක් විතර පේස හොඳට ගහන්නේ උන් ඉන්නේ.
That's why Falcons were prioritizing him.
Yeah, with this Kaya Yasha, he doesn't need a blink tag to set up these Requiems, right? He's got X-Nova and he's got... I mean, both a Nightmare and a Disruption are probably good enough for him to get off a Fiend's Grip or a Requiem of Souls that leads into a double or triple raise. And Anybody's going to die to that.
Thing is, all that goes out the window if you just get going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Which means Falcons can't afford to separate too much, which is maybe part of why Extreme has set up the draft the way they did, right? They have solo kill pickoff around the map. Falcons will have to play a little bit more cluttered than they were able to do in the past. They can't rely on just the tankiness of their heroes in this game.
And Staking, you are not on Enchantress anymore.
They spotted and disruption to stop the TP. They
Wait.
can give the kill to whoever they want. XXS will nab it as he wants it.
ලංකාවේ DOTA stream කරන channel ලංකාවේ DOTA stream කරන්න නැද්ද කට්ටිය? මං හිතුවේ ලංකාවේ ඕන තරම් කට්ටියද කියලා DOTA stream කරන්න. ලංකාවේ එහෙන ප්‍රසිද්ධයිනේ DOTA.
That's true. Yeah, he's no longer on the Enchantress.
It's like,
Gonna
this
do a lot for you.
This is how ganking a 5 is supposed to feel.
I love this. Look at the XXS is hiding his blink dagger. It's sitting on this courier, just hiding in the trees.
We get some value out of this. There's that dire ward up there. Might scout it, but
Yeah, I do wonder if it saw the courier at any point in time, or if it sees him.
there's a
Any back-
ඕල ගමු
for
දෙන්න
XG,
පොඩ්ඩයි.
though. Even for them out of lanes, I feel like
Paul.
that's a slight victory for them.
Do you think that favors them draft-wise? Not as a team, but draft-wise, do you feel like this is a draft that as long as you come out even, you're actually favored? I think so.
I think for the mid game, yeah, because your Roche threat is so high with the Sardo, right?
Yes.
You get one core pick off, the thing's just gonna insta die.
මම මේ කල්පනා කරන්නේ ලංකාවේ අර මේ නයිට් ගේ මණ්ඩුකයාගේ පැකේජ් එක යවන DHL එකේ මොකද DHL එකෙන් මට ලාභයි. අනිත් එකට වඩා හැබැයි ලංකාවේ DHL එක පට්ට දොජි. යවුවොත් එහෙම හම්බෙන්නේ නැති සීන් එකක් තියෙනවා.
What a snatch in this game. You'll gladly trade a support to take this away from this Sardar lineup.
Extreme had literally just gone for their, okay, we're strong enough to go for a smoke. Any sort of pick off will lead to Roshan. They were ready for that move, but Falcons one step ahead of them and taken away a critical objective.
That was very clutch on the timing. They got the Beastmaster eggs, they go in the pit, they read the map, absolutely on point. And if you don't run interference there with the Ringmaster, there's a chance that smoke just goes into the pit and you just jump it when it pops, right?
Yep.
4 minutes on the clock here for Malrine. He can now push a little more aggressively, have a lot more presence in the team fight, work towards his scaling with that BKB, try and create some space on the map for this
නයිට් එක FedEx එකෙන් එවල හැබැයි මණ්ඩුකයාගේ item එකත් වටින item එකක් ඕකුම්
especially when he's up against so much.
මේ ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට කියලා කරොත් එහෙනම් අපරාධේ මං FedEx එකෙන් මෙවන්න.
Gotta wonder how easily he's going to be able to join the fight, but he can absolutely recover very quickly here. Malrine gets some action going. XG on the hunt.
They're going to fight into Malrine, but Crit and Snaking are behind him here.
Yeah, it's a
Give him the
tough
heals, wait out the Demonic Purge, and the Escape Act is ready now that the Demonic Purge is gone. Not required, though. Extreme do not force anything. Seek few heroes, no reason to fight into this Aegis.
Yeah, that's not the target you want to go on with your single burst lineup. Hunt this Pango? Sure. Hunt this Gyro? Absolutely. They're eyeing him up. Look at X-Nova on the back. Can he get him off the haste, though?
Oh, he's so close, but a blink away. Out of range and now out of sight.
That was some sick positioning. That is not a move I think Amar expected. He doesn't have haste. He goes down there for sure. You just get slept into Requiem.
Well, we haven't even mentioned the two carries too much in this game. Ame is certainly getting the better of the situation. 9,300
FedEx එකේ වැඩ කරන උන් 90 තමයි මොකද දැන් බලන්න මෙයාට එහෙම ගියාන කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැතුව මේ කවුද නෙට්ටයි මොබටයි
That little cliff.
ඒසයක් උනේ නැහැ නේද දෙන්නට.
Dude, the little river cliffs causing Falcons problems. It's game 3.
You know what's funny? This Aegis that they got for themselves, it's
අනිවාර්යෙන් ඔය ස්ටාෆ් එකේ සීන් එකක් තියෙන සමහර යෝන් පට්ට හොරු සමහර යෝන් හොඳයි ඔය
I
මේ
mean, this was not an Aegis they take for their lineup. This is an Aegis you take away from XG. Sure.
සොෙන් ගහන එක අදවාර කියූප එක.
But it does mean you'll have to contest.
මං එහෙම මගේ සොෙන් එහෙම ගත්තොත් අනිවා පැරදි. චන්ඩි මල්ලි නෑ නෑ හිටපන් මම ගහන්නම් ඔබට බෑ කියලා ගන්නවනේ. ඕක ගත්තාම ඕක මට වඩා පැරදි. කෙලින්ම දන්සල් පටන් ගත්ත වෙලේ ඉඳන්.
Oh, XXS, what was that?
ඕකගේ මං හන කෝතෝගේ ස්ටන් එකේද කියලා නෑ නෑ ස්ටන් එක දැම්මලු බොරුවට ඕක.
That was almost
ඕක
harder than
බොරුමයි
it
කියන්නේ.
Really
ඉස්සර.
was. He had to walk away from his blink. Whoopsies.
Extra life for Falcons to play with here. I mean, it's still a good rebuttal from XG. You bring Ame into the fight, you just decimate the Pugna. Gotta feel good about that. This Sven is excavating the map right now.
He is so far ahead of this gyrocopter right now.
I mean, just look at the levels, right? Level 15 and a half on the Sven, level 12 on the Gyro. XG have the two highest level cores in this game, and it is the Sven and the Shadow Fiend. Those are good levels to have on these heroes.
ටර්බෝ කියන්නේ ඩොටාම තමා ඒකේ මේ ගෝල්ඩ් එහෙම earn කරන ස්පීඩ් එක වැඩි. ගේම් ෆාස්ට්. මොකද ඩොටා ගේම්ස් එහෙම මාර ගොඩක් වෙලා යනවා විනාඩි 40ක් විතර යනවා එක ගේම් එකක් ගන්න.
Not likely to fight. So good call for Falcons. A pick off there and pulls that net worth almost back to even.
I think XG didn't expect him to linger up here this much. They had two wards up on that top lane. In theory, a lot of information, but Falcons played to the left of it. They waited for a hero to show, and they want to take that tower down and occupy this part of the map because you are looking towards that 20-minute tormentor. Another easy objective for XG to take if you don't take it first. If you control this part of the map, could set that fight up a lot easier, and we're still seeing Malrine just camp this area. He does not want to give this corner to XG while he has Aegis for another minute.
Xnova spotted by Malrine. They get he's faster with it, gets off the Nightmare. Still though, the Nightmare is traded away, and Malrine does not have to roar to get the kill. He just casually runs him down. 40 seconds left on the Aegis, 20 seconds left on his roar.
Absolute Tormentor control here for Falcons. Playing the objective as well, giving up a little more farm to XG to do it, but they're okay making that trade if they can continue to slow down the Slardar's game progression.
I like this though. XM, he's reading the positioning of Falcons around the map and is trying to take objectives where he can as a result. If he can pull some heroes down here, then maybe that means Extreme get the better control of the Tormentor as it spawns.
You're also just trying to get as much XP off the map right now, because if you can get to the level 18 on your two cores that are really high level, level 3 Requiem, level 3 God Strength would go a long way, especially when you're amping a lot of this damage.
Oh, ටර්බෝ ගේ ප්‍රධාන පරමාර්ථයම ගේම් එකට අග්ගාලා ඉවර කරන එක.
Blink BKB Requiem. I don't know if Malrine can be fast enough to Primal Roar to stop it, and if he can't do it, nobody else can.
That's your only option when this guy goes in.
Ooh, amp damage. I mean, he had an Arcane Rune before. I was wondering if they were going to make a play with that, but as you said, he's just trying to farm up as quick as possible right now. Extreme. Maybe for a later time.
අර අලුත් එක මම දන්නේ නැහැ මේ දකුණු පැත්තේ කෙළවරේම ඉන්න කවු අලුත් හීරෝ කෙනෙක්. මම ගහන කාලේ ඌ හිටියේ නෑ. ඒකයි ඔය මේ නිකන් ඔය මොකක්ද එකක් ආවේ පොළොවේ යටින් ඇවිල්ලා මුන් මේ කැඩුවේ එක. එව්වා එහෙම තිබ්බේ නෑ මං ගහපු කාලේ. මම ඒකයි කිව්වේ මේ කැඩ්ජිලා ඔයාර කෝච් කරන්න කිව්වහම
got a little spotlight action, so we'll see 30% miss chance. I mean, when you have a bunch of physical damage and minus armor.
Yeah, very true. Could be influential here.
Missing a single hit could make you miss the kill. XXS and Amar right next to each other. Oh, they both blink back in terror. Neither certain of their position in that one.
මුම් එකේ මැප් එකේ එහෙම අර RTX එහෙම මේ දාන්නේ නැහැ මොකද ඩොටා ගහන්නේ 98%ක්ම මං හිතන්නේ පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නිකන් GTX 760s
feel like we're getting all the critical items for both sides.
GTX series එකේ graphic card පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. නෑ නෑ අපි ඉස්සර ගැහුවේ normal ඩොටා. ඔය මේක ඇද්දිලාලා තමයි මෙව එහෙම ගහන්නේ මේ turbo.
This is an insane pace for him. Amp damage still in the bottle.
They give them the Wisdom Shrine to get him to 18.
He is crushing it right now. And you're still looking at
this gyro. Low energy soy boys that are on the
in the fight that you can play around. He's just so far behind. And he can just die.
normal
There's level 18 for XM. They want to smoke it up. Try and use something with the back end of this amp damage rune. Absolutely devastating if you can connect.
BKBs. XXS may not have his, but all they need for him is an initiation. But Ame already has that covered. They get the jump on a Snake King and XXS, the finishing blow.
That was some overkill, but they do get the Pugna for another time in this game. And another
Arcane Root. Did he just get Arcane into amp damage into Arcane?
I believe he did.
විනාඩි 40ක් විතර විනාඩි 40ක් ගහලා පරදින්දි තමයි ඒකනේ මේ කම්පියුටර් එකේ මුස්සලා පොළවේ ගහන්න හිතෙන්නේ. නැත්තම් සමහර වෙලාවට විනාඩි 35ක් විතර එක දිගට දිනලා අන්තිම විනාඩි 10 පරදිනවා. එහා පැත්තේ ඒ කියන්නේ මුළු ගේම් එක පුරාවටම කලේ ඉඳන් ෆාම් කරලා ඇවිල්ලා මුළු ටීම් එකටම ගහලා මුළු ටීම් එකටත් ගහලා තවසුත් ඔක්කොම කඩලා එන්චන්ට් එකත් කඩලා යනවා.
You almost want a faster Roche here.
They
get more online.
They have kept the net worth even though. Yes. And it may not be the gyrocopter, but these other cores are pretty farmed. Beastmaster and the Pango.
අහුණා කියන්නේ ඒක උස්සලා පොළවේ ගහනවා. ඔක නිකනොත් කොට සයිස් එකත් ඔගේ කොටානේ.
It depends on getting a good roar without the save coming through and getting a good roll through from the bar.
Good pick. Maureen exercising some restraint. Once again, runs into
ඔය පේන්නේ නැද්ද? අර මේ දැන් ඔය මැරුණ එක උන් එහෙම ආල් කෑලි. ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් වල එහෙම ඉස්සලාම මැරෙන්නේ. මම ඒකයි කිව්වේ මේ ගේම් එකේ දෙපැත්තෙම ලේට් ගේම් අර මේ හොඳ හයිය හත්තිය තියෙන උන් නෑ.
What are you going to do as Falcons? What's the game plan? If we get to a triple BKB timing, you can roar one of these heroes. But the others are just going to run at you.
Your target should be XM. Roar this Shadow Fiend, bring him down with gyro committing, and let the roll through cover on the backside.
මං ආසම ඒ කියන්නේ වගේ දැන් ටීම් එකෙත් ඔය ගද්දි මං ආසම නැති උන් තමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ සපෝට් කියලා. හොඳ හයිය හත්තිය තියෙන දැන් ඔය මේ ඕගමගයි එහෙම හොඳ හයිය හත්තිය තියෙන supports la.
Damage dealers. Decrep might bail you out a little bit. Escape Act might bail you out. Depends when that demonic purge comes through. This ward is scouting mid, but they did not. They barely saw
XM and Ahmed.
See ya.
He is not playing games. He is not being coy. He just goes straight to the support, takes the kill that he can get out of it. Use the God Strength for that. Unfortunately for him, it is a late Roshan spawn. So Roshan is not up for them to take. And Extreme Gaming will still have to play a 5-on-5 for control of the pit.
I think they would have just manned up for it there if it had spawned.
අම්මා අරුගේ ස්ලාඩත් හැබැයි හොඳයි. ඕකටත් හොඳ සහයිය හත්තිය තියෙනවා. එහා පැත්තේ ඉන්න චොරයුන් එක බලද්දි
sneak that away a second time.
ස්ලාඩයි මේ සොයනොයි.
And Skeeter just has to get BKB here and pray he can survive in the fights. Timely Decrep could bail him out.
එක පාරක්වත් පික්කුන්නේ නැහැ.
Escape Act could do the same, but if Demonic Purge lands on this gyro,
ඕගව එහෙම ගහන්න මං වගේ එකෙක් ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ එහා පැත්තේ මොකා ගත්තත් හරිද?
that connection pivotal
එහා
for
පැත්තේ
XG.
උන් මොකා ගත්තත් මම ගන්න ඕගව. මම සපෝට් ගහනවා නම් එහෙම.
And yeah, that SFX.
අර මේ 600 IQ 4D chess ගහන්නේ උන් ඔක්කොම කන්ෆියුස් වෙලා යනවා. මොකද උන් හිතන්නේ මම මේක ගත්තොත් අනිත් පැත්තෙන් අනිවාර්යෙන් මාව කවුන්ටර් කරන්න මේක ගන්නෙ. මං හදන අයිටම් මෙහෙමත් කෙලින්ම ඕකට මං හදනවා මේක මොකක්ද දන්නවද? Art of Task එක.
I mean, the funny part is they have saves.
ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් ටීම් එකේ උන් සාමාන්‍ය සපෝට් එකේ ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ගහන්න try කරන්නේ. මට ගහද්දි උන් බලන යකෝ මේක මැරෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ කොච්චර ගැහුවත්.
Messy. You never know if that jump is actually good or if you're just going to be playing into the enemy's hands.
But that's where the Shadow Demon comes in. He's that balance breaker. Throw Demonic
දෙන්නෙක්
Purge on
එක
the
සෙල්ලම්
target,
කරද්දි
even
මාර
jump.
ෆන්
Falcon
ඕක.
saves don't do anything.
මොකද මේ
Yeah, but that also
අර
requires
අපි
the
ඉස්සර
Shadow
කියන්නේ
Demon to
දුවද්දී
play
දැවි යනවා
forward
කියලා.
enough
උගේ අර
that, you know,
ගිනි අරගෙන
maybe he just gets
දුවද්දී
jumped
දැවි
by
යන
the
එක එහෙම
Rolling Thunder
දාන්න
hit.
මාර ෆන්. හැබැයි දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නෝනේ. තනියෙන් ගහද්දි හරි අමාරුයි. මොකද මේ ලේන් එකේ ඉන්න එකාගෙන් බැනුම් ආහා.
As Lotus done, he can go in verse the grip.
About it. How many heroes are in these trees? He doesn't know. The boar is scouting out for him.
He cannot go in too deep. The Lotus will buy him sometime against the grip, but it's not infinite, right? And if Nova's positioning is really good, then you get grip deep in enemy lines. You're going to really sacrifice your team's formation here. Nonetheless, Roche is up. Ags is done.
Level 20. Aghanim Scepter Shadow Fiend.
He's a monster. He's just a straight monster right now. You have to tag this guy in the fight.
I feel like we've been hyping up this Requiem for like 15 minutes. And it's just getting better and better. But when is Extreme finally going to pull the trigger on it?
මේ ගේම් වල ඔහොම තමයි අර ගහන්න
This is at the
ෆන්
point
එකම
where
නර්ෆ්
you have the
කරනවා.
BKB on the starter. You have everything you need to fight. It puts you in a position you have to just force the Roche if Falcons don't want to give you that 5-on-5. If they want to buy time for Skeeter, you do it
ඊයේ
incredibly
නින්දකින්
fast.
මණ්ඩුකට දිනන ටීම් එක කැන්සිලා ඔයා සපෝට් කරන ටීම් එකට ප්‍රතිවිරුද්ධවාදී ටීම් එක දිනන්නේ. ඕකට ආයි ෆෝල් දදා ඉන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔයා සපෝට් කරන ටීම් එක කියන්නේ එතකොට ඔටෝ අනිත් ටීම් එක
That would have
පැරදි.
been the perfect pickup. Take away this big initiator. It could threaten the Bane and the Shadow Demon in these fights, but they do not break. Come so close to him, and instead they will just back up. They've cleared out the area. They know that Falcons isn't around. They think this will give them enough time to do the Roshan. We'll see if Falcons contest.
So XG, they kill the boars. They know Falcons are going to respond. They'd rather take the fight than get low in the pit. Ward plays from crit, trying to see anything for the jump. But XG, they take the high ground. It's going to have to be blind here from
Seeing some heroes. The Rolling Thunder. Mar holds off on it.
X Nova making some moves on the left. Going up blind, looking for an angle.
XXS.
Oh, he might just run into a
running
bar.
right up there, and they managed to find the Pango. The Pango's the one in trouble. He gets the roll up. He's demonic purge, so he has to Rolling Thunder now. XM goes to the Requiem. It doesn't get an easy kill. They chase after Snake King. They'll get that one. But they've blown a lot for this. Meanwhile, the Roar gets used on the Sven.
ටිකක් අර මේ අහක ගියපු
He's got the BKB.
මං හිතන්නේ මොකක්ද
What's he
ඔය
gonna
එකට
do?
වැදුනේ.
Can he try to fight? Oh, yeah, he can. He brings down Maureen.
අම්මා පේනවද ස්වෙන්ගේ කොහොමද වදිනෙව්වා
With XXS chasing down
මම කිව්වේ නැද්ද පටන් ගද්දි මම කිව්වේ නැද්ද
Falcons.
ස්වෙන් මේ
What a clutch turnaround from Ame.
එහා පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ
Disruption
මං
buys him some time.
මෙන්න මේකයි ඔය මේ 600 IQ play කරද්දී කෙලවෙන්නේ ඔන්න ඕකයි දැන් බලන්න එහා පැත්තේ උන්
Extreme take a 6K
මේ ස්වෙන් එක් තරම් ශක්තිමත් එකෙක් නැහැ නේ උන් ගාව දැන් ඕකොන්ට උන් පන්න පන්න ගහනවා ස්වෙන් එක කියන්නේ ස්ට්‍රෝං වුණොත් එහෙම කඩුව වනද්දී අර පුක්න ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ඉවරයි හරිද
Oh, yeah, it did not get a quick kill like we were theorizing it could do. It pushes Snake King in a
ස්වෙන්
bad
අර
position,
දොටේ
but yeah, most
ගහද්දී
Falcons dodge
පුක්නට
that
වදින්නේ
damage.
හරිද අර බලන්නකෝ අර පොඩි ස්ටෑන්ඩ් එකක් ඇහුව උඹලා
found his mark on this ward. Did a significant chunk of Ame's damage, but you can't finish him off. This is the gyro
Use.
problem, right? Skeeter doesn't offer you enough physical burst.
සේටනික් එකකුත් නැහැ සේටනික් එක නැතුව අර මේ ජින්ජිබිරිස් එකේ මූ මෙහෙම ගහන්නේ
1600 damage apiece.
හොඳ වැඩේ එහා පැත්තේ උන්ට
Relax. It's gonna be a long series.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm sure Falcons can feel it. This
මොකද ගේම් උනත් මොනවා වුණත් හැමතිස්සෙම යන්නේ දැන් MMA වල එහෙම MMA වල බොක්සිං වල weight classes තියෙන ඒකනේ මොකද හොඳ ශක්තිමත් එකෙක් එක්ක තව හොඳ ශක්තිමත් එකෙක් ඉන්න ඕනේ එහා පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ ඔක්කොම පාන් කෑලි බලන්නකො එකෙක් නැහැ අරුගේ මේ attack
Trying to hunt for some farm and pull back.
They can survive කරන්න පුළුවන්
Three of extreme though.
This beast has
මේ
to do
පැත්තේ
some heavy
ස්ලාඩත්
lifting
ඉන්නවා
here. It's still going to be time before Skeeter can deliver a punch equal to what this lineup's doing, which means you have to rely on the Beastmaster's damage. I mean, he did a
බලන්න
significant amount of
8000යි
damage to Ame. If he has one more item there, he might just be able to
8000යි
bring him down. The
මේ
save came out a little slow because no one
Gap
was really
එක දැස්.
looking at that part of the fight.
Says a lot that he feels like he has to go back for the Satanic rather than completing the Daedalus.
I mean, Satanic on this hero is also a lot of damage.
දැන් මං එහෙම එහා පැත්තේ සොයින් ඉන්නවා දැක්කොත් එහෙම මෙහෙම මං ඉතින් කොහොමත් ගන්නේ ඕගව දැන් ඒ වුණත් මං එහා පැත්තේ චීස් කෑලි ඉන්නවා නම් එහෙම මේ මෙයාව එහෙම ගන්නවා ක්‍රිස්ටල් මේඩන් එහෙම එහෙම නැත්තම් එහෙම දැන් එහා පැත්තේ ඔය සොයින් වගේ එකකින් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම සපෝට් ඉන්න ඕනේ ඕග වගේ එකෙක්
And now we have a demonic cleanse on top of a demonic purge.
A little bit of extra
දැන් එහා පැත්තේ
sustain,
එක
why not?
එක සපෝට් එකෙක් නෑ ගහන්න බලන්න
Again, just
අන්න
been
පුක්නා
hounded.
Gets there on just the last half second.
පුක්නා කෙලින්ම දන්සල් පුක්නා ගහන එක පුක්නා ගහන එක දන්සලක් දාලා
So
තියෙන්නේ
he was
So tanky now.
අන්න 12000ක් දුන්න දැන් අරුන් කලින් හිටියේ 8000යිද කොහෙද
And you're just not even talking about the extra armor and regen he's going to get out of sitting in these pools.
If he is in a puddle when you go on him, it feels like you lost the fight in a way, right? Especially if you commit big ults onto him. Especially with the status resistance on top of that. Ame hunting.
They have a scan on him. Ame, not worried about it. He says, this kill isn't even worth me chasing. You guys can have at it, though. X-Nova, Jin Q. They'll hunt down Crit on the sides of the map. Oh, they'll leave the kill to XM. So nice. Nice dodge. And it means that X-Nova will end up taking the
අරුගේ
kill
දැන්
with the
බහින කලාව
poison.
Yeah, Ame, he doesn't have time for it. He's got better things to do here.
Yeah, he's got 2
වැඩේ
minutes on
කියන්නේ
the
දැන්
clock for this
පුක්කට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ
Aegis.
ස්වෙන්
Time to do
ඉන්නවනේ
some damage.
ස්වෙන් වෙන එකෙක්ට ගහද්දිත් උගේ අර තියෙනවනේ AOE එකක් උගේ පැසිව් උගේ පැසිව් AO එකෙන් පුක්න මැරෙනවා ඌ කොච්චර ඒ කියන්නේ ළඟට ගියොත් ඉවරයි
Gyro, it's not even funny. It's just not a fair fight.
No, it's not. He's almost got a 10,000 net worth lead on the opposing carry. It's ridiculous.
This was an important game for XG to strike back in, especially with this draft.
ඔය
because
ඕනාවට
again,
වඩා
you're trying to
මේ
answer the
මෙටා
problem, which is
මෙටා
Falcons
ෆලෝ
saying,
කරාමත් ඔන්න ඕක තමයි වෙන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඕනම දෙයක්
"We took
කරද්දි
out all
common
those
sense
tempo
කියන
makers,
එකත්
just
follow
jump
කරන්න
stunners.
ඕනේ
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to pick? Their reply was the Slardar. If you win a game with this,
මොකද මේ ස්වෙන්ට චැලෙන්ජ් කරන්න එහා පැත්තේ එකෙක් නෑ එකෙක් මං කියන්නේ ඒක චැලෙන්ජ් කරන්න එකෙක් මම ස්වෙන්ට පුළුවන් තනියෙන් ගහන්න උන් අර මුළු ටීම් එකටම
moves out of Falcons, especially around that Roshan pit, because of the threat on objectives it gives you. And now you're getting into the part where it's going to give you benefit for the scaling.
I would also point to the mid matchup, right?
ඔය
XM
මේ
having
බීස්
the
මාස්ටර්
Shadow
එහෙම
Fiend,
ඉතින්
this will do
ජිල්
wonders
ගහන්න
for
තමා
them in this
තියෙන්නේ.
matchup because most of Malraine's
අනික
heroes
ඔය
are
ෂැඩෝ
these
ෆීල්ඩ්
melee
එහෙමත්
mids.
පට්ට
If he keeps
මේ
on being
ඌ
abused
අර
by a Shadow
ස්ට්‍රෝං ඒ
Fiend
වගේ
that
පට්ට
takes his
වදයක්
tower so
ඕක.
early and still continues to keep up by farming neutrals as
ෂැඩෝ
well.
ෆීන් ෂැඩෝ ඩීමන් ඔක්කොම ඉන්නවා එහා පැත්තේ.
What's a big factor of this game? Limiting the lane damage Falcons were able to put out. And now they're on the back foot. The lead is continuing to grow. So it's a beneficial Aegis period for XG. Ame still on the hunt.
අරුගාව
Looking
හාට්
towards
එක
bottom
තියෙනවනේ
lane. Once
මේ
upon,
රොෂාන්ගේ.
didn't get crit either. Falcons in dodge mode and dodging successfully right now.
Gonna have to make a lot of moves like
ඕ
that.
සුවෙන් ගාව
And
තියෙන අර
Lamar-
ආබැක් එක්ස්පයර් වෙන්නේ යන්නේ.
Well, though gets the roll up. Now the Rolling Thunder and the Lotus Orb. And the teleport away. He's good.
There's a chance you bash him there. It's not possible.
අර පැංගෝ ගහන එක ඉතින්
XXS. Didn't have the numbers for it yet.
උට පුළුවන් ඉතින් පැනලා යන එක විතරයි දැන්.
But in the
ඌ එනවා
future,
පැනලා යනවා එනවා පැනලා යනවා.
Look for the hero farming the other side of the map. XG just playing really aggressive right now. They just want to find anything. And another amp damage for XM, almost level 25 himself. Lincoln's here
අන්න
done.
ඩබල් ඩැමේජ්
Can't even
අරකට.
go and roar this guy easily anymore.
it's just flat out a guaranteed ultimate. Oh boy, Falcons. Well, Satanic's done. Back to the data list for Skeeter. Stall, stall, stall. Maybe Skeeter gets to a point he can get a Divine Rapier after the data list. Swift Blink done for this fan. That's
අනිත් පැත්තේ ගොන්නු ටික හැබැයි මේ ඩිවයින් රේප් එක ගත්තොත් එහෙම මොකද ඕක යන්නේ සොෙන්ට අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ඩිවයින් රේප් එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඕ ගත්ත එක මෑරෙනවා මොකා ගත්තත් හරිද කොන්ද පණ නැති උන් ඉන්නේ එහා පැත්තේ පැංගොලියට දුන්නා නම් එහෙම ඕක මෙහෙම උට ඩැමේජ් කරන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැවත ඕක නළුතනේ පැනලා යන්න හරි පුළුවන්
Bash from Pango, roar from the beast. There's a good blink out from ATF.
ඔය
Not
පේන්නේ
getting
නැද්ද?
caught there. XG will
ගොනා විතරක් නෙමෙයි ඌ අර මට කියන්න ඕන වචනේ මේ
Shivas for the Beastmaster.
කියන්න බෑ පැංගෝ ගහන්නේ වුණොත් එහෙමයි අර
That's a huge item.
පණ නැති උන්
Full
ගහන්නේ
armor mitigation here. There's all this minus armor from the Slardar SF. I just think this gyro build-up's awkward. Like, this is a game you must have wanted Butterfly in. And you just could never fit it in because you were too far behind. So you don't have evasion, you don't have bonus armor. It just feels like you're food unless the team bails you out.
ආම්ම සේටන් එකේකුත් හදාගෙන ඉන්නෙමු
XXS is hunting. He's not going to find anything. That's because Falcons are sitting 5 inside their base right now. That's where we're at.
පොක්ඩාකව දන්සලක් දාලා
Malrine have to
තියෙන්නේ
smoke out or something, regain some map control. Do have a gem on Malrine, so if you move out with him, should be able to get some D-wards. See if he spots this ward up on that top lane. They all run past it, but it does not get scouted by the gem yet. Giving XG a lot of information to play off of. Another power rune for XM. It's just been gobbling him up in the river.
I mean, at this point, Falcons, they can't really know this, but the side lanes are being heavily patrolled by Extreme, but it's just XM in the middle part of the map. When you're trying to rat like this, you don't usually want to go to the middle part of the map, but that might be their best opportunity to create an opening. Just they get the Shadow Fiend off the map, that gives them 60, 70 seconds to work with.
It's just not the logical jump. Like, you don't see this SF city mid and they say he's alone. Let's go just smoke and jump him, and it's going to work out. It does not feel comfortable to play this map right now, and this ward is still available top for XG, just scouting a lot out.
කවුද එකෙක් non stop ping කරන කවුද
Also a great ward for Falcons. Amar, he's like, I want to use this, guys.
Seeing XXS, I just can't see a world where they go on the Slardar, and it's good for them, and instead Amar's going to be the one jumped. A roll up and a rolling thunder. Away he goes, hits a bash, a little bit of damage, and blinks away. It's XM, actually now. XM's in trouble. There's a disruption save though, and Ame right on the front line to bail out his Shadow Fiend. The hit's coming in. Malrine, he can't survive. 28 damage, and more's coming for you. A good whip from Crit will keep them off of Skeeter's tail, but that damage had to put fear into Falcons. Staking, he delays it.
පොක්ඩා මොන මොන පකර නැත්තද දැක්ක දරුව ඇවිල්ලා උට කිව්වුවක් ගියා විතරයි ඌ බලා මොන මොඩේද හොඳ වැඩේ ඕක එයා පැත්ත ටීම් එකේ උට හොඳ වැඩේ උන් පුං ඇවිල්ලා යකෝ මම හරිද ගේම් එක අවුරුදු 5ක් ගහලවත් නැහැ හරිද අවුරුදු 5ක් ගහලා නැහැ මේකේ නම් හීරෝස්ලා ගැන මොකුත් දන්නෙත් නැහැ හරිද අර මොනවද අලුත් අයිටම්ස් ටිකක් මම බෙදලා මම මුන්ව කෝච් කරා නම් එහෙම මෙහෙම පරදින්නේ නැහැ හරිද පරදී ඒ වුණත් මෙහෙම නම් පරදින්නේ නැහැ මොකද යකෝ මම මුන්ට ඉස්සෙල්ලාම කියන්නේ තෝරණේ උන් තෝරපල්ලා හරියට මේ සුන්ව සර්වයිව් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒ උන් කියලා
refresher done for the Shadow Fiend. If you thought it was bad before,
support yung ඔක්කොම මේ කවුද spirit breaker හරිද මං කියන්නම් සොයෙන්ව superior එකම survive කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ support yung spirit breaker ogre හරිද මේ ඊට පස්සේ අනිත් පැත්තේ ඉන්න ඕනේ නිකන් අර්සා වගේ අර්සා වගේ හොඳ හයිය හත්තිය තියෙන
Falcons were in this position where they couldn't actually play active, they couldn't go for kills.
නොද්දකේ මුගේ කෝච් ලාරගේ උස්සලා ගහන්න ඕනේ පොළොවේ යකෝ කවුද මුන්ට මේ හීරෝස්ලා ගන්න කියන්නේ මුන් ඉතින් දැන් ඉතින් මුන්ට මේ ඇස් දෙක වහගෙන ගහන්න තියෙන්නේ මොකද මේ පැත්තේ ස්වෙන්ට අමතර අරුත් ඉන්නවනේ ස්ලාඩත් එන හයිය හත්ති තියෙන එක කෝකගේ අර මේ අර ෂීල්ඩ් බ්‍රේක් එකේම දැම්මහම තනියෙන් ගහන්න තියෙන රිස්වෙන්ට ගිහිල්ලා ක්‍රිට් එක වගේ මං හිතන්නේ එක ක්‍රිට් එකෙන් භාගයකට පුක්න මැරෙනවා
There's the gyro Daedalus. This is some damage for Falcons. I mean, this is a Hail Mary.
It is. They gotta somehow find the initiation, but if they're gonna do it without without a mid
ඉස්සරහ කියන්නේ ආව මල මං කියේ පුක්න පටන් ගත්ත වෙලේ ඉඳන් මේ දන්සලක් දාලා තියෙනවා
Skater, oh man.
ඔය එනවා යනවා Not the king යකෝ කවුද පුංගේ මේ කෝච්
Just for the fun. Just for the hell of it. He's got another one. Why not?
දැන් ඉතින් බලන් ඉන්න මුන් අර කක්ෂයායකේ අනිත් ටීම් එකේ කක්ෂයායකේ ඉඳලා බලන් ඉන්නවා මුන්ගේ අර මේ කැම්ප් එකට ගහන එක
They do manage to get that jump on XM, but there's the Lincolns. Now a refresh. You have to go through another Lincolns. You don't have a roar to do so. XM jumps, hits the back line with the red
මලා නොදකින් ඕකන
back up. And this is completely dumpster. Extreme gaming.
මේ
You thought that was good in game 2. You thought Falcons, they had the advantage.
Not the king.
That they made a statement. Well, Extreme come right back and
ඔන්න
make a
ඕකයි
statement of their
මෙටා
own.
හැම පුකේ ගහගන්න කියලා කොමන් සෙන්ස් වලින් ගහුවනම් එහෙම ඒ කියන්නේ පැරදුනත් මෙහෙම පරදින්නේ නැහැ මං කියන්නේ
from a title that he has sought for so long, and he has been here 2 times before, right on the precipice.
The back and forth between China
චන්දිමල්ලි
and the international
ඇත්ත ප්‍රොෆයිල් එකේ නම කියන්න නැත්නම් මම පර්මනන්ට් ටයිම් අවුට් කරනවා මම දන්නවා ඇත්ත චන්දිමල්ලි නෙමෙයි කියලා
at that TI8 final
ඇත්ත
and
එක
once
නෑ
again he is just one game away.
You can just feel it. Like, this team has momentum.
ඒකෙන්ද චන්දිමල්ලි කරුණා කරලා කියන්නේ ඇත්ත ප්‍රොෆයිල් එකේ නම
what they did yesterday. They had to play another series today. The quick turnaround, going into a BO5 against a very tough team. They have not had the easy road. I'm sure they are fatigued. I'm sure they are tired. But this is a time to push through it and claim that Aegis, because you may never get another chance.
One more game. Can they do it in game 4? Let's head back to the
චන්දිමල්ලි ඇත්ත ප්‍රොෆයිල් එකේ නම කියන්න
for Extreme. It's really getting hot now here in the Barclays Arena. They are so close. Of course, Falcons will have another shot of pushing to that next game. But we're going to find out what they come up with in the next game. But first, we're going to break down this game because this was a combination of both games in one, where we started out fairly slow again first, Higo.
Yeah, it's kind of like the discipline of the game, right? You have to see a little bit of the map, but then take it back when you can. And, you know, I think critically, Arme, right? He loses his early tower on the Sven, but he then just defensively farms. He just chills. He knows what he has to do. He identifies when and, you know, where to enter the game. And I feel like every time we see XG win a game, we're going to be overly praising the excellent Jinq on the supports, the SD, the Bane, how much work they did throughout this entire game to ensure that Falcons, anytime they want to enter a fight, Armin's fully protected, enabling XM as well. The supports in XG are just incredible.
Yeah, and also, I will say it's a little surprising to me that Falcons decided to pick these supports into
time out
the SD. I feel like XG had a really good idea coming into this game. You take the opportunity and you know that the partner is very likely to come out, so you take the SD already as the first pick, and also, you know, building on top SD SF Slardar, especially those two with the
ඌ
Spiders
ඇත්ත එකා
armor,
නම් එහෙම
this is
ඌ
not a
මේ
problem to see
ඕක
too
මට
often. So in my opinion, Zhao Wei,
Facebook එකේ
grand
message
final
එකේ
stage,
වයි.
you bring it out,
යකෝ
your
මාව
boys
ඇයි time
played
out
so
කරේ
well,
කියලා.
they must be feeling incredible right now.
Yeah, that's a good point because these kinds of bursty combos make it so hard to play these save supports like Pugna or like Ringmaster. Like, you can't save anyone if you're instantly dead. You can't save anyone if they're instantly dead. But to me, this just goes back to the laning stage. In that first game, when they had good lanes, they were able to meet Falcons in a stalemate in that mid game instead of get run over and eventually find a jump with their superior team fight, with their superior network.
මොකද අකෝ channel එකේ උන් impersonate කරන්නේ මං කියන්නේ.
The lanes. The map just becomes completely out of control. For XG to win this in the next game, just stabilize the lanes. It worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, but also I think Maureen, he's been a talking point in all 3 games now, right?
පැය 24කට බං බං time out කරා පැය 24කට.
MVP on the Primal Beast. Coming into game 3, he's a Beastmaster. Lane goes well, but he farms backwards. I think Falcons, they need to identify Maureen. He needs to play into the map, break open the game. When he's farming or shut out, Falcons look to struggle, and it gives so much time for XG to come online.
මම ඇහුවානේ මට කියන්න කියලා මේ මොකද්ද ඇත්ත ප්‍රොෆයිල් එකේ නම කියලා ඇත්ත ප්‍රොෆයිල් එකේ නම කියලා ඒ නම දාගෙන හිටියට මට අවුලක් නැහැ.
But XM on the SF, he was like big man on campus those first 10 minutes. Played the lane incredibly well, got the rune control, stole stacks, went to that top lane.
Oh, Knight මොකද අර මේ
in terms of taking enemy
මොකද්ද චංචලා අඬන්නේ මලිත්ද කාටද ගහුවා.
It's just good. I mean, sorry,
Knight මොකද
but it is good to see that he's also 1 and 9 in this game, right?
අරු අන්න එකයි
yeah, he's
9යි.
human. Like the way he's playing Enchantress, it was like he's untouchable.
අරු
It's like,
11යි
how do you stop
බින්දුවයි.
this guy? He's played Pugna, he's doing the same thing, but when he goes to that tower, when he goes to the jungle, when he's trying to be that cheeky little devil that, you know, wins him a TI, he's getting shut out this time. Like, they're stopping Snaking from thriving in this finals.
Yeah, and to me also like stand out, you have Jinkyu, he does it so well on this pick, but I will say Falcons, in my opinion, they played into this pick quite a little
මුන්
bit.
මේ පඩි එහෙම අරගෙනනේ අර මේ කවුද කෝච් ලා එහෙම ගන්නෙ. යකෝ මාව ගන්න තිබ්බේ. මෙහෙම මුන්ට කක්කා යන්න. චූයි කක්කා යන්න මේ කන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ මාව ගත්තා නම් එහෙම. පරදින එක කොහොමවත් පරදිනවනේ.
Regardless of Sven's burst, they thought that they would get the lead, but it just didn't happen this time.
Yeah, we are going to talk a little bit more about those supports because
අපෝ මේ හැක්ගේ බලන්නකො ඇස්සල අර මේ වයසරද්දි වැරහැලි එන්නේ.
And in this game in particular, XM was doing really good, Effie.
Yes.
Hey,
I
හැමතැනම
just
cross
wanted
feed.
to point out here how well Xnova and XM played together at the start.
අවසනාවට
here
අපේ
they're doing a
Hack
root
Max
secure.
නෑ
XM
අද.
gets the region on the side, but the key here is that Malorian actually roars him, which then enables XM on the SF because he knows roar is off cooldown to walk
ඒ කියන්නේ
into
ස්වෙන්ට
Malorian's
දන්
triangle
දෙන්නම
and take
තමයි
his
එහා
sets.
පැත්තේ ටීම් එකේ උන්
XM
හීරෝස්ලා
taking Malorian's
තෝරලා
sets is
තියෙන්නේ.
what really slowed him
අර
down. It's what
ස්වෙන්ගේ
caused
පැසිව්
him
නේ
to
අර
farm
ක්‍රිට් එක.
backwards, as he mentioned.
ස්වෙන්ගේ
If you
පැසිව්
take
ක්‍රිට්
this
එකක්
away
තියෙනවානේ.
from Malorian, then that's
හරිද?
like one
AOE
powerful combo
එකකුයි
to beat him
පැසිව්
up.
ක්‍රිට් එකකුයි
Afterwards, they do a small
මුන්
top,
ඒ කියන්නේ
and they're
එහා
gonna
පැත්තේ
take
උන්
that
ටීම් එක
second
හදලා
tower
තියෙන්නේ
away
වෙන ටීම්
from
එකකට
the
ගහන්න.
enemy
මේ
gyro
පැත්තේ ඉන්නට ගහන්න
Yeah, and
නෙමෙයි.
this is really important
අර
for the
ස්ලාඩත්
Falcons
වෙන
to
ස්ට්‍රෝං
recover
එක
what
ඔය
they
ස්ලාඩට
did, what
අපි
they
එහෙම
get
ඉස්සර
themselves
මේවත්
as
හදනවා
opposed to
මේ
countering you. Because picking
මොකද්ද
Gyro, in my
හාට්
like,
එක
I would not be calling for
හාට්
a
ඔෆ්
gyro,
ටරස්
but
මං
if this is
හිතන්නේ
what
නම අර
my team needs from you,
හෙල්ත්
this
එක
is
වැඩි
what
වෙන්නේ
we want, we
අම්බාන්ට.
want the tempo, we want to do this. Because if you fall flat or you go even and XM made this happen in the game, it is an incredibly hard carry to carry or even, you know, carry
අර
to
මේ
minus over
ඕකට
strat matchup.
ඩූම්ට
I
එහෙම මං
would
හාට්
not
ඔෆ්
wanna be
ටරස් එක
mentioned.
හදලා
Look how proactive that is.
ටීම්
All
ෆයිට්
these
යද්දි
picks
මම
actually
කකා
leading
ඒ
the
කියන්නේ
charge,
මම
going
මැදට
first,
වෙලා
right? The
හරිද
support, like, as you
මම
mentioned,
මැදට
they're
වෙලා
on the
අරුන්
side,
මට
and
ගහනවානේ
now enabling
හරිද
XM,
ඒත්
but
මැදට
because
වෙලා
they
මම
enable
නිකන්
XM,
කෑම එක
they can
කකා
then go top. Like, all of
හරිද
these things compound
මොකද
to
මේ
actually
ඔක්කොමත්
feeling like
ඇබිලිටිස්
they've
ඔක්කොමත් කූල්
accelerated
ඩවුන්
their
නේ
entry into the game. Like we mentioned, they need items. You play early game like that, the items are going to be coming to you very quickly.
Yeah, and then everything is set up perfectly
මේ
for
පැත්තෙත්
the carry
ඇජිලිටි
Almay to come in and just
ඇජිලිටි
steal the show.
ඉන්ටෙලිජන්ස් එවුන් හිටියා නම් එහෙම අනිත් ටීම් එකේ උන්ට ගහන්න තිබ්බා මේ පැත්තේ අකෝ පට්ට ස්ට්‍රෝං එවුන් ඉද්දි අරුන් අර වෙන කාටද ගහන්න ටීම් එකක් හදාගෙන
Big counters to your hero.
අප්පෝ
Bursting, you force him to do a butterfly.
මේ
You're
ගයිරෝලා
expecting
එහෙම
there to be
වැඩක් නෑ
some
අප්පා
aggression or some logic behind it, right? But for Skidder, his lane was good, but when you look at the 18-minute mark in the game, he hasn't really entered the game with that big damage or anything like that. Like, sure, Gyrocopter can be a greedy carry,
Gyro.
but he also can play the twin gate. He can actively go towards the
බලන්නකො ස්වෙන් අර ඩිනයි එහෙම කරලත් නෑ අරු 14ක් ඩිනයි එහෙම කරලා
Right, he took bot tower and then just farmed. And then in a farm battle, I just don't think Gyro is the correct carry to win a farm battle against the likes of Arme. Because look at the net worth difference. It was, you know, night and day.
It's also like if you look at the hero damage, Gyro thrives off of aggression, doing stuff on the map, going through the gate, killing some heroes, but he had 3k hero damage at minute 20. That's not
මුන් ඔක්කොම
what
අර
you wanna
මේ
have. This is
අර
not how
මීම්
Gyro
එකක්
wins
තියෙන්නේ
games. And as
අර
he said,
මේ
the farm
බෝජක්
balance
කෙනෙක්ගේ
set,
ඔළුව
you're gonna
ලොකු
take the L there too.
හරිද
we now
ලොකු
mostly show
ඔලුවක් තියෙන
skirmishes
වෝජක් කෙනෙක්
because,
ඉන්න
to be
මේ
fair,
මීම්
it
එකක් තියෙන
was
ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවද
mostly
ඒක
skirmishes until
උන් හරිද මේක නිකන් අර
Roche
මේ ඕවර් ඇනලයිස් කර කර
Because
යකෝ
this is, in my mind, one of
ඩැමේජ්
the
ඔක්කොම
things that
කරන්න කලින්
actually also
සර්වයිව්
do
වෙන්න
the best.
බෑ
Like, they bait you in, they
හරිද
make you, you know,
ජයිරෝට
like,
එහෙම
really
සර්වයිව්
around
වෙන්න
how
බෑ
you're gonna
ස්වෙන්
make
එක්ක
happen. So here it's very important. We're going to keep our eyes at the start on XXS and XM2 because the Requiem, maybe it looks a bit weird, but you have to imagine this fear right now. It pushes everyone back. Now, let's let the fight play out because Malrine, he actually roars up Ame here. And Ame only lives with what, like 40% HP? Disruption, he gets saved, he turns it around. But without these other things beforehand, XXS going in to cause chaos, XM with the Requiem to fear people away. Ame would not live with 200 HP here and whack everyone into the ground. He would be dying. But instead, positioning, spell casting, he gets to turn it around, team fight over, Amar wants to quit, free Roche.
The positioning there from XG, they have the high ground, right? They're big time chilling, right? I think that's what Amar realized after the fight. It's like, what are we doing here? We're a low ground team trying to fight high ground into these heroes. We don't even know where Bane and SD are. And instantly, I think hindsight kicked in for Amar there, where it's like, that's not the fight for Falcons to take.
Yeah,
So, go for it.
another standout thing was if you looked at the net worth graph during that fight, Gyro was 5k below this one, and they took the fight anyway. It was tough.
It was a tough game for Falcons. Previous time they had a tough game. They did come back swinging. We're going to see if they can do that too soon. But first, we are going to check out what Slax is up to in the crowd.
Hey everybody, we are back in the crowd once more. Crowd, we saw
මූණන් කෙලින්ම අර මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි අර YouTube ලොකෝ SS දකින්නවනේ පොඩි උන්ට අසභ්‍ය පින්තූර එහෙම යවලා මාට්ටු වෙන්නේ මං කියපු දේ කොයි හරි ලියාගෙන තියාගන්න මේක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අර Discord එකේ හරි Reddit එකේ හරි පොඩි උන්ට මේ අනම්මනන් යවලා මාට්ටු වෙනවා අනුදුර අනාගතයේදීම
at TI5 I saw him win. I want to see him again, but you got to take it on the Sami, which it's not easy to win at the TI finals.
This is not motivating. You don't say it's not easy to. We're supposed to be motivated. You can do it. Let's get some noise. I need to find a new Falcons fan. Give us something. Come on, they're listening.
Just get better saves. They got the good ones, but they got. It's not easy.
They do not need your fights. They don't need a fight. They need hype. You're not the coach. This guy won 2 TIs. All right, I'm moving on. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Falcons fans. Anyone a Falcon fan here? Oh, okay. He's standing up. This is an official broadcast here. Any words for Falcons? Can you hype them up?
Hype him up. Okay. Snaking, love your zoo, love your healing, amazing. Skitter, please, no nature's prophet out of position.
Okay, that's flaming. That's not what we call hyping people up. You need to give them motivation to win.
Okay, you guys got the experience. You're amazing, amazing draft, good team fights. You guys got this.
Okay, that I will accept. Thank you very much, my friend. You a Falcons fan as well? Thank you. Thank you for the light applause on that one. I appreciate it. That guy right there applauding. You were the only one. I appreciate you back there. All right, advice. Please hype these guys up. They need it.
First of all, go Falcons! But we must not.
Great start. That's what I'm talking about.
But let's admit, the situation is dire. We are losing.
You are losing me. You did. Okay, please.
We need one touch. We need Amar's positive mental attitude. So do some out chat, hit enemy in the morale, and win the fucking game.
Yeah! Okay, I like that. Like Goku in the Dragon Balls, we need to put together all of our positive energy and send it to Amar so that he can factory that up and turn it into toxicity. That is a good idea. How about you? You said you were a Falcons fan, correct?
Yes, yeah, of course.
All right, this is it.
ඇත්ත ඩොටා ගහන්න මට වගේ එකෙක් දුන්නොත් එහෙම තනිකරම බීප් 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 තමයි
To not cringe, all right? This is all on you. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your name?
I think they should pick heroes for Malin. He need to play a game. And I believe in him. He can do this. And Amar to play. Yeah.
The question was, what's your name? But I'll take that. Fantastic. Give it a round. I like that. All right. One more. Does anyone else a Falcons fan? Do we have a rousing speech from the back? The person in green coming down. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Laura.
All right, that's a good step one. Fantastic. Okay. You have to hype these guys up. Please. I'm going to do something I never do. I trust you. I'm going to give you the mic. But if you betray me, I will snatch that mic out of your hand so fast. Give it to us, please. They are listening right there. Owie 2000, I saw him. He's in tears. He doesn't know what to do. This is up to you. Take it away.
Thanks. Guys, Can I hear it for Falcon?
මම මේ ඉන්නේ මේ අර
You
මේ
can do it, guys. I believe in you. No matter
කොප්පිය
what.
දාන් ඉන්න එකාගේ සෙක්ස් කැන්ඩල් එක එනකම්
They are motivated. If we don't see another game win from
Miners
Falcons,
that are
I don't know what to
inappropriate
do.
විදියට
Thank you so much, crowd. Can we please put our hands together for both of these incredible teams one more time?
That was a good speech, that is for sure. Let's see if Falcons indeed will strike back and push us to a 5th game of this grand finals. Now, with this in mind, we did see them come back after that first game. Effie, what did they need to do this time around? Because last time when they came back from a game, we saw them setting a high tempo and crushing those lanes. And we now know that for Extreme, all they need to do is stabilize the lanes. How's Falcons going to stop that?
I think for Falcons, they took second pick in that last game, right? But then they used their overall last pick to pick Gyro into Sven. Maybe a little bit more respect towards Extreme Gaming and their late game. Give something to Skeeter that will actually do well throughout the entire game, regardless of how that early game goes. You know, some security.
පේන්නේ නැද්ද? දැන් මම එහෙම ඩොටා ගැහුවොත් එහෙම අර මේකේ අර ගුටි කාපු ටීම් එකක් ඉන්නවනේ. මම
in a different position, right? You're down 1 and 2.
හරිද?
Say it benefits Falcons a
දැන
little bit
දැනම
more to make a switch up.
අර ලංකාවේ කතාවක් ඉස්සර තිබ්බා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙන දන්නවද දන්නේ මේ රෑ වැටුණු වලේ දවල් වැටෙනවා කියලා.
Right now is overthink. But luckily for them, you know, they have AOI. He's been here before. He's going to make sure that they're, you know, chill and in the right zone. Because just go in, we got to play.
And if they do end up taking second pick again, maybe save it for a Mars hero. Like, get that surprise factor in, because again, saving second pick to give to Skeeter in a losing matchup, that wasn't the correct choice, but I'm sure they've identified that.
I would imagine so. We did hear AY on stage.
අම්මා මේ දුඹුරු කෙල්ල නම් එහෙම අර TI එකේ ඉන්නේ ඔය භාගයකට වගහන පට්ට බඩුවක් කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන් මූණෙම. ලෝක බඩු කියලා කියන්නේ ලෝක බඩු.
Kind of unusual, but it fell that way because Falcons identified that Extreme Gaming had a lot of success as second pick, and they wanted to take that away, T-Gov.
Yeah, it feels like coming into this 4th game.
මේ හැක් මං හිතන්නේ සිගරට් හරි මොනවා හරි සින බලන්නකෝ අතේ එහෙම මේ අර ඔය දුඹුරු පාට පැල්ලම් ඉන්නේ. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ අවුවට එහෙම පිච්චුනහම අවුවට පිච්චුනහම හැමට හොඳ මේ පෝෂ්‍යදායි ආහාර එහෙම ගත්ත නැතුනම තමයි හැමේ ඔහම ඔය මේ සුදු අයට දුඹුරු පාට පැල්ලම් ඉන්නේ.
The little honest zoo running at you, I think, is a really critical thing. But to highlight the 3 drafts that we've seen so far, I've said it before, but I think Maureen needs to be very aggressive, right? Ember is a hero that can be aggressive, but will shut down. Beastmaster needs to
මේ මොකද මේ 32යි 10යි 20යි 8යි 19යි 2යි කවුදප්ප මෙහෙම මේ.
So I'm hoping for Falcon's sake that they can find a hero for Maureen that wants to just explore the map, play into the game, because Snaking can't do it because those supports are getting banned out.
Yeah, and it's also like their supports are so important for them on
අර බලන්න සොෙන් අනිත් පැත්තේ ඉද්දී අර්සා හිටපු පැත්ත දිනලා තියෙනවා. මේ පැත්තේ සොෙන් අර පැත්තේ අර චීස් කැල් ටික අපි දැන් දැක්ක එක. ඔව් නේ ඊළඟ එක දින්නොත් එහෙම මුන් දිනු.
There's only so few heroes they can ban. Do something new for you, because skill-wise these teams are very evenly matched.
ඇබඩනොත් හොඳයි. හොඳ හයිය හත්තිය. හයිය හත්තිය තියෙන එක ඇබඩන් කියන්නේ.
Teams generally do not play a lot of best of 5. So the meta evolvement that we're seeing within the series, it is extra important and extra interesting to look at as well. And I will say that when it does come to experience in grand finals, now we do know the experience of grand finals at TI, but this year in particular, Falcons has had quite a few grand finals.
ඔව් ඉතින් ක්ලෝස් ගේම් කොහොමද යන්නේ බලන්නකො මො තෝරන හීරෝස්ලා. යකෝ අනිත් පැත්තේ උංග ෆේස් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා තෝරන්න බෑ.
Why it's so shocking that when we, I mean, maybe not shocking, but that's why, you know, this tie is so magical, right? For a team like XG to not even be talked about coming into TI as a favorite, right? I think you look at the predictions.
අරුන් එහෙම අපි පොඩි කාලේ ගහපු ගහද්දි හිටපු උන් එහෙම නෑ නේ නාවිලා එහෙම.
Turn up to TI, they surprise everyone.
And it's like I'm just trying to pay attention also to like the players.
ආපෝ සීක්‍රට් ලැබ් පුටුව තාම මං ගත්තේ මහා ජරා පුටුවක් අපශික්.
I've been around AOE before. He's very good.
Comfort level negative. ඔය සීක්‍රට් ලැබ් පුටුව වල.
What needs to happen, because the thing is, if you don't get your hands on the first pick that you want, like you need to be aware for every scenario. Like if we change up to do this, you already know that Extreme Zhao, he's talking about and thinking about what are they going to change, how are we going to be ready for those scenarios. So for both teams, like critical and clean thinking is really important right now.
Yeah, each of these teams have adjusted very well and shown that they.
දැන් අර මේ සෝන් ගෙන් අනිත් ඒවාට දුවන්න ගහපු Falconද?
Last game was their
උන්ද
support
Falcon.
duo. In the first two games, they run the ET plus Hoodwing support duo, you know, an aggressive player. And what ended up happening
මේ ඇවිල්ලා අම්මෝ බලන්නකො මෙගා සිම්ප් කෙනෙක්.
What did they do in the game 3? They got
යකෝ සිම්ප් කරන එකෙත් සීමාවක් තියෙනවා.
One with a BKB piercing disable, anti-primal beast heroes, anti-tanking heroes.
Play off rumbling නාවිලා කාලා ගියා.
I mean, they stopped the way that Malreen's heroes
අපි ඉතින් පොඩි කාලේ මේ අපේ පොඩි
We
කාලේ
also do
හිටපියෝ.
know that Malreen has a massive hero pool, though. He doesn't have to stick in the trends that he has been playing this tournament. Surely his arsenal is larger.
ගුටි කාපේ on the Falcon.
But I think it's a very good and very fair point because I was looking at the SD more looking at like, snaking
Falcon.
with like, you know, he's going to pick Pugna, you're going to be very good against it. But when we think about the other heroes that Falcons like to play and have shown us, Primal Beast is definitely up there. You had SD Bane against this, makes it very hard. But it's not just that, there's a Pangolier too. Pangolier does not enjoy Bane at all.
Novaද අර මේ අනිත් පැත්තේ උන්නේ.
So this is
Nova.
absolute something else to take into account. So for Malreen, he has to think, okay, what are other heroes that I can pick into this that make it very annoying? So maybe he wants to look for something more.
පුග්නව ගත්ත එකගේ මූණක් නිකන් පුග්නව වගේ. ඌ ගුටි කන්නම ඉස්කෝලේ එහෙම අර හැමෝගෙම ගුටි කන්නේ උන් ඉන්නේ.
I mean, that's going to be the pressure though, right? Going into game 4, XG being one win away from, you know, securing the ace finally for Arme. These are the questions that I think between ATF and Aoi, they're going to have to, you know, try and find common ground on, right? Aoi has been saying that ATF has got a lot more maturity nowadays. He's really grown to be, you know, a very formidable captain, especially now he's clicking the buttons as well, right? Like, you cannot allow the previous game him
මේ බලන්නකො මුකුත් කරලා නැහැ මේ ගිය පාර මැච් එකේ. ඌ නිදි.
So how
Gyro
much do we
ගහපු එක
feel
අනිදි.
Falcons is going to change things up in that?
මෙන්න මේකට නම් ස්ට්‍රෙස් එකටම කොණ්ඩේ මිදිලා බලන්නකො. ඌගේ කොණ්ඩේ බලන්නකො ඌගේ කොණ්ඩේ ඉදිලා.
One small matchup here or there. I think that they truly do believe in their style of play and the heroes that they play. I wouldn't even be surprised if they ran back the Pugna, just not.
මුන්ට එහෙම කිසිම මේ ස්ට්‍රෙස් එකක් නැහැ. මොකද අප නැති වෙන්න පරදිනවනේ.
Anyway, the same thing could happen here, but
උන්නත් එකයි මලත් එකයි කියලා ඉන්නේ.
individual matchups inside of the game.
I mean, something else I can see too, because this is, we talk about this a lot. Malreen is very important for this team, as of course is everyone else, but they play through his tempo and they play through his lane. So looking to maybe secure his pick later, and I think Effie made a very good point about last picking Skeeter. I don't think it's like the S tier thing you can do with your Falcons. He's going to do his laning stuff. They're going to play through him, but you can take his hero early on.
OnlyFans Badu.
It's also that thing where you can kind of bait XG to go for the saving supports, and then Snaking just suddenly plays like a silencer or something, right? Like you can draft a way to take away the fight, but again, for Malreen, he's not getting access to his Sand Kings, his Shakers. Primal done really well in 2 games ago, but not really opted this time around.
And it is also like important to know.
පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න මම මේ වතුර එකේම අරන් එන්න.
Games, like, even if Falcons are to win this game, I think that the pick order, and not just that, but also like the mindset that you go into these games with, is like incredibly important. Because of course the gameplay matters more than anything else, but it comes from your emotion, it comes from how you feel. Do you trust each other? Is there any disbelief? Do you feel like you're getting outplayed even though the game is even? Things like this cannot be in your head.
Yeah, and if the game is going to be even, it means we should be having an even draft on our hands. But let's see if that is the case. It is time for the draft of this 4th game.
Team Falcons versus Extreme Gaming Grand Finals Game 4.
I'll repeat myself, it's match point for Extreme Gaming, 1 game away from claiming the ages here in Hamburg. Let's see if they can get off to a good start with the draft here in this 4th game. We got Extreme this time on the Dire side, Falcons on the Radiant side, and it is, once more, Extreme Gaming with first pick, Falcons with overall last pick. And in terms of bans, so far, nothing changed.
Yeah, we've got the same, and I believe that it's XG who have priority. I believe that, like, this, you know, the game, it begins outside of the game. They had choice, they take first pick, they know Falcons want to swap something up. I don't really see XG changing much, and I believe that Falcons didn't change anything either, even with their last 2 bans.
Correct. That is the same. It's also, okay, we're just running it back. Yeah. That's what's happening.
It's the same draft as of yet, but that's where it really shows that both Aoi and Zhao Wei, they identified that, obviously, the strengths from the previous draft, and I think for Aoi, it's like one key hero change, and they can all change. Like the silencer, for example, I just mentioned. If you have disruptions and saves and all this early skirmish, you cannot do it into a global. So maybe that could be an option later down the line, at least.
I mean, the only problem, because I like silencer too, but the hero seems to have like fallen off for some people. I don't know exactly like what the reason is. Other 5s are perhaps stronger. There it is, right on cue, brother. Gets his Sand King.
So, of course, they opted for the Pangolin last game in the hope to find SD. This time around, it's Sand King, it's explosive damage. it's going to be good, but you have to respect disruption can fully break apart a Sanking's jump. So another way to find the SD would be quite nice, unless you're always jumping SD with the Sanking.
XG will be very happy to run back the same support duo of Bane plus Shadow Demon. It looks fine for them, but I wonder if Falcons are gonna respect the SF that came out last game, because on paper versus Sand King, it should do the same thing, if not harder. It can win the lane, if not harder, than versus a Beastmaster, and go into a triangle contest stacks.
There's also something interesting, like there's a high chance that Falcons, like the reason why they perhaps would not want to go for Pangoli here is that they feel like they just cannot squeeze in a Bane ban. Like they're not allowed to. In the first phase you can't. In the second phase they only have one, so it's like, okay, maybe we want to play this hero, but it's honestly too annoying against what XG are going to propose to us.
And also, the game is very open, right, with Sand King. From the mid lane, you take stacks, you get Blink Dagger. Marion's very independent. In hard lanes, good lanes, he doesn't really need that much help other than crit making the stacks. So now they don't have to focus entirely on mid. They can really, hammer home that aggression on the side lanes.
But that's where it matters, right? Then they don't want to give XM a favorable matchup versus a Sand King so that they can just leave Malrine alone. They don't want to have to input more resources into him.
Yeah, we got the Pango banned out. It took a little while to think about it. It was, of course, the first change for Extreme Gaming, who banned out the Sand King in the second phase last time around. Now they ban out the Pango that Falcons went for instead of the Sand King in that previous game. At this point, it was Falcons removing the Ursa, but they let that in. Respect that Bane.
It's respect on both sides, right? The fact that XG still banned the Pangolier, right? They know what the hero can do against their playstyle, and then Falcons, did they want to use the one ban on the Bane? Yes, they did in the end. They know how much X-Nova's doing on it. But with the Leshrac pickup, this is just damage.
This is very, very strong. Like, Lesh alone, already we've talked about it so many times. XM Lesh is an absolute menace. You have an SD that's going to buff him up, maybe give him even more HP. You have a disruption save as well, and you continue to play forward. He clears your stacks. You're going to be incredibly heavy. If you're Falcons, you have to answer these heroes.
By the way, that was Ahmad's sister in the crowd just now, and she looks so nervous for him, but he doesn't seem that nervous.
I mean, you kind of have to be nervous. Like, even I'm nervous watching them.
And of course, the classic ET, right? We've seen the combination with the Lesh and the ET. We've seen Purge segments on it. Yeah. Very, very strong combination.
So how are you going to break it if you're Falcons?
I think Falcons are pretty happy to get their Sand King anyway. They win almost every game on this duo of heroes. They just need to make sure that they're targeting Shadow Demon first. In the last game with the S2 plus Bane, you couldn't go on one support because the other would save them. This time around, there's only one safe support. If you can focus your attention as Sand King on Shadow Demon first, that's fine. You're doing fine.
So using the special Falcons have ways to itemize defense very quick. Don't allow the first defensive XP to shine. And that's where the Tusk comes to have a big part here. Where with the snowball save, it can do so much work. And I'll be interested to know, will Tusk actually maybe go for the drinking buddies just to get the repositioning to save heroes? We don't see it often, but again, Arme running back to Sven to punish the gyro.
Yeah, his Sven is so damn good. Like, okay, so Falcons make the switch up where you get the Tusk with the gyro. They might think, okay, we had the Pugna with the gyro, it wasn't good enough. SD, he can suffer in lane, so you pick the more aggressive support. Okay, like, I can definitely get behind this. The problem is, Sven has looked incredible, and gyro doesn't really man-fight you. Even if you get jumped, we have a similar situation. You might get disruption, you're gonna pop your BKB, you turn around, you slam your sword, and you're very likely to kill a couple of heroes.
Falcons need to make sure that their aggression is directed to breaking Leshrac to then go find the Sven. What happened in the last game was they were so busy reacting to all the aggression, Arme had complete access to the jungle, complete free farm. So Falcons, they have the tools to take the fight, but they can't waste time at this Leshrac who's going to have a target that's back and try and bait Falcons away from what Arme is doing in the jungle.
It's also annoying for Falcons. Slaughter is a hero that you would like on your hands potentially against the Sven, but they pick out of phase. They've shown it to you in the game just now, so you also have to ban it.
They're just banning all of his stun heroes on XXS. They don't want to give him an easy blink initiator. Like, outside of his Centaur plus his Shaker plus his Mars, he's been playing Slardar and Axe. Axe still exists, but a lot less popular. If you're playing Axe into Leshrac, that's really tough.
But Gyrocopter doesn't really break the lanes of an offlaner. So then Dawnbreaker, a hero that we kind of lost favor in, could come back here. You have the Solar Guardian. If Arme jumps in and Leshrac jumps in, now you have a core enabling the other two rather than always relying on the supports. Supports positioning in this game can be scary with Tusk jump, Hoodwink catching you or stanking. So I like the fact that a core could maybe take over the defensive abilities in amping up the fight.
I'm with you on that point. The issue is Extreme Gaming looked so good last game because they had like that short cooldown blink initiation from XXS.
Yep.
You go for Dawnbreaker, suddenly you're playing on longer cooldowns. You don't have that same means to go in and out of a fight.
I mean, I'd love to see a Batrider, but the lane into Tusk Gyrocopter is...
I think that Batrider is actually playable. I mean, one of the reasons why I like it is
Tusk
that
හැබැයි ස්වෙන් එක්කව මූණට මූණ සටන් කරන්න බෑ නේද? ඌ චුට්ටක් මේ ඌ ස්ට්‍රෝං. සෑන් කිං උත් එහෙමයි. මේ පාර උන්ගේ මොලේ පොඩ්ඩක් පෑදිලා. අයියෝ ජයිරෝ ආයි ගත්තා. ඕ නොදකින් මුණ්ඩන්. ජයිරෝව ගත්ත එක මු පෙරදුනොත් මේ මැච් එක ජයිරෝව ගත්ත එකව මේ අයින් කරන්න ඔය ටීම් එකේ පර්මනන්ට්. වැඩේ කියන්නේ මේ ස්වෙන් ඉන්න පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් දැන් චීස් කැලි ටිකක්. ස්වෙන් ඉන්න ටීම් එකේ උන් හොඳ හයිය හත්තේ තියෙන එකේ පස්වෙනි තේරුව නැත්තම් උන් පරදිනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ පරදින්න තියෙන chance එක ගොඩක් වැඩි.
He forgot to ban it some years ago, but now he's picking it.
Magnus. Mangus හයිය තියෙනවා චුට්ටක්. හරි නයිට්. මේ හෙට වෙලා තිබ්බොත් එන්න.
That blink initiation for his team, that low cooldown, those skewer backs. This is going to be key. They didn't want to give him big cooldowns. They're going for the big plays here on the main stage.
I don't think they've even played it so far at this TI. So yeah, to kind of bring that out in a potential tournament-winning game.
I mean, the pressure is on Amar. He is the one pressing the buttons. This is his pick. And I think he's got a lot of weight and pressure on his shoulders.
This is not the Gyro to carry the game. Gyro is a kind of enabling kind of puzzle piece to bring life to other heroes. You are not outscaling the Mag, the Sven, the Leshrat, the ET. You need someone else to step up.
Keep in mind that's
මේ ඒ කියන්නේ ඌ අර අයිය හත්තේ තියෙන ඉද හැදුවොත් එහෙම අනිත් උන්ට මේ කට්ටිය කමර හැබැයි ටස්කුයි ඇත්තටම ටස්කුයි සෑන්කින්ගුයි ටිකක් ඩියුරබල්. හැබැයි ජයිරෝ තමයි කන්නේ. අර අනිත් ඒවා පෙරදුනොත් ඔය සෑන්කින් ඉන්න ටීම් එක පෙරදුනොත් එහෙම ෆැල් කරලා පෙරදුනොත් එහෙම තනිකර මේකේ වැරද්ද හරි. අපෝ දැන් ඇති අන්තම් උන්ට මොලේ පෑදුනා චුට්ටක් දැක්කද? දැන් ස්වෙන්ට චුට්ටක් අමාරුයි.
You know what? Amar in a potential, losing game to a, is picking off lane Ursa.
Guys, you gotta respect this.
I respect the hustle. My guy's got confidence.
Listen, Ahmad only cares about one thing. Okay, he just wants to win lane.
දැන් හොඳයි. දැන් ටීම් එක බැලන්ස්. බලමුකෝ. දැන් මේ අර කලින් එක ඇවිල්ලා කෙලින්ම ස්නෝබෝල් නේ. අරුන්ට අප්පක් නෑ. මේ දැන් අඩුතරම හීරෝස් ටික බැලන්ස් අඩුව තරමේ. දැන් ඉතින් මුගේ හැකියාව අනුව තමයි. උන් දිනරවත් නැද්ද කියලා තීරණය වෙන්නේ.
He's going through like the same thing where he's like, okay, if I can't find something, I'm going to ruin your game. So he's going to do it to the carry again. I mean, they have to make something magical happen, like early game aggression. It is kind of the script. It looks horrendous and it's weird, but it can work.
Okay.
I'll say, Amar has played some Ursa before. Back in 2023 when he played Carry on Nigma Galaxy. One game and he lost, but it doesn't matter. He has that one game of experience. And the thing is, Amar, he plays like the off-lane Slark 6-7 months ago. He wants to be annoying, like Effie mentioned. If you can win the lane, sure, he likes to be chaotic. I respect it. He wants to be different. And I think being different in a potential, elimination game, that's what can potentially win it for you.
We talked about how Falcons need to do well in their lanes as kind of like their strategy against Extreme as a whole. Can this draft do it with the Ursa offlane? It's unusual.
I think it's weird as hell, but it can.
It can do it. I can see them snowballing potentially. But let me
මේ මොකද සෑන්කින්ගුත් හොඳ ස්ට්‍රෝං එකක්.
Like their frame of errors are so little. The gyros can get outscaled.
අර කලින් ටීම් අප් එක අර අරුන්ට දිනන්න බෑ ෆල්කන්ලට. දැන් මේක තමයි evenly heroes ටික evenly balanced. උන්ට මේ අර චීස් කෑලි හාල් කෑලි නෑ.
Also need to beat the Ame Sven, which is a tricky one as well. Let's find out what's going to happen in this third game. We are maybe crowning a king after this one. It will definitely happen if it was up to this guy. Let's head over to the stage and chat with Tsunami.
We'll find out what the idea is right now. Game number 4. Things are getting interesting. A last pick Ursa, but it's an off-lane Ursa. What do you think Falcon's idea is?
事情变得非常有趣了。
Ammas Remega Inglesi beh.
而且是
Bukan lima
3号位
Jining.
泰熊，你觉得他们的主意或者思路是什么样呢？
我觉得他们会像蛆一样的输掉。
I think they will lose like a maggot.
Whoa, strong words!
Oh, Gyro ne? Around 4. Team එක 4 versus 5.
How do you think XXS's Magnus compares to a collapse Magnus, perhaps?
我们想问一下你们这边的3号位，你觉得 XXS 的梦马跟 Collapse 的梦马相比怎么样呢？
Mu coach, आगे coach 的。
我们训练也玩过。
Paradune 형ගේ coach.
XXS, his Magnus is also world's top tier, and we played it a lot in our scrims.
නෑ මු අර දිනපු
We're gonna
형ගේ
see how
coach.
good it is in a potential championship game. Hamburg, put your hands together as we get to this game number 4.
Extreme Gaming had the chance to exercise the demons of their history, to right the wrongs of the past. And in the face of all that gravity, Amar says, screw it, let me carry.
Give me the bear. I'll show you how it's done. From the off lane, the man in his element. I felt like it was XXS having his hero pool challenge. It was Falcon saying, how many more cards do you have up your sleeve? And Amar, he got backed into the corner. He had to pull something out. Nobody could have predicted this pick in the world. It is absolutely out from left field. He does have experience on the hero, but man, what a pick to bust out in an elimination game in a TI Grand Final.
Avery, I trust you to give it to me straight.
Yeah.
The panel said it's possible. It's possible. Well, anything's possible in the world of Dota. Is this actually going to happen, or is this just code? What good is the off-lane Ursa?
It's a hell of an Ursa game.
Okay, break it down for me.
I mean, it's a great Ursa
Ursa
game. You know,
tama.
he has great
Ursa
core
මේ
matchups.
මුන් හැදුවේ
Not
නැත්තම්
a
අරුට
lot of
ගහන්න.
control against him.
ස්වෙන්ට
Demonic
ගහන්න Ursa
Purge is
හැදුවේ
probably
නැත්තම්
one
එහෙම
way
අර
most to
කලින්
avoid
ගේම්
by, but
එකේම
those
රිපීට්
relieve a
එකක්
lot of
ආයි
that
වෙන්නේ.
carry pressure that was
මොකද
on the
Gyro ලා එහෙම
gyro.
නැහැනේ.
And it just felt like that
මේ
gyro pick
පැත්තේ
was
team
not
එක
going to get
4
it done. We
අනිත්
saw
පැත්තේ
it suffer
5.
in the last game. Falcons felt like they needed more scale. They were not going to tempo this game out. This is the pick to do it. All eyes on Amar. How much did you learn during your brief stint as a carry?
How much did he learn? How much did Extreme learn? Taking the Magnus at match point.
Whew. This hero, man, it always comes back in a TI final. The playmaking is too good. The displacement is too valuable. The potential for the big plays in the team fight is always online. XXS is a Magnus master. I agree with Xiaowei. It's a very underrated hero of his. We often forget about it, but man, it's only going to take a few good skewers in this game to break it open. Terrifying hero to play against when there's everything on the line. And there's not really a good counter to it. If you look at the Falcons lineup, your best interrupt is if you can land one of these stuns, but you know, it's not that Rubik lift. It's not the insta-hex.
No, it's going to have to be a blink, snowball, or punch from snaking, I think is their
ඔය
best option.
ලෂාක්ලා හැමත් ඉතින් හාල් කෑලි. හරියට මේ ගැහුවේ නැත්තම් එහෙම මෙලෝ රහක් නෑ ඔක.
Yeah, then there's only blink punch. That feels nigh impossible.
I do like the Tusk pick, though. I think this is a hero that has worked really well for Falcons in the past. Both of their support players are absolute masters on it. It could have gone either way. And it's a hero that gives you that BKB pierce that I think they felt the pressure of lacking in that game 3. You know, when Ame goes in on this Sven and he is just threatening to chunk you down, what is the interrupt? What happens to stall his BKB duration out and be able to turn those fights around? Tusk is a hero that can give that to you with punch plus the snowball save. It can do a lot here. Ursa can be a hard hero to jump.
ටස්කෙත් තියෙනවානේ මේ ක්‍රිට් එකක්.
That said, you always have the Magnus to bail you out if it really comes to it. Another terrifying scale.
මෙහෙමයි පුතා මොන බෆ් දැම්මත් උස්සස් අර ස්වෙන්ගේ ස්ලෑෂස් ටික සර්වයිව් කරන්න බෑ.
Against this lineup at all.
හරිද? ඕක මොන අර වැඩ කිඩ දාලා උඩ පැනලා කරණම් ගහලා අර 18 වන්නේද මොකක්ද එක එහෙම නටලා ආවට වැඩක් නැහැ. ස්වෙන් දෙපාරක් ස්ලෑෂ් කරද්දී ඌ ඉවරයි. ඌ ළඟ හිටියත් ඉවරයි. ආයි ගහ ගන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ.
We both concluded that BB is exhibiting behaviors that might be perceived
BB
කවුරුත් ගණන් ගන්න නැහැ අයියේ.
relative to the rest of the pack. He has really stood out on on the Sand King here. He will get it in this pivotal game 4. And they went for it over that Beastmaster into the Shadow Demon, which I think was the right call. I think playing the Roars into the late game against the Disruption just felt terrible for him. This time around, he's a lot more AoE damage, way harder for Xingqiu to go in and stall up his presence in the middle of the team fight. He can still scale like a beast.
Burrow striking away, but XM still gets a good amount of Diabolic Edict damage on this Sand King. And it's going to be one of the struggles. Malrine won't be able to just exist inside of Sandstorm. He will be outdone by the damage over time from the Leshrac.
So they
Leshrac අමාරුයි මොකද මේ ඕක චීස් කෑල්ලක්
with the amp damage from the boomerang.
Damage trade කර ගහන්න බෑ.
Sharpshooter on top. That's enough to take anybody out.
Disruption in the bottom lane, being run down by the Gyrocopter. Shockwave trying to separate the two of them, but Xingqiu is slowed down by the Blood Grenade, and the first blood will be taken by Skeeter. In turn, he's skewered back into the tower, but XXS not enough to finish him off. And just now noticing that Snake King opted for drinking buddies over the tag team.
This is their combo with the Gyro, right? Drinking buddies him up, let the Flak Cannon go to work. Really nice damage buff for this hero. They have really strong combinations in this game, plus an Ursa.
ඉස්සර මගේ සමහරට මෙව්වත් ඇති මේ ගේම් ප්ලේ අර්සට පුළුවන් රොෂාන්න මරන්න තනියෙන් level 1 එහෙම ඉද්දි level 1 හරි 2 හරි
XM didn't expect this little bit.
No way.
No. He's stuck inside the Sandstorm. There's no way he survives a Blood Grenade just in case they finish him off.
Nice pickup from Malrine. Getting aggressive, had the level advantage, hit the level 6 burst off some nice laning. Takes it straight to the Leshrac with a timely rotation from Crit. Probably called it over. And now Crit, he can go straight into the double stack with the Ancients, defend it against Nova, look back towards lane, and then look into that Wisdom Shrine. Very nice. This Sand King is going to be fat. And this...
DOTA ගහනවා නම් ගහන්න ඔය කැජ්ජිලා එක්ක එහෙම. ඇඩික්ට් වෙන කැජ්ජිලා එක ගැහුවොත් එහෙම මොකද ගේම්ස් 20ක් විතර එක දිගට පෙරදහම එපා වෙලා uninstall කරන අනිවාර්යෙන් ගේම් එක.
Super pivotal for what Falcons want to do here with their lineups. They're winning this one across the board. Triple lane win for them. Gotta be happy.
Nah, මට නා මංකිකින් වෙච්ච රැල්ලු වෙන.
And the fact that they got that kill at the time that they did, it meant the Leshrac wasn't there to contest for the Power Rune. The Power Rune means that Malrine can either very efficiently clear out these Ancients or he can hold on to it and make another move on that Leshrac.
You take Ancients, give the mid lane to the Hoodwink. XM's not going to be able to kick Crit out of here solo. Just super efficient early game here for Falcons. And you have a safe lane that's not easy to contest. Like, we saw the Gyro getting forced out of the lane in the game previous because that starter had such a good matchup. The Mag is not going to do something similar here, especially when you have Tusk with early drinking buddies to back him up. These are cores for Falcons that are going to stand on these lanes, and they're going to stand on them for a long time.
අරෝගේ මේ අර කඩුවේ මේකම ලස්සනයි.
Look towards the stacking efficiency.
ඒ කඩුව කීයද? කැඩ්දිලා. අර ස්වෙන් පාවිච්චි කරන මේ cosmetic item එක.
Everywhere you look, Falcons max efficiency. Malrine's going to join them here in the bottom lane. Goes after the Shadow Demon. They've got him. Burrow strike underneath the Sandstorm. He'll try and disrupt. He can't even get that much off. Malrine does too much damage. He didn't even pop the amp damage. He'll use it now to put pressure on this off-lane tower, knowing that the Magnus is not ready to contest.
Oh, this is super nice. Not normally a tower you want to prioritize early, but against the Magnus lineup, you open up both these Ancient camps. Or both these side camps and the Ancient camp. It's going to feel great.
Make a run for it, Crit. He slowed down a little bit. Amar challenging XM. With this early level 6, he can stand up to the damage of the Diabolic Edict. Crit, though, he's trying to make his way, weave his way through those trees. Too many heroes from Extreme Gaming up here, though.
Just let Amar system here.
රතු රොකට් එක $100යි ස්වෙන් එක කියලා ස්වෙන් එක අර මු පාවිච්චි කරන කඩුවේ
With that enrage on cooldown, Extreme have to punish him. He comes forward to try and collect some CS. That is greedy. We pay the price for it. One more poison should do it. He managed to juke that one. Xingqiu, he gets a little bit. No, he jukes it. He gets down to low ground. Dodges the stomp. Now he dodges another poison. He is breaking ankles left and right. Extreme will go home empty-handed.
දැක්කද අර්සව මරන්න අමාරුයි මං කිව්වේ අර්සව ගත්ත එක මේ හොඳයි මොකද දැන් ඔතනට අර්ස නැතුව වෙන ඔය හාල් පාරක ඔය ජයිරෝ එහෙම හිටියා නම් එහෙම මැරෙලා මෙලාට මං කිව්වේ අපිටත් පුළුවන් සර්වයිව් කරන්න ඔය ස්වෙන්ගේ මේවා.
Skeeter TPing into mid with this gyro wants to secure the objective.
Yeah, Malrine backed him up in taking the offlane tower, and Skeeter will return the favor to Malrine.
And XG, they're just stacking jungle. But this is a jungle that might go straight to the Sand King if you can't defend your own side of the map.
Yeah, you have two different stack clears between the Sand King and the Gyrocopter.
Imagine Falcons get in here right now. This is the recovery for XM. I mean, he's just trying to clear through this so it doesn't get stolen. He's just low man.
Malrine so close to a Blink Dagger. Once he gets that. X-Nova, I think he made the read there. Snake King taking down the tree for a more optimal ward, but probably gives a sign to X-Nova to what's going on here.
They do clear through most of the stacks for the Lesh.
And now they're hunting for Ame, but Ame's already backed out.
The Sand King already has Blink.
ගැද්දිලා කියන්නකෝ අර මේ ස්වෙන්ගේ කඩුවේ කොස්මෙටික් අයිටම් එකේ ගාන කීයද
This is
කියලා.
all to set Malrine up around the map, let him control the plays. Every jump from this Sand King with support
අරුන්ගේ ටවර්ස් වලට එමත් ගන්නවා. බහින කලාව පොඩ්ඩක් අරුන්ගේ. මුන් අර මේ early game ටවර් පුෂ් කරලා දිනන්න try කරන්නේ.
There used to be like defusal builds of the past or something, but no, I'm just going to carry this game. Don't worry, Skeeter. I'll put you in my backpack.
It's just so Amar. XXS chased after a missile and a snowball, and now the ultimate over the top. Double ultimates to secure the kill.
මං කිව්වේ උන්ගේ මේ පාර පික්ස් හොඳයි කියලා.
So much. I almost think they forgot about this hero for a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, we're super good with this hero. We have some of the best Tusk players in the world, and it'll give us a lot of more scaling comfortability. Nice combinations with our cores, great catch around the map. This hero gives you everything as long as you can get it through the lane. They did just that.
Similar play, Malrine has been hiding his
රවින් සුබ සන්ධ්‍යා. මේ පාර මේ මුන්ට දිනන්න chance එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ Falcon ලට.
Game is just flowing for Falcons right now. You can feel it. Everything is just coming together. And they have an Ursa. Smoke. Smoke is coming. Two-man team looking for Ame up here.
Malrine, he knows.
They are going to go
Crit had to go back to pick up Amar in this smoke, but Malrine, he's got the vision. And in Mame, there's no way out on this one. The kill will be taken by Crit. But it doesn't matter who takes the kill, who gets the bounty for that. The important part, shutting down Extreme Gaming's carry.
It looks like XXS was debating, can I go the Helm? Do I need to rush the Blink before I even go Helm with Dominator on this mag? I think he would have really liked to just get Helm and start farming up. If this game were a slower pace, that might have been the play. Now he's just considering I need a Blink and we need to go do something.
I agree with this. Things are escalating far too quickly. You have the Blink Dagger on the Lesh rack. You can get the Blink Dagger on the mag. You can actually push back against some of Falcon's aggression.
They're looking to do just that. Gank the Snake King Tusk mid with the fresh Blink Dagger.
Tagged him with the poison.
Hesitant to go.
It's just a fine position, guys.
They're going to smoke instead. Look for a bigger target. They want to core off this.
Well, I'm not sure if they're going to find one. Crit is in prime placement here to break that smoke. Extreme Gaming have actually just pinged on him. Shinkui's not even going to get in range. They miss out on that. And Amar is backing away. This is going to be a smoke entirely whiffed.
Just awkward timing too because your Magnus Blink just arrived. So you're trying to make a small play with the Slash, but you do commit the smoke to it. And now XXS sitting here like, guys, I rushed the Blink. Time to make a play.
Yeah, play around me.
You just don't have much map control, and we saw the stacks being cleared through by the Sand King. I mean, the stack differential in this game must be insane. How much that triangle was built up for the Sand King here. He gets an Arcane Rune on top of it.
Well, Malrine has already secured the early game for Falcon, so he can think about his own scale, which we've seen these Sand Kings. They just get stronger and stronger as the game goes through. This Aghanim Scepter allows this hero to do so much more in the late game than he used to. A lot of times, strongest period being that level 12, level 2 Epicenter plus Aghanim Scepter. That's what he's working towards. Falcon's taking full advantage of the fact that they own a good 60 to 70% of the map.
මේ පැත්තේ එවුන් ස්ට්‍රෝං හින්දා අනිත් පැත්තේ උන්ට DPS එවුන් නෑ. ස්වෙන් විතරයි ඉන්නේ හොඳ DPS එකෙට. අර කලින් ගේම් එකේ Shadow Fiend
it's going to have to be XXS pulling out a sick play. He's got the distance. He can maybe pull them into that tier 2 tower area.
හයිය හත්කේ තියෙන DPS තුන්දෙනෙක් හිටියා දැන් මේ පාර ගේම් එකේ මම හිතන්නේ මේ චීනු ටික පරදිනවා. මොකද ස්වෙන් විතරයි ඉන්නේ සුපරි DPS එකට.
He's in danger of being blown up right away, but holds the jar counter. He's pulled back with their DRB. Lands a 3-man, a skewer to finish off one, but the damage is not done yet. Malrine fighting underneath the sandstorm, and Ame behind the shards can't get to his allies.
He's blocked off.
He is blocked off, and now Falcons start making their retreat. Nova desperately with the stomp. He gets two. Ame, here comes the hammer. Malrine, he makes the bro strike away. Malrine's out. They'll try and get Snake King, but a shards to block him off again. Ame, he tried to show up for his team, but the path was blocked.
6 shards from Snake King there, salvaging that engagement. As Sven gets in there, you are all done.
And Amar is absolutely right.
4v5
I wasn't sure. At first he was talking about the Sven, but no, he's talking about himself.
I was just about to say the same thing. That was a fight without the Ursa there. That's the fight you're supposed to win.
4v5 ඇවිල්ලා අර මේ අර කාල කන්නේ ඉඳන් ජයිරෝ ඉඳන්.
That is, he skewered him out of the Earth Splitter. He was trying to get him closer to Ame, but you ended up dodging the Earth Splitter's damage and then pushing them next to Ame. Didn't pay off because he got stuck behind the shards.
I also think in that situation,
බලන්නකො මේ සෑන්කින් එහෙම බලන්න ඔය හෙල්ත් එක කට්ටි තියාගෙන පනින්න පුළුවන් ඌ අර ශක්තිමත් හින්දා ස්ට්‍රෙන්ත් මං හිතන්නේ
He
සෑන්කින්
just sacrificed himself on the front line to try and get the clump, which he did do. I don't think that's a terrible recipe for the team fight. They just couldn't clean it up. And Amar laughing all the way to the bank. He just gets to free farm the whole time. Well done, team. He's learning what Skeeter feels like every game.
He kind of is. 5,000 net worth lead, 7-2 to the favor of Falcons. Another 1,300 gold for that Aghanim Scepter for Malrine. Another 1,200 for Skeeter to get his own Aghanim Scepter.
This Ursa's forcing heroes off the map solo, man.
Yeah, just existing in this part of the map is limiting Extreme's ability to farm. And soon he's going to have a Blink Dagger and be able to join his team if he chooses to do so.
XG as always, though, will keep farming. This team, pretty hard to force them behind unless you just completely route them off the map. They'll always find something. You have a lot of cleave mechanics to go to work, so got to keep Honey here with this Sand King. Keep putting Malrine's strength to use. Combine it with the supports. Look for the big key pickoffs. You lost some vision off of that fight. As usual, X-Nova on point with the D-warding.
I like that Falcons went back to D-ward that high ground. Clearly in that team fight, Extreme Gaming played around a high ground ward. They take that off the map and just make it a little bit more claustrophobic for Extreme, who are currently huddled around each other in the mid lane.
For good reason. This gank coming through bottom would have landed if you're farming around in this area.
But then what about the top lane? You can't just let a solo Ursa continue to bully you.
It's a nice Ursa game.
It's a nice Ursa
game. Very nice Ursa game. Not a lot in XG's lineup that wants to run at him for a very long time. And in fact, this is the flip side of that matchup we saw earlier, where it was the Ame Ursa against the Sven, right? He absolutely took it to Skeeter in that matchup. Falcons now reversing the script.
Well, at this point, it feels like Extreme are just going to forfeit Roshan. They're going to forfeit Tormentors. I mean, if you're not playing anywhere close to the river, it just kind of guarantees that Ursa's going to be able to take all these objectives for Falcons. Extreme, are they just already ramping up for the high ground defense in late game?
No, you can't give up that much in this game. They almost died on this ward down here. Oh, they're going back in. I don't know if this is where you want to be right now.
X-Nova sacrificing his life to get some information, and it will be his life, without a doubt.
Better him than a core.
That is true.
But you are continuing to give more momentum to the Sand King and make those objectives harder to contest whenever Amar feels the time has come.
How many more Helma Doms
චීනුට දිනන්න 130ක විතර chance එකක් තියෙන දැන් වෙද්දි.
To be able to rat the map.
Only have the one for now.
The
we'll
duo.
go a long way.
Amar and Malrine. Just checking out the top part of the map, seeing if anybody's here, anybody's farming up
මොකද
the ancients.
සයි
They are
ටස්කුයි
limiting
අරන්ට
control.
ගහන සීන් එකක් තියෙන එකතු වෙලා.
Feels like XG want to make a move with Ame's blink. You can fight if you bring the Sven into the play as part of your initiation, but it's a very risky move for Ame. Yeah, that goes wrong, his game just gets thrown down the drain. And it's going to be an instant Roshan or whatever from this bear if that fight is a disaster.
No, certainly. Without a BKB, there's a lot of magic damage in these team fights from Falcons. Pretty much means that you have to get a sick initiation if you're extreme, if you are going to take this fight.
Especially with Ags done on the same thing. Maureen's time is perfect here. Just as XG thinking about gearing up for a move, the counter punch arrives, and it's a big one.
Maureen plays off the disruption. And Jinkyu and a Helmadam creep will die.
I think he was disrupting to send his illusions out to scout. They saw him on the ward.
Yeah.
It's a self-setup right there. Maureen says, thank you very much. That's the kill we needed, straight into the Roche pit.
Yeah, it wasn't going to really take much, that's for sure.
Now, the real question is, who takes this Aegis? Carry 1 or carry 2?
It's time to determine who the true carry of Falcons is, and it's Amar.
He asserts dominance here. I think he is the better Aegis carrier.
ඔය පේන දනිත්‍යුන් එනවා
What's funny,
යනවා.
on the road to TI, I asked Amar, said, should I put you or Skeeter for my core in fantasy? And he said, if you get good stats for farm, take me. That's coming true. Man had a plan, said Skeeter's going to be the one making space for me, and it's happening in this Game 4 of a TI Grand Finals.
I mean, space is one thing, but he's also top net worth on this gyro. Like, both these guys are getting a lot right now. And this Drinking Buddy's Tusk is still likely going to go into the gyro. There's a lot of problems for XG to solve in this game. This is not the same gyrocopter trajectory we saw in the previous match. He's going to have a lot better time in the fights. He has better matchups. He has more survivability. This will be a 5-man smoke move from XG. This has to land. I mean, this is a massive committal. You're down 12K at 21 minutes. If you whiff here, it's going to be a long road to come back.
Oh my God. Skeeter, he's backed away. It's looking like they're not going to get, I mean, they can maybe, with the position, take the safe lane tower, but a safe lane tower at 21 minutes?
Doesn't feel great.
No, not at all. I did kind of like the timing of that was interesting. It was right as Wisdom Shrine was going to spawn at 21, which Maureen, he went for, so he was nowhere in the neighborhood as a result.
Quick smoke from Falcons. Now they're looking to punch back. Not a bad idea. Once this smoke play fails from XG, it's very likely they split up across the map to return to the farming patterns. They will just miss XXS on top of that hill.
Yeah, Snake King shoving them back. And on the other side, Maureen and Crit, the true threat is here. The two-man power team. So much burst damage with this epicenter. They've got the Mag dead. He tries to skewer away, but he cannot escape. And now, X-Nova, he can't escape the bear as well. No, wait, the Purge, it slowed him down just enough, but even worse, it's XM. Staking, now he arrives back into the fight, gets the stun, a Burrow Strike to finish him off. 2 cores dead on the side of Extreme. The supports limp back to the base.
I mean, XM went in there, he finds Crit, he's a big price for sacrificing his positioning. No way you're fighting this bear with 2 lives. Basher already online. He's a catch hero now, too. He's a problem for the Sven. This pick has worked out beautifully. It's just dissuading Ame from joining any of these early fights. And both of these carries are getting massively overpowered right now.
මේ අර්ස කියලා කිව්වනේ ඒක නම් මුන්ට ගන්න පුළුවන් එක හීරෝ කෙනෙක් අර්ස කියලා බලන්නකො අර්ස ගත්ත හින්දා කොච්චර ලේසිද කියලා මුන්ට ගේම් එක
back to the Magnus pick. You're going to have to make some magic happen if you're XXS here. I mean, this has been a player that XG have gone back to time and time again in their run to this finals, and he has made the plays. And once more, it'll fall on his shoulders to find the skewers or find the RPs. Looking towards BKB Ags of his own would give him a lot more capability to do that.
I'm telling you, man, it's just high ground defense. I think Extreme Gaming don't really have any other options but just playing defense. And that's not going to feel good against Falcons, who are not known to speed things up.
I'm just going to take the entire map, continue to hunt you, build an insurmountable lead. In theory, your lineup is great at high ground defense, but I don't care how good your lineup is. You're down 30, 40K. It's not going to matter.
XXS, got to get something here. Snaking, he'll make it as costly as possible. Stormhammer dodge, and he blinks away. Ame tried to get the cleave hit on him. Does not get the timing for it.
So is Ame's BKB as well.
Monkey win at the task hondai කියලා.
And Snaking, he watches XM take the amp damage, tries to catch him in the shards. XM does manage to sidestep that one, though. So, a tool to use for the next 2 minutes. An amp damage rune on a Leshrac. He just needs BKB. The sad thing is, he is still a ways away from that.
I mean, does BKB even help him that much? The bear gets on top of you if you get punched by the Tusk. A lot of physical damage in this lineup, particularly with that drinking bundies amping you up. You might get a taste of the bear right here. XM, that's not who you want to run into.
Amar hunting him down, got a bash. Not required, but crit will lend a helping hand. Thanking Amar for the kill.
120ක් විතර දැන් දිනන chance එක තියෙන්නේ. අර්සට එහෙම මේ අර්සට දන් දෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ ඉතින් හරි මුන්ට.
Was not on their bingo card.
Avery, tell me, what's the answer? It's the enemy team drafting 2 carries.
I've been saying we should do this for years. I'm from the NA region, Austin. We play with 3 carries. We were well ahead of the meta. I don't know why it hasn't been done before.
Is that what Extreme's going to have to do if we go to a game 5?
It might be. I mean, you just have to escalate, right? If they pick 2 carries, you got to pick 3. If they pick 3, you got to start building Midases. It's the only way you can go. That is the inevitability of Dota. And right now, XG, they would be loving some catch-up gold here because the lead is just spiraling out of control, man. It feels like every minute this game goes on, that graph is accelerating.
Well, the upside for Extreme, if they ever do find a 4th kill in this game, they'll get a lot of comeback gold, as they are currently down 19,000 net worth. Another 2 minutes to Roshan. If Extreme is going to make a move, I anticipate it's going to be around that. Looking for any items that'll change the nature of this game. It's still XM's BKB.
I think Daedalus for Ame. Give him the big crit, empower this Sven. If you land
අරුන්ගේ අර මේ Shadow Demon එහෙම නෑ දැන් හොයාගන්නවත් Shadow Demon නෑ Shark නෑ අරුන්ගේ team එකේ දෙන්නෙක් නෑ හැබැයි මේ team එකේ නැත්තේ අර මේ
Maybe he can kill Skeeter before the Satanic.
ලේනෙක් ඉන්නේ ලේනා විතරයි weak එකේ ඉන්නේ අනිත් ලේනයි Gyroයි
Skeeter will have Satanic. And we aren't even going to talk about what Amar's going to be able to have. A level 20 Ursa with an Aghanim Scepter.
You have to kite somebody in this lineup. And it's likely the Ursa try and take down the Gyro. Like you said, if Skeeter gets to Satanic before this next Roche, which looks really likely here, man, he is tough to bring down too. Then you're going to need to get some good skewers here. Abuse the scouting from X-Nova with the ET Spirit. You can find somebody, skewer them in, look for the RP, and then you have Disruption to bail out the return jump from Falcons. That kind of team fight can maybe out-execute.
Yeah, and you, on top of all of that, you have the Elder Titan to fish for the Magnus, right? He can keep on... If you're going to push into them, it's actually just so obnoxious. Stop
අරුන්ගේ ඉන්න ඉතින් ස්වෙන් විතරයි.
do get hit by that stop.
ඒ කියන්නේ ස්වෙන් ගහන්න ඕනේ අනිත් ටීම් එකේ ඉන්න 1 2 3 දෙනෙක්ට.
There's that punch interrupt.
ස්වෙන් 3 දෙනෙක්ට ගහන්න ඕනේ. මේ පැත්තේ ගහ ගන්න පුළුවන් DPS එකෙන් ඉන්නේ DPS එකෙන් හරි එකෙක් ඉන්නේ ස්වෙන් විතරයි.
Another interrupt.
මේ පැත්තේ DPS එහෙම තියෙනවා කවුද ටස්ක් සෑන්කින් අර්සා නිකන් දෙන්නෙක්ගේ බලේ තියෙනවා අර්සට
triple BKB core timing, long durations on all of it. If you can try and land an RP all in some of these heroes, yeah, Amar is strong, but he can't power through everything.
Against seemingly insurmountable odds, Extreme Gaming, 5-man smoke, push out. If they get somehow a pick-off or a team fight that works for them, a fast Roshan could allow them to start changing the narrative of this game. Amar, though, he's fearless. He just jumped straight to XXS. Look at the damage he did. Both the XXS is in the way of that Battle Fury cleave. And X-Nova is way out of position as his team got jumped. He hides away in the corner, gets a good war down to contest Roshan, but he keeps back. But now Ame. Ame spotted. He really doesn't want to have to use his BKB here.
Amar looking for another
අර
entry.
මේ නොවැම්බර් පස්වනිදා රෑ එකට විතර මේ ජනාධිපතිවරණ තිබ්බේ ට්‍රම්ප්යි කමලගේ ඒක තියෙන ට්‍රම්ප් අර දිනන ප්‍රතිශතය 95යි කමලගේ 105යි එහෙම සීනත් එන අරුන්ට බෑ.
Information might just be their greatest advantage between getting the D ward and having their own
මොකද
wards
කලින්
up.
එකේ දැන් එකේ වෙනස කලින් එකේ මේ පැත්තේ ඔක්කොම චීස් කෑලිනේ ස්වෙන් එහෙම මෙහෙන් කඩුව හොල්ලද්දි මේ පැත්තේ උන් සටගාලා මැරෙනවා.
In this position, it's very tempting to just pop that and look for
දැන්
something.
ඒකේ අනිත් පැත්ත වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. අනුගේ සපෝට්
on this Daedalus for Ame.
strong
You really
හින්දා
want that item to try and make this
survivability
comeback
වැඩි.
possible.
You know, Avery, it's kind of fitting. I feel like there's been a lot of nostalgia at this TI, and I'm really feeling it looking at this kill score. 12 to 3, 29 minutes in. I feel like I'm back in like
තව ගේම් එකක්
2014
තියෙනවා.
It's one way to look at it.
එකම හොඳ දේ ඉතින් බල්නෙවන්ට හොඳ ඉන්ට්‍රස්ටිං මොකද නැත්තම් මේක ඇවිල්ලා චීනු දින්නොත් එහෙම ඉවරයිනේ. EI එක මේක උන්
Some of the
පැරදි.
same players though. Does take around 10 years to win a TI. Unless you're Thompson.
Very few Royal Roaders. Dota's history, that's for sure. Alright, Falcons are the ones to have the smoke. With Roshan and it's almost max spawn, just another minute for that. They know it's guaranteed, they know it's coming their way. It's going to be in this bottom pit, so they're going to clear out this area. Get some good vision down. Extreme, they only have this one ward to play around. It doesn't really see that much for you.
Just glimpses in that river around this bottom pit. Falcons, they don't want to reach too far with this smoke. Just clear the area out, secure the objective. Don't force a bad fight into all this turnaround potential. Yeah, you have an insane gold lead, but it can vanish in an instant, all this crazy scaling in AoE.
Put Extreme in a position where if 5 people inside their base to play for Roshan, they'd have to just go for a Hail Mary 5-man smoke. And you've only got one more smoke left for time being on X Nova. So Extreme say, just play for farm. Get an Aghanim Scepter on XXS. Get that Daedalus you were talking about on Ame. This Roshan will give them a solid 30 seconds, maybe even a full minute to get some farm. Ame maybe could take a Tormentor if he's real quick with it.
I think you gotta get something right here. Aegis onto the gyrocopter. This time around, Skeeter takes it. He will siege the high ground with that item.
The harder hero to get a good skewer back on, right?
100%. And even if you do, he might be able to
Torment
survive
එකේ මොකද්ද
through it
වෙන්නේ?
if he can. There's the Daedalus though, so big crit's gonna come through. That's an empowered Sven.
ඔය ටෝමන්ට් එක
Almost
තිබ්බේ නෑ
level
මං
20 as
අහුව ගාලේ.
well. Does have the gunpowder gauntlet.
ආ
Same amount of
මමුන්ගේ
burst damage coming out in those first few hits. Might just decide the fight.
Yes, he may be behind the gyrocopter and the Ursa in
මොකද මේ
network,
සීන් එක
but
දැන්
the
අරුන්
power
මේ
adds so
ස්වෙන්ට
much,
එක
the epicenter five
ස්වෙන්න
gets the
මැරුවොත්
madness,
එහෙම
though.
ආපෝ ඔය
And there goes all the initiation. Ame is
ඔන්න
going to try
ඉතින්
and chase
මං
after
කිව්වේ
them,
අරුන්ට
but they're
දිගන්න බෑ දැන්
all-
අනිත්
they're
ඒවා
up to the high
ස්ට්‍රෝං
ground.
වැඩි.
You cannot go blind up there.
I mean, also the Magnus is your catch. He gets found first. Your chase potential or looking for anything else goes down the drain.
අසයි ස්වෙනුයි ඒ කියන්නේ මුහුන්ට මූණ ගනු කඩු වෙනු සටන මුහුන්ට මූණ සටන් කරද්දී චීනුන්ගේ ටීම් එකේ ඉන්න ඉතුරුන්ට බෑ අනිත් උන්ගේ ෆේස් කරන්න. මොකද අනිත් මේ පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ උන්ගේ DPS එක ඒත් වැඩි.
From the Ursa while the gyro hits. No Magnus. You're not afraid of the skewer play. Drinking buddies gives you the flak. No one
මේ
can really
පේන්නේ නැද්ද
approach
ගමට
here.
ඇවිල්ලා දැන් ඉතින් මුන් ඔක්කොම දැන් මේ පැත්තේ උන් කක්ෂයා එකේ බලන් ඉන්න ඇවිල්ලා ගහලා යනකම්.
No, with the wave, not even there yet. And Octarine done for this Ursa. He's getting to that untouchable state where he gets to 25. He's jumping around with the Urshock all the time. He will just be perma enraged.
Look for the skewer.
Got the skewer back. No save this time. Snaking trying to pull him back. Shockwave dilutes him a little bit deeper. XXS got to be careful though. The second carry almost dies to Amar, but the demonic purge is there from Shin-Q. Good responses from Extreme, but it simply doesn't feel like it's
ඔය
enough.
පේන්නේ නැද්ද? ගයිරෝ තනියෙන් ගිහිලා ගහනවා මොකද ස්වෙන්ට යන්න බෑ ඉස්සරහට. ගියොත් එහෙම ස්වෙන්ට වට කරගෙන ගහනවා මේ. මේක වැරදි. මම කිව්වේ නැද්ද? කැත්සිලා. මොකද ඩොටා වල මෙහෙමයි. ඔය 300 IQ අර මේ 8D chess එහෙම නෙමෙයි. ඩොටා වල basics හරිම පොඩි. ශක්තියයි DPS එකයි ඕනේ.
He needs to be able to hit something. It's finally going to be snaking. Gets that kill. Starts backing away. But here comes Maureen with the epicenter to slow him down.
අන්න ස්වෙන් හරි.
Take out Ame. XM in trouble outside the base. stage, he'll be run down as well. 2 cores on Extreme, neither have buyback. And Falcons in a position to push us to Game 5. It is over. Extreme, call it early. They say that's fine.
මූ ඇවිල්ලා අර අන්තිම මොහොතේ නිකන් අර නන්දිකඩල් සටන වගේ එහෙම කරන්න බෑහලෝ ඩොටාවල.
I don't even remember.
ඩොටාවල තීර එක ඔය කවුරු හරියට කවුරු මොනවා කළා කිව්වත් ඩොටාවල තීර එක මෙහෙමයි DPS උයි health උයි ඔය දෙක තමයි තියෙන්න ඕනේ හරිද DPS උයි health උයි එක ටීම් එකක වැඩි නම් එහෙම ඌ ඇවිල්ලා ඌගේ abilities හරිද ඌගේ අරක මේක කිසිම දෙයකින් කිසිම වැඩක් නැහැ
single game of Dota with so much on the line so much legacy
හරිද
so many first timers
අර පැත්තේ උන් strength support උන් අර පැත්තේ මම කියන්නේ අර එක පැත්තක තනිකරම සපෝට් යුනුත් strength කැරිය යුනුත් strength නම් මේ පැත්තේ මෙවුන් මොනවා ගත්තත් උන්ට දිනන්න බෑ මේ ඒ කියන්නේ නිතරම ගේම පරදිනවා ඕක තමයි Dota වල අල්ටිමේට් මේ සීක්‍රට් එක වැඩේ කියන්නේ දැන් අර මොකද්ද මේ කම්පිටිටිව් ගහන්න පඬිතකම වැඩිනේ පඬිතකමයි ඕනවට වඩා හිතනවයි ඕක වැඩි වෙන්න ගේම් එක තමන්ටම අමාරු කරගන්නවා
It is just insane how one-sided these games are as a result of that draft, and that is why it is so crucial to take as much time as you can, figure out what strategy you need for this final game. One of these teams is going to be lifting the Aegis very soon. Let's head back to the panel to break down what we could be seeing this upcoming Game 5.
Oh, it's crunch time, all right, for the teams for sure.
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කවුද දිනන්නේ කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ කවුද දිනන්නේ කියලා පෝලෝන් නැහලු මම කියන්න කවුද දිනන්නේ කියලා තෝරගන්න හීරෝස් ලනුව මම දැන් මේක පටන් ගන්න විනාඩි 5 10ක් අතලද කිව්වනේ අරුන්ට අමාරුයි කියලා
It worked out so well. Not only did they win their lanes and just do the typical Falcons, farm the entire map, choke out the enemies. They made no mistakes.
යකෝ අර්සා කියන්නේ level 1 රොෂාන් මරපු හීරෝ කෙනෙක්නේ ඉස්සරත්. අපි පොඩි කාලෙත් අර්සට පුළුවන් ඕක අර මේ අර ලී ෂීල්ඩ් එක තියාගෙන ගිහිල්ලා රොෂාන් මරනවා තනියෙන්.
I mean, the confidence of Mar, right? Your final pick in the draft, you know that your carry gyrocopter isn't going to be able to outscale your opponent, and your offlane is getting banned out. So then you go for, you know what, I'm going to go for an Ursa. He doesn't play it competitively. He plays it in his pubs. I'll give him credit. He's using his knowledge of his pubs that he doesn't want to show in competitive. And randomly, second competitive game on Ursa, this is it. I'm offlane, I'm into a Sven, I can combo break the Magnus. But who else would truly draft in this style to break away from all of your team's logic, your entire team's approach to this TI, and then you're going, you know what, Amar, what are you doing in your pubs? A week ago, a month ago, 6 months ago. Yo, it's working out. Let's try it in a potential elimination game against XG, and then to dominate like this. He even said it himself. He's 45. He did nothing. His team did all the work.
I mean, I'm kind of shook, and I wouldn't be surprised if XG, at least during the game, or still right now, have like a little bit of this feeling going on. Offlane 24 pick Ursa.
ඔය බලන්නකෝ මේ මුංගේ ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් යද්දී අරුන්ගේ ජයිරෝවත් මරා ගන්න බෑ මොකද මේ පැත්තේ උන්ගේ DPS මාරලෝ ඔය මේක හැම ඉන්නවනේ අර ගහ මොකද්ද උගේ නම එන්ෂන්ට් ඇපරේෂන්ද මොකද්දනේ ෂැඩෝට එහා පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ ඕක එහෙම 0 damage නේ ඕකේ damage එකක් නැහැ Elder Titan 0 damage Shadow Demon 0 damage හරිද මේ පැත්තේ බලන්න ටස් superior damage Hoodwink superior damage Ursa superior damage උන්ගේ ඔක්කොම damage උන් ඉන්නේ Sand King උත් හොඳයි උගේ damage එක Gyro ගෙත් හොඳයි අර පැත්තේ උන් 0 damage උන් set එක කොයි සුවෙන් එහෙම ගහන්න බෑ හලෝ එහෙම දිනන්න බෑ තනියෙන් අදුම තරමේ survivability හරි තියෙනවා
He just bought a Battle Fury from the offlane, but here we can see Malrine as one of the standout players. We can talk and talk and talk about this Ursa, but the real factor of this game, which is what it has always been throughout all of Falcon's wins, if Malrine gets his Sand King, if he gets
ඒ kills නැත්තේ මේ පැත්තේ උන් durable හින්දා කලින් උට kills ගොඩක් ගියේ අර පැත්තේ හිටිය ඔක්කොම cheese කෑලිනේ මොනවද intelligence උයි agility heroes ලානේ හිටියේ දෙපාරක් අඩවනද්දි නිකන් passive එකෙන්ම එහා පැත්තේ මැරුණා
identified during the draft is that Leshrac, Sven, Magnus, all these heroes, they kind of farm the lane and then go farm the jungle. They keep doing farm, right? They're never overlapping their heroes. They're never really fighting, you might throw like a Storm Hammer here, or Lesh might rotate, but it's not as explosive as the likes of the Sand Kings and the Gyrocopters and Tusk. Like, they want to sweep through the map, and I think XG, that farm game has been punished once again.
I mean, to me, like, what I see also is I think this game is a good indicator of that gold can fix kind of everything for you, because I wouldn't, like, this is not a traditional Dota 2 draft. But this also goes to show you that this game is so complex, you can do so many different things. Because I'm pretty sure if you ask a lot of people after this draft, I did not think the Falcons draft was going to work out.
යකෝ මේකේ මේ announce කරන එක සල්ලි නැති එකෙක් දාප්පා ඔගේ දත්වල හැටි බලන්නකො. යකෝ මගේ දත් චොර කියලා මං කිය හිතේ මගේ දත් ඇත්තටම 10 ගුණයක් හොඳයි අරුගේ දත් වලට වඩා. මේ Dota announcement අර මේකෙන් හම්බෙන පඩියෙන්වත් මූ කියලා දත් දොස්තර ගාවට කියලා දත් ටික හදාගන්න.
Honestly so crazy, like I'm still in
යකෝ announce කරන්න ගන්නවා දප්පා මෙහෙම දත් තියෙනේ.
And guys, quick reminder, this is not carry to carry comparison. This is offlane guy, Chad, you know, last pick calls for like some Amar Ursa against the Ame Swen. Because Ame on this hero has looked incredible, but at this point in the game, look at his hero damage, 1500. He hasn't dared even to touch a hero in this game, probably apart from the laning stage. Amar, higher net worth, perfect items, got the axe to break him free, the Basher to play aggressive. Yeah, I don't know where to go from here. I'm a little worried for XG.
The fact that he was just farming so freely on the Ursa, and Key, he had the gem on him, right? Because Amar, the way that he played this Ursa is when, you know, he had that short stint playing offlane Slark. I just had like deja vu watching him. Like, you basically get 2 or 3 items, you run through the map, you keep the warding, you're inviting the enemy onto you, right? That's kind of a Falcons thing, right? Some player at some point, if they're thriving, tries to bait their opponent. And when Amar got the gem, got all this, he was doing it exceptionally well.
Yeah, it was, I mean, you might have thought at some point that it looked like a carry Ursa, but it was a frontlining tanky Ursa.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a very brief clip to kind of summarize what I was, or show you what I was talking about just there. Yeah, the way that Amar played it.
හතුරු ටීම් එකේ Ursa ඉන්නවා නම් අනිත් ටීම් එකේ durable DPS එකක් ඉන්න නැත්නම් එහෙම ඒක auto parody.
100,000 gold lead. He's still going to do the same thing. He's going to run in, use the gem, jump the backline, and
මොකද ඉන්න තොත්ස්ලා දෙන්න නම් එහෙම මං හිතන්නේ only fans ඒ උන්ද කොහෙද අර මේ දුඹුරු කෑල්ල එහෙම මං කලිනුත් කිව්ව පාට ලෝක බඩුවක් මේ අනිත් එකාගේ දත් සෙට් දත් සෙට් එක ගෙලින්ම වෙලා හොඳයි ඉතින්.
Ursa aside though, and again, it was so cool, very fun to see it on the mid stage from the offlane. Falcons did what they always do to no punishment in that early game. Before Ursa could even be a factor, the best thing that he did for his team in that first 15 minutes was win the lane. That's what he picked the hero to do, right? But still, you got this snaking on a save support different than the ones he's been playing, but he got it. Malrine, he got his healing. Got his healing.
Yeah, it was very good looking for Falcons, and we keep mentioning, and they had a very strong
ඊළඟ මේ දැන් ෆයිනල් එකේ lopsided selection එකක් තිබ්බොත් එහෙම ස්ට්‍රීම් එක නවත්තලා මට නිදා ගන්න යන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද
for what XG had, and a lot of that comes down to the Elder Titan here.
On the balance, team එකක් හිටියොත් එහෙම ඕන පැත්තකට යන්න පුළුවන් match එක.
In a lot of cases, X Nova just stopped hitting him. This was actually one of the few times in the entire laning stage that they ended up trading. And from there, Crit basically messed around over on the right side, trying to stop pulls and things like that X Nova was trying to do. And then eventually the supports just left the lane. And no joke, we were 8 minutes in. You remember this gank that happened where Amar dodged a lot of stuff and they played the music and all, that where he actually got low? Look at this tango in his inventory here. That is one of his that is how little harassment there was in his lane. He hit creeps and Ame hit creeps. So it was kind of just, the game was solved in a lot of ways based on him just picking his hero. He got
Streamlabs බොටාවම time out කරා මගේ redeem එක activate කරේ නැති එක හින්දා.
Smoothed out because it was a
යකෝ මගේ එක.
And then again the best things that Falcon got was
බොටා කියලා බලන්න time out කරනවා.
Sand King, which is ridiculously expert. I've made so many segments like this where Sand King does this stack clearing, then he goes into a teleport into a gank lane.
යකෝ මගේ සල්ලිත් ගත්තා points 100 අරගෙන මගේ මේක play කරේ නෑ ඕන වගුලක්.
Take the tower with the sandstorm, very broken stuff. You know what he does next? He always takes a second tower. Here it is, 10 minutes in. So they get the lanes they wanted to. They get the ahead Sand King that they wanted to. They get the Blink Dagger at 11 minutes. And then they take their first team fight and they don't get crushed in it. And from there on, the game is basically just in their hands. They have a gold advantage. They have map control. They have the heroes they want. They have multiple carries in this case, which made it even better against Sven. They basically just took the game in their hands with that Ursa pick.
ලශාක්ලා එහෙම අනික ඔය ලශාක්ලා ඉන්න ටීම් එහෙම දිනන්නෙත් නැහැ. ලශාක් එහෙම ගහන්න පුළුවන් අනිත් ටීම් එකේ ඔක්කොම ඉන්ටෙලිජන්ස් එකෙන් ඉන්නවා නම්. ඉන්ටෙලිජන්ස් මේ හීරෝස් ලයි අනිත් එක මොකද්ද මේ කොළපාට උන් ටික ඇජිලිටි ඉන්ටෙලිජන්ස් වගේ හිටියොත් තමයි ඉතින් මේ ඔය ලශාක්ලා එක්කම ගහන්න පුළුවන්. ඔය සෑන් කින්ග්ලා හිටිද්දි ලශාක්ලා ඉවරයි අප්පා.
You can make a great case why anyone deserves to win the international if there ever is such a thing. But I want to just quickly touch upon one certain individual. And we might do some other stuff. For one certain individual, the first time he goes to game 5 of the grand finals. It doesn't happen very often, guys. It does not.
It can't happen again.
If he wins, it's like you've broke the curse. You've done it. If he loses...
That is lifelong trauma.
I just... But it's not only that, like he's going to game 5 again, it's 2-2, but it's like Magnus is also like the bane of their existence. Whether you pick it yourself or they have it, like you have to like what? Get the hero like out of the game as a whole in like bans? Cause it's really in your head right now.
They just need to relax, okay? They need to regroup. I like what Captain SVG said about how draft dependent the series has felt.
ඔයගොල්ලෝට මීම් එකක්
Almost
තියෙනවා
feels like
පෙන්නන්න.
coach versus coach instead of player versus player. So what we really need right now is for both of these coaches to focus on what they do best. For Extreme Gaming, what they need to think about is that mid lane. Sure, there was an offlane Ursa, but what happened ultimately? Malrine got to play Dota the way that he always does, and he set the pace for his team. When they were shutting that down, they were doing great.
Yeah, Malrine feels like the life of the team. As much as like Effie's mentioning, the hype of everyone else, I fully echo that. Malrine has to be shut down if XG wants to.
මේ මං මීම් එකක් දානවා. මේක ඇවිල්ලා literally me for real.
For the other side, because yes, it would be fantastic in a whole full circle situation for Ame to be crowned king with the squad, of course, in Extreme Gaming. But on the other side, I do want to highlight that there is another person that could be
මණ්ඩුගගේ ආදරේ ගෙම්බෝ කියලා සෙට් එකක් තියෙනවා. අන්න මණ්ඩුග
international, the longest consecutive amount of TIs of any player that is here at TI, Kezu, and you can make a strong case for him as well to take this.
You can make a case for like so many of the players on stage, but especially him. He keeps getting his hoodwink over and over. And I will say his game 1, it didn't look particularly great, but he's been stepping it up every game of the way, and he's got the experience. Like when you look at the other players like Amar and Marine, I'm sure that they give so much, not just in like your own gameplay, but how do you help them? How do you keep them cool? How do you go into the next game? So, yeah, I mean, you can't really say that someone doesn't deserve it, but you have so many like, that just break the heart out.
විනාඩි පැය භාගයක්ද කොහෙද තියෙනවනේ මුගේ break එක. පැය භාගයක් හරි විනාඩි 15ක් හරි.
Cannot may the
හිතන්නේ පැය
best team
භාගයක්.
win, may the best uncrowned king win.
Yeah, I mean, for both, it is quite an achievement to get to this point. And then
ඊළ බලන්නකො මීම් drop එකේ මම
my
දැම්මා.
heart broken and be happy at the same time at the end of that 5th game. That is for absolute sure. And I do want to talk a little bit more about the coaches in the draft and how important it is, as our commentary team mentioned as well, because there is one thing that I have noticed in these last 3 drafts, and I'm not as Dota nerdy as some other people, so I look at other things. I look at how much bonus people have
Dota nerdy නෑ කියලා අලුතෙන් කියන්න දෙයක් නෑ.
The draft in my head as fast as obviously the pros on stage can. And some people do it a lot faster than others. The bonus time left for the teams at the end of the game generally is about 10 seconds, and sometimes 0. I mean, it's high pressure stakes, totally normal. On the side of Extreme Gaming, they seem to have come in with a plan every time, leading into 1.5 minute, 2 minute bonus time being left over.
But if you look at the drafts, it doesn't really show it. Actually, it does, all right? The Extreme have always been first pick.
Yes.
Always been second pick.
Every game.
Yeah, like when have you really remembered a grand finals where pick and side, or sorry, pick specifically, sorry, has always been the same way? Normally, you kind of bounce back and forth. It's like, oh, okay, they got second pick, they win. Let's take it away from them next time. Let's try and show them our strategies. The fact that we have 4 games in a row with the same pick side, or sorry, pick order, is incredibly rare, at least.
Yeah, and I think also it's like the way it works is that first pick, you set up your stuff, like you make it happen, and the second pick team needs to respond to you. And I think it also goes to show that Falcons were kind of pressured when it comes to the draft too, because they're running out of the clock. They had to go for a last pick Ursa, which is, again, it's incredible. And I think also like Amar deserves a lot of praise. Like the first time you're on the final stage, you play the grand final.
අමේ මොකද්ද X-Links? X-Links කියනවා. අන්න පටන් ගන්න යන්න. අන්න සස්මිත. අපේ chat එකේ සුපුන්ලා ගොඩක් ඉන්නවානේ. මෙයාත් සුපුන්නේ කවුද? ජොයිකොන්. ජොයිකොන්ගේ නමත් සුපුන්.
Grand finals of the international, I cannot imagine the pressure and the emotions they must be feeling right now, and the trick to be able to let it all fade away and focus only on that game of Dota, that is a trick that
Clinks මං ඉස්සර Dota ඒ කියන්නේ 2011 මං ගහපු හීරෝ කෙනෙක් Clinks Dota මං ඇත්තට මං හිතන්නේ මගේ පළවෙනි Dota ගේම් එක මං ගහුවේ Clinks එක්ක මොකද මට Dota පුරුදු කරපු එක කිව්වේ Clinks ගන්න මොකද Clinks ගේ ඉස්සර ස්කිල් එකක් තිබ්බා invisible යන්න පුළුවන් උට ඕගොල්ලන්ට මතකද දන්නේ කොළඹ මල්ලි කියලා එක හිටියා ඕක තමයි මට ඉස්සෙල්ලාම Dota පුරුදු කරේ ඌ කිව්වා වා Clinks ගන්න උඹට ගහද්දි ඉන්විස් එක දාලා දුවන්න කියලා Clinks තමයි ඉස්සර මං ගැහුවේ 2011 මං කියන්නේ 2010
I hope none of them are thinking about it though. All right, that is.
How can you not?
Impossible not to.
No, I mean, Zhao Wei's had a chat with them. He's really dialed them in.
Yeah, he found them to watch their
තාම තියෙනවා ඒක. මගේ
mage
ඇත්තට මං හිතන්නේ මට මතක විදිහට මගේ පළවෙනි මැචස් කීපය මං ගැහුවේ Clinks එක්ක.
He's ready. They're happy with what happened.
Clinks ගෙන් ගහලා ඊට පස්සේ මං ගියා මං ගොඩක් invisible තියෙන උන් ගැහුවේ මොකද මේ දුවන්න ලේසිනේ
Put yourself in the zone that makes you feel at home.
දන්සල් දිදී යාර අනිත් උන්ව ෆීඩ් කරන්න නැතුව අනිත් ටීම් එකට
thousands watching at home.
They were listening to that guy doing the interview in the crowd, right? He said he asked Amar to do some all chat to win the game, and then he did it. So whoever that guy is, yeah, shout out. You helped to win the
ATF කියලා මේ federal agency එකක් තියෙනවා මේ alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
During that time, they paid off. They made it happen.
දැන් sniper එක passive invest එකක් නෑ ඉස්සර තිබ්බේ නෑ දැන් තියෙනවද දන්නේ නෑ ඉස්සර passive invest එකක් තිබ්බේ නෑ passive invest තිබ්බේ මෙයා මොකද අර assassin නිල් පාට එකක් ඉන්නේ
For one, it's the drafting, as we have pointed out how important it is. But we
උගේ passive එකක් තියෙනවා
pointed out quite a few times
invisible
actually already before coming to the grand finals. XXS for Extreme Gaming has been
bounty hunter ගෙත් තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ bounty hunter ගෙ
he has been the one leading the charge to victory, and he is getting targeted in the ban so heavily.
He's been the heart of this team throughout this tournament. Like him on his blink initiative,
Ricky අන්න හරි
especially his shakers,
Ricky මා Templar ගැහුවේ නෑ
and what have you, his
Templar assassin මං ගැහුවේ නෑ
Falcons identified that they don't want that smoke. They're going to take away their playmaker.
අරුගේ මූණ නිකන් අර දෙන්ඩිගේ වගේ
Running out of heroes that can make
Ready will teach you කියලා මේ මේකක් දාගෙන
That is why they went for that Magnus in that last game. They wanted that hero with a low cooldown on that skewer to be able to start the fights for them. But like if your hero pool is getting banned and at the very end your Slardar is getting taken out,
අන්න අණ්ඩයින් තව හොඳ හයිය හත්තේ තියෙන එකක් තව අණ්ඩයින්
The Mars ban, Centaur ban, and Shaker ban. When you look at the heroes he's played,
Glimmer Cape එක මං හිතන්නේ 2011ම Glimmer Cape එක තිබ්බේ නෑ මට මතක විදියට
I mentioned you could first pick them in any draft, and you can eventually build something to fix some of their weaknesses. But the Slardars, the Batriders, it is a little bit more niche.
To me too, also it's 2 games in a row where they had the Skeeter gyrocopter, and there must be something for XG also that they need to think about. Like this hero will come out over and over for Skeeter.
ටීම් එකේ ඉන්න සපෝට්ටියුන් බෝඩ්ස් එහෙම ගැහුවේ නැත්තම් එහෙම Ricky පට්ටම ඇනයක්
We also did learn something where they banned the Slardar in the phase after picking Gyrocopter, and XG had the ability to pick Sven or Slardar there. So Falcons kind of told XG, like, we're scared of this hero, so if the same draft is to happen again, that could be the change that occurs, where they pick the offlaner slightly earlier to protect it from later bans.
And for Falcons, so long as they get their hands on a Mallorean hero in a game where he's uncountered by XG supports, because that's what it feels like the draft is about a few games ago, they're chilling. They're the ones who are daring XG to make a move,
fully sold out
play for 7 to 10 minute tower pressure. We're applying to your safe lane.
Mr. Beast නම් ඇත්තම ඒ කියන්නේ ඇත්ත විහිළුවට මම කියන්නේ ඇත්ත සයිකෝපාත් කෙනෙක්. Mr. Beast hina වෙද්දී එහෙම බලන්නකෝ ඌ දන්නේ hina වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. ඌ අර human emotions mimic කරන එක කරන්නේ. සයිකෝපාත් කියන්නේ කවුද කියලා නිකන් Google කරලා බලන්නකෝ. ඌ ඇත්තම සයිකෝපාත් කෙනෙක්.
You had the X Nova like on his staple heroes too, and you went straight through it.
All games though, it's been one after the other, as an Extreme 1 game 1, Falcons 2.
මේ Secret Lab නම් මහ ජරා උතු බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකක් පස්සේ
are adapting just slightly. At this point, we would expect Falcons to also adapt, obviously, but they need to be one step ahead. They need to know, they need to get into the minds of Extreme to think about how they would adapt after that previous game.
adapt,
Yeah.
and that's the thing where
මුංව මේ ඔය චීන ටීම් එක පැරදුනොත් එහෙම අනිවාර්යෙන් චීන ආණ්ඩුවෙන් අර පතලක මිනිරම් පතලක හරි මොකක් හරි පතලක වැඩ කරන්න දාන බරපතල වැඩ සහිතව
the Ursa here as well. Like sometimes in certain pick positions in the draft, you can now go, wait a second, they've not done it yet, but new people start suggesting new heroes and maybe gets a bit more, emotional because Amar is ready to do things that he's doing in his pubs but not in pro play. That can really impact the draft.
අර ශීෂීපින් කියන්නේ තොපිල දින්න නැත්තම් එහෙම අවුරුදු 10කට බරපතල වැඩ සහිතව දාන මිනිරම් පතලක වැඩ කරන්න කියලා. නැත්තම් ගල්ලංගුරු පතලක
so well like back then, like you have to, even as stupid as it sounds, you have to enjoy the game. Try not to overthink, like have fun.
ආකානක මොකද්ද?
Go with your comfort.
මොකද්ද ආකානක කාටද?
Game 5 grand final at TI, it does not
පෝ ටයිඩ් හන්ටර් ගත්තොත් පැරදිනවා අනිවාර්යෙන්ම.
Right? Opening the booth, confetti falling down, it is, one draft. It's so close for both of these teams.
It is so close. One more game. We are going to that game 5. Let's get ready.
Team Falcons versus Extreme Gaming Grand Finals. Game 5.
And we were wondering how things were going to get shaken up for this 5th game, and there is a very clear difference going into this 5th game. And we have Extreme, Radiant, Falcons, Dire, but the biggest difference is that Falcons, for the first time in this series, first pick.
It's a big change, and it's a change that I kind of like. I would have already liked it last game, but I believe it was XG who had to face, and they were like, haha, joke's on you, we're not going to let you switch it up. But this time, Falcons, they win the last game, and now they force a switch up to not make it easy for XG, so I like the start.
With only 3 bans now, we've seen those 3 bans be used with the 3 offlaners plus a Naga Siren. So which offlaner are they going to offer up to XG potentially to take in the first phase, which we haven't seen at all in the first 4 games?
අන්න බොටා ඇවිල්ලා නේ මගේ ටයිම් අවුට් එක ඉවර වෙලා. ඕකම ආයි ටයිම් අවුට් කරන මගේ මේ රිඩීම්ස් ඌ හරියට රිඩීම් කරේ නැත්තම් එහෙම.
Because Mars does not need that much. With that Eul's and that Blink, you're playmaking.
What stops Falcons doing? Why not they first pick the Mars for ATF?
Yeah, there's a lot of options. So you've got the Chen, you've got the Enchao, the Sand King as well. Mars probably one of the next heroes.
The other one that they have banned out almost every single time is the Monkey King.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, you are first pick, you are forcing XG to at least give you something.
Pick your poison, or you leave both.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. මං අර මේ බොටාව ටයිම් අවුට් කරන්න යද්දි බොටාගේ live reaction එක.
We'll see where Extreme Gaming goes with this one, as they are thinking
උගේ
about
ටයිම් අවුට් එක redeem කරන්න යද්දි.
Hello? So we're leaving that Mars in the pool for now.
You did not have to redeem this,
ma'am. You did not have to redeem that.
I would not be surprised if Falcons it's Amar's best hero. It's been one of the heroes of the tournament. You can slam in the Mars, but of course,
the Monkey King him a ban.
There's a lot of mind games going on too. Like, the most obvious might not, be right there because you have so much going on right now.
They might already one step ahead where it's like, you know what, we don't care because if we pick X hero, they get Mars and they build a plan. Like maybe they want to bait it. So many layers. It really just depends on what Aoi wants to do in this. ATF actually. Sorry, he's clicking the buttons.
Yep.
They're taking some time though. They are deciding.
This is the most time used in this entire finals in the pre-bans before the game starts.
Absolutely.
It is the most critical entry to the draft though. The wrong ban here, the wrong pick, it can set a domino effect to a very difficult game.
I'm of the opinion that if they want to first pick something else, like the Pango or the Beastmaster, Mars cannot be the hero that's given away. Like, it's got to be the Shaker you give away. If they ban the Shaker, then, as you guys mentioned, you have to take the Mars for yourself.
කැජ්ජිලා දැන් ඉතින් සිතනේ වෙන කතා කියනවා නෑ දැන් ඉතින් කවුරුත් ඉන්නත් එකයි මට වදාළ නෑ මේක boring.
I'm hotly anticipating this.
එහෙම බෑ හරියට සපෝට් කරන එක්කනත්
Mars bound to
Naga.
In Zanaga. We actually completely forgot about that because it's been first phase banned every single game, and not just in the grand finals, but almost the entire tournament long. This is a very strong hero.
Greatly apologizing for getting about this hero, but in the hands of Snaking, in the hands of any player right now at the international.
දැනට extreme හොඳයි. මොකද මේ Urch එක හොඳ ශක්තිවන්තයෙක්. ඔය නාගසයිනර්ලා හැම ඉතින් ආයි නාගසයිනර් පුළුවන් අර කෑග ගහ ස්ටන් කරන්න ඉතලයි ටීම් එකම. හැබැයි ආපහු පනාපු ගමම මේ පැත්ත DPS එකෙන් හිත තරම් ඉවරයි.
I'm only seeing 2 heroes on the screen and I'm like feeling anxious.
දැන් ඔයා කී හිටියේ කවුරුදු ඉන්නත් වැඩක් නෑ. උනුත් එකයි මුනුත් එකයි.
You got the Echo Slam. You have XXS getting his hands on one of his best hero. You have Snaking who he's won TI on this hero before, just a couple years ago. Like, he is no stranger to Naga support.
I don't even care about analysis anymore. I just want more team fight. I just want to find these 20-minute, 30-minute, 50-minute moments where both teams can throw absolutely everything and show their individual skill to try and win this game.
So far, all 4 games of this grand finals have leaned heavily one way or the other. Hopefully, game 5, we can wish for a very close, even team fighty back and forth.
I mean, it'd be the only way to end such a fabulous TI,
It
right?
would be.
A game
It would be
5,
so fitting.
tier 5 neutral item, refreshers and everything.
Well, the strongest supports of the tournament, I'd say, are out to the position 4s anyway, with the Snapfire and the Hoodwink removed.
දැන් 2යි 4යි 6යි 7ක් බෑන් කරන්න දෙනවද හීරෝස්ලා ඉස්සරහම 5යිද කොහෙද බෑන් කරේ හීරෝස්ලා
And they could also, their Shadow Demon is open for them as well. If they want to play around Ame, that's one of the best heroes you can have to enable him.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure where they want to take this here.
Ooh!
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Okay, hold.
Come on.
Roll it. Roll it.
Don't skip.
Well, they already have a Hoodwink, by the way.
Doesn't matter. Lion! Come on!
He's lagging.
He's lagging. He doesn't have it.
No!
Oh. No!
Don't leave us hanging like that!
We will never know!
The biggest cliffhanger I've ever seen.
That's more important than Ame winning TI at this point. Get this man some internet. Hotspot him.
It's all good. We're focusing our attention on the pick coming out from Extreme Gaming. They have banned out the Amar Bristle. And it's up to them to see if they still see a good hero in the pool. Shadow Demon once again. Xingqiu played it phenomenally earlier today.
And it's just a comfortable hero, right? You always know that you're going to have the stacks up, but you have that save hero to play behind your hyper
Shadow
carry.
Demon,
If you're in a game 5, you want Ame to put this game on his back. You want to make sure that your heroes playing anti-mage. You know what heroes are on his team? 1 save support plus a shaker, and they played out of their mind to keep him alive to eventually win the game.
Clutch potential is still rising. Every single pick, it has that ability to make a moment in these games.
I mean, something I still like here, like Naga against SD. SD is going to want to stack the triangle. Snaking and Falcons overall, they love being able to like have the map that you can block the engines, you can block the triangle with your illusions. Pangu here, honestly, quite the incredible hero. You're happy laning, you're good against the SD, it gives you a team fight.
Extreme එක හොඳ අර I Swenuයි අර කලින් හිටියා වගේ හොඳ strong මේ strength DPS එකෙන් ගත්තොත් එහෙම මුන් අරුන්ට කන්න වෙනවා හොඳ කෑමක්. Pangola එහෙම වැඩක් නැහැ.
So it makes sense. The chaotic nature of the fight, you have that insurance of the Naga behind you if things are to go different wrong for you, but you just want to get into the middle, provide that information. You have information from the Naga illusion, you have information from the Pango.
මොකද චේක්ගේ මේකක් තියෙනවානේ කොපීස් එහෙම ළඟ හිටියොත් එහෙම ඩැමේජ් එක වැඩි වෙන
Do
ඕකගේ.
you worry enough about the Pango where you want to counter pick him here with a Wyvern or something like that, or do you just go for something standard and go for something standard they do on Falcons with the
නෑ අනිත් පැත්තේ උන්නේ.
Filthy. Absolutely filthy, right? This game progresses, you know.
අනිත් පැත්තේ උන්නා චොට්ටක් බලමුකෝ මේ පැත්තේ උන් strong එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම extreme දෙනවා.
Jumping into the middle of the fight, you find 2, 3, 4 heroes, Ag static storm on top, no one's pressing a single button.
I have a quick question. Normally, Naga Siren and Disruptor are played on Snaking as position 5. What's the difference here? What do we think is going to happen? And should we keep on our radars that Skeeter actually does play Naga Siren?
Yes, but I would expect that. I mean, the thing with Disruptor and Naga, both. I mean, ideally Naga's 5, Disruptor's 4. I don't know if you guys agree with this.
Most likely, yes.
But the fact is, at this point in the stage of the tournament, depending on the lane setup, depending on the vibes, you know, everything can change. But I expect Naga to be the supports.
When I see Disruptor and he's being
Shadow Fiendui
run as for
Swenui
කලින්
එක අනිත් හිටපු එක කවුද?
Kill him and then try to glimpse him back.
ගත්තොත්
Try to
මොන්
explain
දිනනවා.
what this hero can do from the 4 lane. Something that can come through the gate would be incredible. If the carry can join in as well, just give Skeeter a sun hero.
But it would be poetic, right? If
මොකද Shadow Fiend ගහන යොන් එහෙම මේ ඒක Shadow Fiend ගන්න යොන් ඉන්නවනේ උන් උදේ ඉඳන් ඉපදුණු දවසේ ඉඳන් Shadow Fiend ගහන යොන් ඉන්නේ ඔය Shadow Fiend players ලා.
I mean, you have XG who are looking at X-Nova's hero here, most likely.
Yep. The Bane has been first phase banned, so that's out. Can't repeat that support combo.
They can go back for their ET, or they can go the counter pick route of Grim or Wyvern.
Why not bring back the Mirana, have the invisibility, ensure that you're not found by the Naga Siren at the start of the fight. So you have a bit more positioning and map play. You have SD Mirana to roam the map. It's a bit more aggressive. Utilize the Lotuses to find out these clutch moments. If you are stuck inside Static Storm, they can pretty much go anywhere, but...
Pugna.
Go for Pugna, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Falcons like end up jamming, you know, one of their good old speeder
extreme ivarai.
Played it before with your tempo.
Extreme la paradira me.
Heroes that you do end up seeing. I honestly just see nothing wrong.
But Pugna does add
එනවා යනවා scene එකක් වෙන්න යන්නේ. මේ පැත්තේ අරුන් හොඳ strength උන් දෙන්නෙක් ගත්තොත් guaranteed Falcon වල දිනනවා.
Even if they're out of position or getting jumped,
මොක්කුද අප්පා මේ තෝරන්නේ.
So much survivability to just get through Falcon's jump.
I just love the concept of double save supports for Ame on this game 5. Like, just give him his perfect pick here. But also Pugna versus Pango. Beautiful dynamic. Pugna can protect himself from Pango rolling on the backline. If he decryptifies himself or the target that's getting rolled on, they take no damage.
Naga Siren ne.
Both of these lineups are so like beautiful, like on their own accord and what they can do, how they play around each other.
ඇයි දන්නේ මේ team ඔය coach ලගේ ප්‍රශ්න නෝකයි. Common sense පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. උන් ඔක්කොම මම අරුව මේ count කරන්න ඕනේ, move count කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් ඔය පග්නලා එහෙම බලන්නකෝ. එනවා යනවා. පටන් ගත්ත වෙලේ ඉඳන්.
Tank and Echo Slam, walk into the Shadow Fiend, doesn't really care, right? You
මේ පැත්තේ හොඳ මුන්ට පග්න වෙනකොට ඌත් strength එකකුයි ස්වෙනුයි හිටියා නම් එහෙම මේක ඇවිල්ලා මුන්ට ඇහැ වහගෙන S2 වහගෙන දිනන්න තිබ්බා. මුන් දැන් චොර සීන් එකක් කරගත්තේ මේක. හොඳ වැඩේ හැබැයි එක්ස්ට්‍රීම් උන්ටත්.
This looks a little bit scary for Falcons just conceptually based on how they've been playing, right? They don't have that strong follow-up damage from position 4 that they always have to play with their mid laner. They're going to play a slower game because they have Medusa and
අරු හොඳයි ඔය ඉත්තාව ඉන්නවනේ මුන් මේ බෑන් කරලා තියෙන ඉත්තාව සුපිරි සුපිරි මේ strong එකෙක්
extreme gaming
මගේ ඉතින් all time favorite නේ Doom.
Is this the correct choice in terms of strategy?
I'm not
sure.
Answer
in an hour's time, please.
Like I see a similar problem. You have Medusa, Disruptor, and Naga Siren, very traditionally low damage heroes, or Medusa who doesn't join. And Effie, you mentioned you have Pugna against Pango.
Oh, low damage. දැන් I have පැත්තෙන් අර ඔය මේ අරු කියප එකත් low damage එකෙන් ඉන්න හින්දා හොඳ durable set එකක් හිටියා නම් එහෙම මේ පැත්තේ මුන්ට නිකන් survive කරන්න තියෙන්නේ.
Like Pugna wants to do it, but if he steps up,
Bristol back ගාලා අප නැති වෙන්න ගාවා.
So I think both teams have subscribed to we're going to
XG pick එකෙන්ම throw කරන්න try කරන්නේ. Extreme එක.
But then when it ramps up around 20 minutes or so, that's when the fighting will begin. It doesn't feel as snowbally as some of the other
2013 Invictus.
You know, earlier this year that we had a lot of players on the offense.
I would like to see it just in the carry role.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what Falcons will go for in their last pick. They still have to keep in mind that Ame has not gotten his gear
ban කරා කලින් කෑවනේ තනියෙන්.
Yeah, it's kind of on a mark here, and you're thinking a lot of steps ahead. You're gonna be discussing, okay, what is
හොඳ පාඩමක් ඉගෙන ගත්තා. සකෙන් ගුටි කාලා PTSD උන්ට.
We don't want them to have
PTSD.
Then at least they can't feel as good about it.
I think for Ame, just anything that goes in, just get in the fight. You have double safe.
පොදුමා යොන් මේ ස්වෙන්න බෑන් කරපු නැති එක.
A lot of range damage, and that's why they take out his Ursa and
ඔය ආමේ මේ වෙන ඌ හොඳට ගහන heroes ලා කවුද?
A faceless void, or does he want to switch to a completely different archetype and try to play a ranged carry versus Medusa? Personally, I would prefer if he just went in this game.
Also depends on the lane.
Faceless void එහෙම මේ වගේ වයි ගහන්න බෑ ගූ කෑලි. ඔය faceless void හොඳයි ඉතින් අර මේ Smurf accounts වලට
and they go for the Magnus themselves.
Log වෙලා.
XG could not win. Well, take the Aegis with the Magnus, and then Falcons take the Magnus themselves in game 5.
Falcon ලගේ team එක පට්ටම චොර. වැඩේ කියන්නේ මුන්ගේ team එකත් පට්ටම චොර.
I will say this can be poetic.
Extreme එක අපි අර කලින් ඉස්සෙල්ලාම බලපු match එක තියෙනවනේ. ඒකේ හිටපු heroes ටික තේරුණා නම් එහෙම මුන්ට ඒ විදියටම දිනන්න තිබ්බා මේක.
A game 5 Magnus game.
Now, yesterday you guys said that Outworld staff, you know, doesn't matter if team gets Outworld staff as the neutrals because it's good anyway.
ඔය ආමේ කියන එක උගේ ජීවිතේ හොඳටම ගහපු ජගනාත්ව ගහන්න වෙනවා නැත්නම් එහෙම මොම පාරද පැරදි.
Years to think about what he wants to slap Magnus with. He's comes up with a jump.
මොකද අනිත් පැත්තේ ඔය මේ කොපීස් හදනයුන්
You can play fast. You have your spin against the disruptor.
කොපීස් හදනයුන් ඉන්න හින්දා මෝකාගේ අල්තිය දැන් වැඩක් නැහැ ඇත්තටම. ජගනාත්ගේ අල්තිය වැඩක් නැහැ. මොකද මම මට විදිහට සයිරන්ටත් කොපීස් හදන්න පුළුවන් මෙයාට කවුද මේ අනිත් එකා කවුද අනිත් අය
A juggernaut last pick. Falcons going for this epic team fight. Like, if this is a 50-60 minute game, try fighting into Song, Static Storm, RPs getting dragged into it as well.
So far, though, every time it has gone later, it meant that the early game
අර පැත්තේ බලන්නකෝ එකයි ඉන්න චුට්ටක් හරි හයිය හත්තේ තියෙන එකෙට මේ අර්ච් එක විතරයි.
It feels stable from both teams, right? Farm on both sides.
යකෝ තව හයිය හත්තේ තියෙන තව එක සපෝට් එකක් ගන්න තිබ්බෙමු.
Individual items and how they approach it.
My only concern right now
පග්නා වැඩක් නැහැ. හරිද පග්නා ඒ කියන්නේ ටීම් එකේ නෑ වගේනේ.
pivot from everything else we've seen them play.
එක වගේ shit. Oh, team දෙකේම draft චොර. ඕක draft එකක් තියෙන්නේ.
And they just want to out execute in that late game. Whereas for XG, this looks like their drafts. This
මම කැප්ටන් මේ මම මේ කෝච් නගේ මම කියන්නේ මුන්ට අර මුන් අර සුපිරියට ගහපු මැච් එකේ හිටපු හීරෝස් ටිකම තෝරගන්න කියලා. මොකද අනිත් පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ ඇත්තටම කොන්දපණ නැති උන් සෙට් එකක්. එහෙම ටීම් එකක් හැදුවා ඒ ටීම් එකම හැදුවා නම් එහෙම ඒකෙත් මේකෙත් ස්වෙන්ට ගහන්න පුළුවන් තනියෙන් ඔක්කොටම. දැන් පණ්ඩිත වැඩ කරලා ඔය පරදින්න යන්නේ. එක්ස්ට්‍රීම් එක. උන් අර මේ ගල්ලඟුරු පතලේ අවුරුදු 10ක් වැඩ කරන්න තමයි දැන් සීන් එක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
Sounds like both teams kind of got what they wanted from this draft of game 5.
අන්න හැක් අද හැක් මැක්ස් නෑනේ. හැක්ස්ලා ඉන්න හැම වෙලාවෙම මෝබා නෑ අප්පා. මෝබාව හෙට මේ ඕක આવොත් එහෙම මට ඕකව ටයිම් අවුට් කරන්න මතක් කරන්න.
For sure, but first we're going to let both of the coaches speak.
Absolutely, my friends. Community, we've been waiting a long time for a grand final.
මේකේ මේ ඔය අනවුන්ස් කරන මැද එකා ඉන්නවනේ. ඕක අනිවාර්යෙන්ම පොඩි ඩිස්කෝඩ් එකේ පොඩි උන්ට මේ අසභ්‍ය පින්තූර වීඩියෝ එහෙම යවලා අනිවාර්යෙන්ම අහුවෙන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා බලන්නකො තව අවුරුදු 2-3ක් යද්දී. මම FBI එකෙක් නම් එහෙම ඕකව අත්තරංගුඩ ගන්නවා කිසිම මේවා නැතුව. අර මේ මොනවද සාක්ෂි නැතුව. මොකද සාක්ෂි ආයි අලුතෙන් හොය ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඕකව ඉස්සෙල්ලාම අත්තරංගුඩ අරගෙන කම්පියුටර් එකේ හෙව්වොත් එහෙම ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා සාක්ෂි.
Shake those hands, boys! Let's get into a game 5!
Oh, I am fired up after that intro.
අර registered sex offender pedophile කියන එක ඔගේ මූණේ නිකන් අර ටැටූ කරලා තියෙන්නේ.
Front stage all the way up to the top from every corner of this goddamn building. There are DOTA fans filling up this space and making some noise. And I just want one thing from all of you.
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හොඳ ලොකු කේස් එකක් ක්‍රැක් කරොත් එහෙම ඕනම law enforcement එකක ප්‍රොමෝට් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? මම දැන් FBI ඒජන්ට් කෙනෙක් නම් එහෙම මට දැන් ඊළඟ ප්‍රොමෝෂන් එක S2 වහගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්. මම මෙහෙම බලනවානේ. මම දන්නවා හරිය. ඕක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ළමාපචාර ඩයලොග් කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ මූණෙම පේනවනේ. හරිද? වොරන්ට් එකක් ගත්තා, කම්පියුටර් එක උගේ සීස් කරා, බඩු බනිස් එතන. හරිද? easy promotion.
Thousands of pubs, hundreds of thousands of moments thinking about what you would do if you were here in a Game 5 TI Grand Final.
Picks
and
dekama
you
chora.
know these two teams have thought about it a lot.
Extreme pixeling throw kara game එක.
Regrets, not now, not when you
උන්ට
have
දැන්
come
අමාරුයි. ඒ
this
කියන්නේ uphill
close
battle එකක්
to
තියෙන්නේ.
tasting
Extreme
immortality.
There is so much history behind TI, so much
උන්ට
history
හොඳට
behind
දිනන්න
these
තිබ්බා මේ
players.
ස්වෙනුයි මට මතක නෑ අර අනිත් උන්ගේ හිටපු මේ හීරෝ කවුද කියලා අර කලින් එකේ ස්වෙනුයි අර අනිත් එකව ගත්තා නම් එහෙම උන්ට මේ මොකද මේකේ මේ ඔය ෂැඩෝ ෆින් ගහන එක සුපිරි ඩයලොග් හොඳට ගහනවා.
It is going to be a dirty game without a doubt.
Pure magic as the only term for it. Man, if you are a coach of one of these squads, I would not want to be backstage watching this unfold with no ability to control it. The draft is set. The players are just going to play out your picks. And I mean, like a last pick juggernaut for Ame. You have to remember this Ame juggernaut was the only thing that took a game off of Team Spirit in their perfect EWC run.
That's
the
true.
only thing Yatoro could not defeat. Ame will go back to it here. and face his demons in a grand finals Magnus. This is what he chose. This is what he has to live with and what he has to make work here.
I won't lie. I felt a pit in my stomach when I saw the Magnus come up for Falcons. I saw Ame facing a Magnus in a TI grand finals.
Not again.
Okay, let's
talk
about it. Let's break it down
health එක දැම්ම භාගයයි නොදකින් ඔකට ගන්නවා දන්නේ අප්පා ඔය පුග්නවල එහෙම මේ රෙකමෙන්ඩ් කරන කෝච්ලා එහෙම උල තියන්නේ
right goes to a game 5 but those were some one-sided games to lead up to it. Drafting, there was a lot of back and forth all the way back then. There is now today in this series. Who do you think, in your opinion, who do you think walked away with the draft win?
This is honestly impossible to call. I cannot call it one way or the other. I give a very slight edge to Falcons because they got Naga Siren, and this hero has been a teamfight terror. But XG got some decent answers to it. They got the Shaker in response. It's a great matchup. You have long range disable. You have teamfight. They got the XM Shadow Fiend that was a monstrosity.
පුග්නා වගේ ගන්න ඕනේ ටීම් එකේ නිකන් 3 දෙනෙක් විතර හොඳ strength. හයි හත්ති තියෙන strength එකම 3 දෙනෙක් වගේ ඉන්නවා නම් එහෙම පුග්නාව ගන්න පුළුවන්.
All the scaling that they will need, so much team fight, just a matter of execution. Can you make these picks pay off? XXS looking for some pressure on Skeeter. Would love a first blood in this lane.
Yeah, gets another enchant totem. And with Shinkyu getting so many hits off, it's amping up the damage. Don't forget about that innate, the menace that he's able to apply. Skeeter loses a lot of mana for that and may lead to something in the future. But for now, no kills just yet. But the CS score is looking mighty fine for Extreme right now.
And honestly, that has been part of the story of this series. It feels like who
pulls
ahead in the early game
who
pulls ahead more in the late game and who closes it out.
When it comes to the look,
එහා පැත්තේ strength එක නැත්නම් එහෙම strength උයි දැන් මේකේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ එහා පැත්තේ අර මේ උන්ගේ copies හදන්නේ උන් ගොඩක් ඉන්නවා. ඕක ප්‍රශ්නේ මොකද අර උගේ අල්ටිය copies වලට එහෙම පැන්නහම නාස්ති වෙන අපරාධේ.
This looks like a lane victory for
එහා පැත්තේ එකේ default අර කුරිය ඉන්න දැක්කද?
And this is also not the fastest lineup we've seen out of Falcons, right? They went for Medusa, they went for Magnus. This is not a classic Skeeter hero for a reason. It doesn't make early rotations, it doesn't join the fight super early. It does give you more scale. Will that scale come back to haunt you, though, if it gets reflected off of some Shadow Demon illusions? You can turn this Dusa back against the team itself. There's a lot of small interactions like that in this game.
හැබැයි උට මේ උට ස්වෙන් ගන්න තිබ්බ ජගනාත් මට ඒ කියන්නේ හිතා ගන්න බෑ යු ජග්ව ගත්ත කියලා. මේක ජග්ට වඩා අර කලින් එකට වඩා ගැලපෙනවා මේකේ ස්වෙන්. මොකද ස්වෙන්ගේ පැසිව් එකෙන් ඔගේ අර මේ AOE පැසිව් එකක් තියෙනවානේ ඒකෙන් අරුන්ගේ අර කොපීස් එහෙම ලේසියෙන් මරන්න පුළුවන්.
Absolutely deadly in the late game. The sleep into the lockdown static storm. You have a disruption to soft
Extreme පැරදුනොත් උගාර මේ ස්වෙන් ගත්තේ නැති.
Fight to back that combo up. There's a lot of burst damage.
In that case, do you favor Falcons going into that late game? If we get into that scenario where the teams have not been able to roll over each other with an early game advantage and we push it late?
I mean, honestly, I hate to say this, but it might come down to Omni Slashes. It's a gamble of a spell. I mean, you go in there, there's Lotus Orbs, there's Outworld Stabs. So much can go wrong, and yet so much can go right here. If you land the perfect ultimate, it can break that late game fight open.
Disruption set up, Fisher block off, a bit of damage, Snake King though. Naga Siren, a very tanky support, and once again, Crit's gonna make the early TP rotation for the punish on Extreme Gaming. That should lock it down. XXS has nowhere to run to, and first blood is claimed by Crit.
He makes the same rotation top he did in that other game. Turn that lane around for Skeeter, secure this safe lane farm. Do not let XXS get aggressive or have a free farm time up on this off lane for XG. He has been their biggest playmaker. He is their playmaker in this draft. If you shut the Shaker down, the game becomes a lot slower for Extreme Gaming, and then you're relying on the lane win from this Shadow Fiend to power you through. Which, by the way, he is winning the lane CS, but this Pango has been farming jungle incredibly efficiently. Maureen is getting through this matchup.
XXS, he knew there was going to be some sort of glimpse shenanigans here, and now with the Fisher, he's trying to save his support, pull back in. Once again, this Gorgon's grass is turning out beautiful when he's got so much set up for the pulling of the ensnare and the glimpse.
You have to find a punish somewhere on the map. This is just a straight tri-lane now from Falcons and guaranteed kills with the net plus the glimpse.
You can't really punish the solo offlaner here. It's a double bracer Magnus, and you've got Pugna, Juggernaut. You're just not going to get a kill with that duo.
It's the downside. No disable on this Pugna to set up the spin kill. Means X-Nova's going to have to look
early.
elsewhere.
Rolling Thunder goes after XM. Malrine gets stuck on the cliffs. Still able to find a second hit, but now it's underneath tower. And XM, he's trying to get off the Requiem. Unable to do so. Maybe he can threaten it now. Oh, man, he's get a big heal off the Magic Wand stack. Malrine's the one to die instead. The race to finish him off. And now the punishment comes in twofold. The Shin-Q managed to get a disruption. XM taunting Malrine. He was already walking away with the lane win, but now he's got a massive lead.
හැබැයි ෂැඩෝ ෆීන් ෆෝම් කරා කියන්නේ ඉතින් අරුන්ට කන්න වෙනවා අප නැති වෙන්න කෑමක්.
It might get the kill. Ooh, it was close, but not quite good enough. A raindrop is what separates Snake King from life and death.
What a kill attempt from Malrine. He played that lane so well, salvaging it in the jungle, dodging the rough parts, went for the all-in play, but XM, he had Fairy Fire, he had wand charges, he's able to boost back up, turn that play around, and the support's there at the right time. That's a huge turnaround play for XG. When you pick XM, these lane dominators, you cannot let him fall. His Sniper and Shadow Fiend have been go-tos. They build a lead, they take the map over, they take that tier 1 mid incredibly fast. If you gank that hero once or twice and he falls, a lot of the momentum goes out the window. So keeping him alive is pivotal here for Extreme Gaming. Also building up a lot of stacks for the Shaker. This is something Falcons are eyeing. They would love to get in there and either contest the experience or steal it away with this Pangolier.
But we talked about all tournament long how it feels impossible to do so. You get too close, you're getting echo slammed, you're too far away, you don't get all that experience and certainly none of the gold. Snake King, the best he can do for now is block extra stacks.
They do have a window. No echo yet on XXS.
Miss Skewer. X-Nova, though, still taking so much damage. Thanks to the healing ward, he will stay alive. And Amar battling out with Ame, but I don't think he's expecting an extra hero here. Shin-Q can't get there in time for a disruption.
This will mean Malrine gets away with some highway robbery on these stacks. Again, no ult on XXS because his lane was so rough. He got tri-lane. Can't go here and threaten that echo. 8-minute power rune, spawns top. Invis will go to the Pangolier here. No luck for XM on that one.
An Invis rune pickup from Malrine. We'll see what he does with that. I mean, it's actually a decent rune pickup if you're going to be invading Extreme Gaming side of the map constantly, as they're trying to push XM along. Still has a decent net worth lead. He's already kind of rolling.
XG, they missed the D-ward with this Sentry in the river, so Malrine knows what's going on here. They're just baiting this SF out. I mean, they do not want to let XM fall in this early game. You can see the prioritization from the supports. At the same time, they're not kicking people out of this lane, and they're not hitting that tower, which is the progression we saw with the SF when they played it earlier.
Right.
That game spiraled really fast. This is getting stalled out a bit. This is buying time for the two side laners of Falcons to scale up here.
And Amar, he's feeling like on his Magnus game that the game is going to be slow enough that he can go for that Helmet Dominator. He's not going to be rushing the Blink Dagger, which, considering the lack of pressure so far from the Shadow Fiend, I'm inclined to agree with him.
This is the normal progression.
He levels up the
RP, but he will not be able to outlast the Omni Slash.
What a find from Ame. The timing on that is tight with the next wave coming in. You really have to get it on point. He had the exact damage. I think that was literally the last slash of that ultimate.
I mean, Ame asked for the Juggernaut. You better be perfect with these Omni Slashes because this hero is so hard to work otherwise. Omni Slash is just such a fickle spell in that regard.
But he is a Juggernaut master, right? This is his hero. He asked for it in this moment. You have to deliver. Meanwhile, stacks have been being built up for Falcons, and at the same time, the Naga Siren is denying the stacks over on the Extreme Triangle. Snake King has been a menace with the blockage.
Yeah, 9-4. Extreme doing a lot more of the stacking, but considering the fact that Malrine hijacked probably 3 or 4 of those.
They did not get them all.
Yeah, feels about even.
Still is XM picking up the farm right here. You did not get that early kill on the Shadow Fiend, so he's going to continue to power up. You just have to trade it out with some Empower efficiency of your own. Diffusal done for Malrine. Haste Rune in his bottle. Could be a nice little point to look for something if you're Falcons. He's really strong around the map right now. Not a lot of ability to control this Pango either in the fight. That's the one downside for this lineup against the Pangolier compared to some of the ones we saw earlier with that Bane being banned out first. You don't have a VKB Piercing Disable to control Rolling Thunder in this game.
Timing of this is going to be pretty tight because Extreme are also almost online. XXS just needs another 200 gold and he will have a Blink Dagger. So if they make the play right now, which they are, two-man smoke, Crit and Marine.
They want Ame. If he gets spin off, this might not work, but you have RP.
RP straight to the Static Storm. He gets off the spin initially. They're still going to go for the kill. The teleports are coming in. He may need a disruption to bail him out here. He got off that disruption right before the Static Storm finished him with the silence, but it's not enough. Too much with the Rolling Thunder on top of it. They just bring too many heroes to this, and Extreme desperate to bail out their carry. Just give more to Falcons.
Such a nice timing to hit with this Pangolier. You even get to hold the haste rune. And you always have this RP threat on the Jug. You can't just spin TP out. You didn't have Healing Ward available, didn't have Omni Slash available for 5 seconds. They will take this Juggernaut down. An important kill in this laning phase. That Shadow Fiend is still powering up, but if you can disable the rest of the team, it's going to be a lot of weight on XM's shoulders in this game to carry it alone.
Skeeter's been having a peaceful game. Any pressure that he got was matched by Falcons rotating supports up here. And while he's not quite up there with the Shadow Fiend, he's gotten a lot of farm off lane. He's been a part of a couple of kills. And if he wanted to, he could keep this tower alive.
It's tough against the Pugno. 3 points in the blast. X-Nova will eventually get it here.
That's true.
And you inevitably will open up the map if you're XG. In theory, this is good space for the Jug to use later when you can, aggressively split push with the spin TP out threat. But again, you have Stone Gaze, you have RP in this game.
Yeah.
That is not guaranteed, especially when this Blink eventually comes out for Amar. You're going to be worried pushing these lanes super deep as Ame might have to play this game a little safer than you would normally want. Can still scale up really well, but he has to get that Battle Fury online and start putting it to use.
Marine.
Look at another power rune and a great one. Amp damage for this Pangolier.
Yeah, it feels like he's just getting everything he needs right now.
I'd be really surprised if Falcons don't try and start something around this mid lane with this rune.
Sweeping through the jungle, they are going to be spotted by this ward. Shin-Q just sitting behind this tree, seeing if anybody on Falcons oversteps themselves.
Those have Demonic Purge for the power rune, so maybe that dissuades you a little bit, especially if you don't catch the Shadow Demon at the start of the fight. It's kind of the dream catch every time. Take the save out of the equation, take the Demonic Purge out of the equation, no reflection on the Medusa later on.
Yeah, man, you can't afford to let Amar do this to you. He's taking too much. Falcons are still playing the top side of the map as well, but they're going to sandwich him.
They
punish.
Kick him out.
Didn't want to go for the Medusa, but they'll catch Amar on the other side, go through the gate, hit him with the Blink Dagger. And with that skewer, there's nowhere really to run. They try the Static Storm to give him some time here, but another 5 seconds till the skewer, and he's just completely surrounded.
Kill to Ame. Boost that Juggernaut up. It's going to finish his Battle Fury right on time. Nice little kill to snag. I almost wonder if he could have TP'd out under that Static Storm. It would have been tempting. Still have a free farm Medusa in this game. This Medusa Juggernaut matchup it's a really tough one to measure. In theory, it's good for Jug because he has a little bit of sustain. He can build the mana burn items if he really wants to, Disperser later on. He has a great tool against you in the Omni Slash to kind of bypass the Stone Gaze, but it can also just go horribly wrong if Dusa hits her timings, gets a fast Butterfly, is taking Roshan's against you, and is just barreling down lanes.
Yeah, she's such a damage soak that a lot of times these Omni Slashes are going to feel ineffective if Medusa's in the middle of them.
Looking at Amar again, but without the Shaker, you don't have the damage and control to bring this guy down. 2,000 HP with those bracers long shreds.
Yeah, he dies once, he just runs it back down the lane. Says, go ahead, give it a try if you want.
Yeah, he's just running at him.
And X-Nova's trying to run away. But Crit will catch up with a glimpse here. X-Nova doing what he can. But of course, too many disables.
Godzillaගේ ප්‍රියතම හීරෝ මම කිව්වේ ඔය පග්න ගත්ත එක වයින් කරලා දාන්න ඕනේ ටීම් එකේ. මොකට ගන්නවද මන් දන්නේ නැහැ අප්පා. Survivability එහෙම බින්දුවයි. මොන ability එක තිබ්බත් වැඩක් නැහැ ඉතින් survive කරන්න බැරි නෝ. ඒත් ගන්නවා.
It's hard to get that angle. Unless that SF is already on top of when you disrupt.
අනිත් ටීම් එකේ මං හිතියත් මං කරන්නේ පග්නව ෆාම් කරන එක. මේ මුංග ෆාම් කරන්න නැතුව ක්‍රීප්ස්ලා ෆාම් කරන්න නැතුව පග්නව ෆාම් කරනවා.
Tanky hero at this point in the
so
game.
Why not make the same play as last time? A little bit of feint up to the top lane and then back through the gate. Sandwich Falcons again on this play. If you want to keep playing aggressive down here, we'll keep picking off the heroes. This time they only get the support. Malrine
bait an illusion, but
he does not have a TP scroll, but he does have Rolling Thunder.
They're going to see he does not have TP.
Can they get in front of him anyway? Nah, he's too fast.
And they TP'd XXS down here as well, maybe feeling like he was backed into a corner, but the catch will not be there in time, and this is going to give up a lot of map control. Mid wave pushing in, top wave pushing in.
Invoker මේ පැත්තේ පග්නගේ මේ ජවනිකාව රඟපාන්නේ. Invoker එනවා. Invokerත් එහෙම තමයි. තනියෙන් අහුනොත් ඉවරයි. එනවා යනවා.
Such close margins.
Look at this smoke. Without the initiator though, this could be awkward.
Oh, it's going to be very awkward. Spotted by a Helmadom creep. They'll get the 100 gold for it, maybe take some neutrals, but it's not the smoke that they wanted, especially with all this damage on this top tower.
If you're XG, you also don't want this game to turn into some sort of, you know, Naga ratting the lanes fest where you can't catch anything and you have very little information. This hero can make the map miserable to play. There's a rune denied.
Nice deny from Snake King.
But I like that dead even in this game 5. This was not a game that was just auto won off the lanes, and I don't think it's a game that's auto won off the draft.
I do feel like Extreme Gaming are going to reach this point soon where they're going to have to pick up the pace once they get this Blink Dagger on XM. I don't know if he could play the same game last time where he just farms up to a BKB and then to an Aghanim Scepter. I am very, very leery. The potential of the illusion push from the Naga Siren and the Medusa, that sounds... I don't want to get into that world. I don't want to be chasing around these illusions all over the map.
If you believe in the Juggernaut Shadow Fiend scale, Shadow Demon can turn it around against them, right? You can be disrupting these illusions around the map, pushing the lanes back in. It's a great support and farming off the back of that. But I agree with you. Like, this is a game you want to get something done with your timings, particularly these Blink Daggers on the core heroes. Start hunting. Looking aggressive for the team fights, looking for Maureen, looking for the Magnus. If you can find those two, or at least one of them at the start of the fight, it can be very good for you. And you can bring Ame in there, and he should be able to contribute more than
this information, instant Echo Slam! Baited out X-Nova! The punish, the Fisher, it doesn't stop the skewer away, and a song to reset things. Falcons are not in a position to keep it going, though. They will simply teleport out.
Smart
it was
song.
a great
බලන්නකො
reaction there from
පොග්නගේ
Extreme,
ඇත්තටම
but
0 health.
that is the problem with the Naga Siren.
Can always bail you out of a rough situation. You have BKBs later on, you can power through that, but for right now, it'll get Amar home. Super quick jump from XXS. They were absolutely ready for that play. Still, Amar gets out. Like, this tanky build for the mag. Proven problematic, and you throw some disruption spells behind him, some sustain later on. This Naga's going to build some utility.
Quick Static Storm, X-Nova.
And they're just running a pack. Quick Pugna kill, run the same heroes into the mid lane, grab the
Pugna නැතුව වෙන ඕන එකක් ගත්තා නම් එහෙම මෙහෙම දන්සල් නොදී ඉන්න තිබ්බා.
To ensure that if Extreme were to respond, it's a hard fight to take. XXS is tanky, but not that tanky. And XM tries to come in with a Requiem. He's doing this solo. Wait, no, Ame comes in from the side with an Omni Slash. It's a great one. Maureen, he gets a lot of damage on him, but it's not.
අර පරදින සීන් එකක් තියෙන බලන්නකො.
And I'll pause as Ame's kill attempt falls short. One hit. He didn't want to spin for it, as you might sacrifice your ability to get back out.
XM finally went for that Requiem. Unfortunately for him, Crit was ready. He hits him with the glimpse.
උන් පරදින දැනට තියෙන විදියට මේ චීනු ටික වදිනවා.
Which Ame certainly
ගොනා වගේ මූ ජග්ව ගත්තනේ ස්වෙන්න ගන්න නැතු.
That's the kind of team fight we expected from XG at this point in the game. I mean, you can imagine they win that if all three cores are punching together at some point in that season. Unfortunately, you lose your Shaker at the start. Your SF goes in, he gets glimpsed out. You go in with the Omni, he needs a little bit more follow-up damage. This lineup has to play together to achieve those kills.
Shadow Fiend ඉතින් දැන් කරේ තියාගෙන යන්න ඕනේ ජග්ව නැත්තම් එහෙම මේ අරොන්ට මොකුත් කරන්න හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ.
And that is largely because they do have this split push in the first place, right? They do have the Helmet Dom pushing out these side lanes. They do have the Manta Illusions running down lanes. They can play grouped up because the side lanes are already pushed in.
There's a lot of lane shove in this lineup. Naga Siren, Medusa, Pangolier just ghost shoves it with the swashbuckle. You have Empower, you have the Dom. It's going to be a lot of map pressure for this lineup to deal with. And if your Jug is afraid to show on lanes and get it back out because there is BKB piercing spells in this game, then you're really going to struggle. It's going to fall to Shaker to show a lot more, and he's your playmaker you want off the map, and it's really going to fall on Jin to deal with the lane pressure by returning the illusions into Falcons. Looking for the glimpse, force the spin. I don't think Amar's in range here to try and turn it around, so no damage, no foul after that pause.
Yeah, but the spin on cooldown as well as the Omni Slash, Maureen feels very confident he can take this mid-tier 1 tower. The first significant blow of the game goes the way of Falcons. They now have a 3,000 net worth lead.
And they are racing towards this Medusa butterfly. That's the scary part here for Extreme Gaming. This timing for Skeeter is going to be really strong. Their heroes do not deal with it well unless you can just isolate this Naga. And you can't do that until you have BKBs because Song can always bail him out, and then Falcons will reset with Static Storm, Stone Gaze.
The game of initiations is going to be so crazy to watch because Extreme Gaming, they already had the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. We saw the effectiveness of that when Amar tries to make his jump. But then you're also going to have a Blink Dagger very soon on
team
Shin
fight
Q.
දෙක එක දිගට මේ Falcon ලා දින්නොත් එහෙම මුන් දිනවා මේක.
He brought XM with him when he tries to skewer away. One raise, where's the stuns? They've got none. They only have damage, and it's not quick enough.
He blinked into that skewer. He's like, take me with you. I'll try and bring you down. Sick attempt to find the Magnus, but again, the tankiness of this build pays off. Amar's able to play it very aggressively and get out. This is
20 minutes.
Tormentor.
Yeah, Falcons, they see all these heroes from Extreme on the other side of the map. They know this Tormentor, it's all theirs. And so the Shard, that'll go to Snake King. It's a nice really nice upgrade.
He's so rich now. He's only going to get wealthier.
Song of the Siren giving max HP regen per second, so when he gets the save off, but then there's something even more special. Max mana regen that's even more effective with this Medusa.
It's great for all their
අයිනට වෙලා එහෙම team fight වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හලෝ ඔයා කියන විදිහට පඳුරු අස්සේ හැංගිලා.
Means you could just finish up that Solar Crest, go into other utility. They already have a drum on crit. Early utility online for Falcons. Butterfly.
මොකද විනාඩි 30 ගියාට පස්සේ ඔය පුග්නලා එහෙම වැඩක් නැහැ.
Baiting out X-Nova, who's going to try and play for the Wisdom Shrine. No overextension though from Falcons. Not yet. The Omni Slash is laid down. It's sticking on to Maureen. No, it's sticking on to Skeeter. He gets a lot of damage done. The Stone Gaze goes out. The Rolling Thunder has used so many ultimates. Popped by Falcons. They do not get control of the Wisdom Shrine. That goes to Extreme. Extreme not able to chase and punish. But I think they're happy just to be able to get something out of Falcons without losing anything in return.
Honestly, this Omni Slash has been doing a lot of damage to these Falcons heroes.
Zero damage Omni. Godzillaගේ ජාතික වීරයා.
Requiem on top, Omni Slash on top of all that. Some of these heroes are going to explode. Even if the Song is over top, the burst damage is insane. This is what XG are gearing up for right now. They will have to hit their stride in the next 10 minutes here before this DOTA becomes impenetrable. And that is Snake King's job. Slow this game down. Buy time for the Medusa to get to this Scotty where she becomes an absolute beast in this game. And then look towards that Roshan.
With the butterfly advantage, it feels tough. The Scotty, that'll be something different for Ame to have to contend with. He's trying to work on a butterfly of his own. There's that Blink Dagger for Shin Q. A good pickup. And double BKBs will be coming in soon for both XM and XXS.
I do not envy Jin Q's position in this game, though. To decide between an offensive disruption and a defensive one, which one do you need more? It's very tempting to go for that offensive disruption on the DOTA and turn those illusions against Falcons. At the same time, you use it offensively and you don't have it to bail out one of your cores that gets RP'd or Static Storm, you're going to really regret it.
That's true. And maybe that's where X-Nova is going to have to step up.
ඊළඟ team fights දෙකේ තව match එක තියෙන බලමුකෝ. ඊළඟ team fights දෙක අරුන් Falcon ලා දින්නොත් උන් මේ match එක දිනනවා. එහෙම නැත්තම් අනිත් උන් දින්නොත් එහෙම ආපහු playing field එක level වෙනවා.
That's all physical damage. So
I mean, Pugna's always annoying on that backline. It's just the displacement from the Magnus can be his problem. You pull this hero away from XG's formation. Very hard for Pugna to turn that sort of fight around.
And once again, Falcons having the advantage.
Roshan අයියා ඉන්නේ මේ දැන් වෙන
They're going to
පැත්තට නේ.
take this Roshan. And Extreme not really in position to contest.
අනේ රොෂාන්ට ගෙවල් දෙකක්
Play for that
තියෙනවා.
double BKB timing that we were talking about.
Believe in Ame. Believe in the Juggernaut. That's all you can really do right now because Skeeter is untouchable with this Aegis. And that'll finish up the BKB for Amar as well. He feels untouchable at this point. You'd have to land a massive synchronization of these ultimates to bring these heroes down and win the fight overall.
The Naga Siren.
අරුන් throw කරා මේ Jaguar ගැන. මේක හොඳ Sven එක හොඳට ගහන්න තිබ්බ game එක.
Come in with those song saves, but the BKBs can allow them, if Extreme get that advantage, to just push through the song, get these kills anyway.
Such a terrifying hero to play against. Even if you get the perfect team fight, this Naga can put you all to sleep and reset the entire situation. See how much Skeeter can get done with this Aegis. He's got a long time on the clock. Definitely enough to get to his Scotty. Probably enough time to take down 2 tier 2s if you really want to force that mid one. I doubt these are towers XG wants to fight. The positioning's just not that easy. There's going to be Naga illusions in your base. And it's all about the Juggernaut's timings. Ame, he wants his butterfly before he has to be pulled into a fight for his life here.
Yeah.
You need the damage upgrades on this hero.
Very efficient from Falcons. They take that bottom lane. The Helmet Dom creep was pushing in mid, so they didn't even risk any heroes. Falcons staying grouped up together. Now the Medusa is going to hit that mid tier 2, and it's going to disguise a smoke push in from Falcons. 3-man smoke into the triangle, not finding anything just yet.
ෆයිනල් අවුරුද්ද මොනවද මණ්ඩුක කියන්නේ? ඕ ගැජ්ජිලාගේ ටීම් එක ලබන අවුරුද්ද TI එක දිනනවා. මම තමයි ඒකේ මේ coach.
He is so close to being in range for that RP.
He backs away just at the right time.
I mean, you got to remember, he doesn't have BKB. If you RP skewer him into Static Storm, that's it for him. He's gone.
Kind of poke at Skeeter here, of course, with the Aegis. It's a Medusa. It'll take forever to kill her the once. There's no way that Extreme are going to go on this, and Falcons know it.
At the same time, they're smoking out. Since they're not afraid to take some sort of engagement or at least look for a pick-off while this Aegis is online.
There is a lot of information from Falcons with these deep lane wards once again.
These are some nasty obs in this jungle, not being killed right now.
XXS, he'll try and cut that mid wave. Thanks to his shard, it's made a little bit easier.
Falcons instantly running back to this part of the map.
Oh yeah, they've got so much vision here. Double wards in this jungle area.
Could be a disaster.
And they got the glimpse back. The disruption goes out.
පුග්නටමයි නැහන්න හදන්නේ. මොකද පුග්නවිලා free අර free gold නේ.
attempt, but
I mean, you got to know there's vision here now. You either find it or you vacate the area.
Towers ටිකක් ඉවරයි.
Corralled early in this game. I mean, the net worths don't look too bad, but they're losing a lot of space, a lot of ground right now. Jinq going for the offensive disruption. Little harass the Skeeter here.
Yeah, with the illusions combined with a couple of stuns, Medusa does take a lot of damage, but
that's a lot of damage actually. Yeah, those things hurt.
They do.
Downside of the butterfly, right? Goes both ways. There's the Scotty, however, 2,000.
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් Towers ටික ඔක්කොම ඉස්සලාම කැඩෙන ටීම් එක පරදින්න ලොකු chance එකක් තියෙනවා.
Still, the RP has to be used defensively alongside the song. They just got to run. Echo Slam got used, but XM does not get off the Requiem.
How did he not get that off? You have to be instant on these jumps. The cores have to go together. One jump is never going to be enough in this game. It has to be 2, maybe 3. A big missed opportunity for XG. Does get to the butterfly on Ame. You can still look for something with this Omni Slash, but there's still the dire vision in your jungle. You never got rid of it.
Your own vision is going to be in danger because the early gem pickup from Falcons. They're going to push into this side of the map again. Once again, looking for a glimpse play. They know XM doesn't have his BKB. He just has to Requiem. Hope that the fear pushed them far enough back, but the Mag is going to chase after a snake. He got him with the ensnare. Wait, a Fissure, they're so clumped up. A Fissure hits on 4. If only there was some damage behind it. Boname, he wasn't there yet. He's trying to get there somehow, wrapping through these trees areas, but he's just not going to be able to get there to punish anything. It's going to be instead
අරුන්
supports fall,
මුන් ඉවරයි. Extreme එක ඉවරයි.
ground ward away from
මේක Extreme එක දිරන්න තියෙන chance එක දැන් නිකන් 105ක් විතර තියෙනවා. නොවැම්බර් 5 අර ප්‍රතිඵල ඡන්ද ප්‍රතිඵල පාන්දර එකට විතර ඡන්ද ප්‍රතිඵල එන වෙලාවදී
probably would have won them the fight.
කෝද Shadow Fiend ලා එහෙම.
Ame, understandably, he has to work towards his MKB. As soon as he gets the MKB, he can take that man fight against the Medusa perhaps. But
අරුන් අරු දැන් මේ මේක කියන විදිහට MKB අරන් එද්දි අරුන්ගේ Medusa, Pango, මේ Siren ඔක්කොම strong වැඩි අරුන්ට ගහන්න.
Trying to get in front of him. He's going to go for the TP away. And Skeeter, he does. No, wait, the glimpse back. He gets a BKB.
That is very close.
It was so close. He just ran out towards the end of it.
Wearing through this Aegis. It is now expired for Skeeter. Playing field is even once again as some Blink Daggers coming out for a lot of these heroes. And the more important one, Ame, opting for Blink Dagger before he heads into that MKB.
I think he saw that opportunity from that Fissure and 100%. Was just like, oh, if I had a Blink Dagger there, what a world of difference it could have been. Another opportunity like that shows up, I will be prepared.
It makes sense with this lineup. Again, you have to jump together. Ame needs to be able to get in there when the opportunity presents itself. You may never get another one. And you have to get in there quick because that song is going to come out and reset the fight no matter what opening XXS finds. It's absolutely the right call. Just a matter of can you find that window. MKB also being built up from Skeeters.
බලන්නකො මුන්ට දැන් Towers එකෙන් push කරන්නත් බෑ.
2 carries as the Jug attempts to close the gap.
චීනු සෙට් එක ඔය බලන්නකො ඊළඟ අවුරුද්ද මේ චීනු සෙට් එක නෑ මොකද චීන ආණ්ඩුවේ මුන් යවනවා පතලක වැඩ කරන්න.
Falcons words have
අවුරුදු 10කට 15කට විතර එක්ක පතලක ගල්ලඟුරු පාන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ Foxconn factory එකක දවසට පැය 16ක් විතර iPhones හදන්න.
Oh, absolutely. Any bit of space for Extreme is worth its weight in gold right now. As Aghanim Scepter is almost done for XM alongside that level 20. It's a big power spike to have.
So much execution necessary here for XG to win a fight, though.
Yeah, and they're going to need every bit of that because it feels like they're going to have to contest Roshan.
This is a scary ages to go away. Your high ground defense is not great other than disruption. You're likely getting skewered off it. 2 lives on Skeeter. That's just too much mana, too much HP to get through. Especially with Horn Toss available for Amar. That win probability has
දැක්කද මේ ඔය පේන්නේ නැද්ද මම කිව්වේ නැද්ද ආරොන්ට බඩු කියලා.
XG, they have their work cut out for them. There are pathways to victory in these fights.
මං කිව්වේ.
It is a very thin margin.
Yes, this is not quite like Game 4. It felt pretty much undefendable for Extreme Gaming. This situation, you can definitely see they have the scale.
මේ Extreme උන්ට මේ ප්‍රශ්න ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ අරුසුවෙන් ගත්තේ නැති එකෙන්.
Without a doubt, in Falcon's advantage, it probably will be for some time.
So much can go wrong, right? Like you go in with that Omni, it bounces to a random Naga illusion and dies. There goes a lot of your damage.
Yeah.
You get songed on the jump in because someone doesn't BKB, that team fight can be over. You get stuck in the stone gaze while you're trying to Requiem, XM can just be a sitting duck. All these little interactions can just absolutely ruin what you're trying to do right here with the burst jump. And Falcons know it. They're going to send illusions out. They're going to play for the vision. They're not going to try and give you an easy opening. And if Amar sees a jump, he will take it.
And grind it out. Another Tormentor. Another Shard for them. Roshan's going to be, spawn point's going to be soon. Somewhere in this next 3 minutes. Extreme Gaming, get the map control while you can.
Mars rewarded. Extra skewer range, really nice here with this Horn Toss buildup.
Yeah, you move these heroes far enough away, it may not matter what kind of team fight Extreme Gaming is able to put together if they just can't reach the hero that is pulled apart.
To me, it's on Ame and this MKB. Can he land a good Omni Slash in the fight? Can he output the DPS? He gets here, he has a chance to bring this Medusa down. He has a decent shot to bring the Pangolier down, even in a Rolling Thunder. Malreen's very susceptible to just getting burst down by this Juggernaut. Doesn't have a defensive item. No Ghost Scepter online yet. Buys it out, flying it now. That's going to be a huge pickup for him.
Yeah, we've seen part of the problem with this matchup for Pango in this tournament. He Rolling Thunders in. There's really not much he can do if he gets Omni Slash. He just has to steer his way into neutrals or his own team and hope that the Omni Slash bounces off of him.
Omni Slash එක
it's just 100 to 0.
Omni Slash එක 0 damage බලන්නකො දැන් ඊළඟ team fight එකේ.
Across their 2 cores as the MKB arrives. The Mag and the Pango
goes fishing, finds the Horn Toss. Disruption, but only halfway through. And Malreen's going to ensure the kill, at least trying to with the Rolling Thunder. X-Nova protects himself. There's an Omni Slash. He may make it to his team. Malreen is still on. No, he goes down. And Shin Q finishes him off with the Demonic Purge.
Is this the opening? XG, can you find more right here?
Oh, they can just catch Skeeter, but the Fisher was just a little bit off the mark. Now he's teleporting away. The Croaker stopped.
The disruption.
It's not disruption. Oh, he was halfway through that animation.
Shin Q, you were on the precipice of finding the biggest opening in this game yet, and he was mid-animation. You cannot get any closer than that.
Robbed what could have been an opportunity for Extreme to take the Roshan, but instead, Falcons will have their heroes up to contest.
Still very clutch disruption. They got confused as to where that target was going to come out. That Omni was dicing up the Pangolier, did not get the Ghost Scepter off. A lucky bounce kind of bailed him out, but he ended up dying anyway.
Damage මදි තමයි.
Big gain for Extreme Gaming in terms of that vision advantage.
මොකද ජග් හොඳයි තව හොඳ DPS එකක්
They were
ඉද්දි.
thinking they were getting a free 5.
Shadow Fiend උත් හැබැයි මේකේ මේ එච්චර ලොකු කර්තව්‍යයක් කරන්න හිතපු තරම්.
Still, Falcons, they feel strong. They're going to push into this area. Even without the Pangolier, they know some of the ults are on cooldown. And Extreme Gaming, they are very dependent on some of these ults, particularly that Omni Slash.
Yeah, Extreme need another 45 seconds for that Omni Slash. And Roshan, they're going to leave a Medusa illusion inside of the pit. We'll see it as soon as it spawns.
I cannot believe they're pushing up like this without Ame. I don't think you have the damage to take down the front line without him.
The Roshan roars, and that's the call to action for Extreme. They bring their 4-man. But what about Ame? He's trying to make his way over here. They don't know how quick this goes. They got the disruption out, and on the side, there goes that Requiem. Blowing up Maureen. Skewered back onto the Shadow Demon. He got off Demonic Purge. That is excellent. And Decrepify goes down as well. They have to Static Storm this Shadow Demon just to get the kill on him.
This fight is open right now.
It is. Ame wasn't even a part of that one, and now he's got his Omni Slash. Extreme Gaming, there is an opening here.
They do not want to press it.
Can they force the fight? Can they take the Roshan, or are they just going to sit back and play for more time?
Oh, such a clutch find from XXS. He saw that Pango for a brief second, try and go up to that hill. That ward did so much work and just instant jump. Could see the difference now between here and that fight earlier. You get the stun on the Pango, XM, you better instantly get in there. You have about 2 seconds to make your player.
Skater is still playing inside this pit. Another roar goes out. Extreme Gaming well aware of what's happening here. Stalling and stalling.
Ame is just farming. He's doing Ancients right now.
Yeah, he's almost to a Swiftling.
It's like calling their bluff. It's like, you're not going to do Roche.
And you would be right about that with Roshan now swapping over to the other side of the map. Just another minute of farm time for Ame.
He made the most of it. Omni Slash back up, almost level 25. Do smoke and try and contest this? Yes. XG will not give up this Aegis for free. A tough angle to contest. Dire Ward scouting the entry to their triangle, but does not see them deeper in.
There's so much vision of Amar. They blink backwards on XXS.
There were creeps scouting.
Deal with the Watcher. The Roshan's already dead. The smoke on Falcons. Now on the offensive, looking for the glimpse pickoff. Found it on X-Nova. Pull them back inside the Static Storm. These supports are worth the ultimates. The saves are too annoying for Falcons.
Killing spree මං හිතන්නේ පුග්නාවම ෆාම් කරලාද කොහෙද?
To risk anything else.
අර අනිත්
It's done for Ame, and he's
එක්ස්ට්‍රීම් යෝන්ගේ ටීම්මේට්ස් ලා 4 දෙනා ඉන්නේ. මොකද පුග්නාවිල දැන් වැඩක් නැහැ.
Can this Juggernaut?
ඩොටා කරන කාලේ ස්කිල් නැතුව ප්‍රෝ කෙනෙක් විදියට අපි ඩොටා ගහපු කාලේ ස්කිල් තිබ්බත් එකයි නැතත් එකයි.
A more important Omni Slash in the history of this game right now. And if this is the spell you have to rely on, the tension in that booth must be at an all-time high.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are with the spells. Sometimes
it just doesn't go your way.
It just doesn't go your way. Luck can play against you.
You leave it up to fate. Can you find that opening? Refresher arrives for XM. To play with might buy you a lot more time in the fight, a lot more control too if you can land the double fears on some of these core heroes before the Stone Gaze comes out. Maybe make a zone of control so this Magnus can't get in there. All that goes out the window, of course, if Amar just finds the jump with the Horn Toss Skewer. But Jinkyu, he's been ready for those plays. Disruptions have been pretty on point.
Yep.
It is also something Falcons could play for, right? I go in with the Horn Toss. I know the Shadow Demon's going to show. Someone else get that Shadow Demon when he goes for the save. It can be a two-sided play.
Knowing how important this Omni Slash is, and the counter is right there. Everybody knows it. Lotus Orb. Look at Crit's gold. You make the call. What would you do? Would you get the Static Storm, or would you go for the Lotus Orb? They have Song into Static Storm, Ag Static Storm. It feels like a guaranteed team fight win, but at the same time, Lotus Orb is the ultimate defense against Ame right now.
I would go Ags just because it's so guaranteed with the Naga. But Crit, he always plays for the team. He always makes the right play. I think he's going to go the Lotus here. He's going to try and reflect that Omni.
No, he's bought out the Ags. He's already bought 3 of the components. 500 more gold until he's got an Ags. Somebody funnel him some gold. Amar fishing, got the Horn Toss, and Fisher is not going to stop the Skewer. Back into the Static Storm it goes once again.
බලන්නකො පුග්නායි මලා එනවා මැරෙනවා.
There is still this annoying Shadow Demon with the disruptions, but it's on cooldown for a bit.
මුන් ඉවරයි. මුන් පැරදි. මුන් පැරදුන හේතු දෙකක් තියෙනවා. එකක් ඇවිල්ලා පුග්නාව තෝරප එක. අනිත් එක තමයි ජගනාත.
There's that axe. Flying out for Crit. If they get the right, no! It's going to be Extreme jumping first. They go all in for the Magnus, and they've got him.
Look at Skeeter. He got veered into the base.
He did. He got pushed in deep. Falcons get a bit separated, but Extreme, once again, they're playing it slow. They hit the Fisher now, the follow-up. Ame, he's making the call to jump in. Takes a lot of damage. Oh, no, they're rolling down the mercy. They slash. No! Ame! What about the Omni Slash?
Didn't get it off in time, underestimated the burst damage, was trying to hold it for the second life and paid a massive price. No buyback available for this Juggernaut right now. He is 600 short.
The team gave him an opening. They got the pick off.
He got too greedy with it.
And now the team has to hold for him. Can they weather through Skater? A minute and a half left on the Aegis. They're trying to chip away at it, see if they can take it for free.
It's like you have to wait for the Juggernaut here. I mean, you go in and Requiem this Medusa, it's just not doing enough right now. You have good stall mechanics at least. This is not going to be the fastest push. But this will be a lane.
And there are no tier 2s left. Falcons won. They can keep this going. 40 more seconds till Ame's back up. 1 minute on the Aegis. Falcons have made the call. They're going to go another. Or maybe not.
You might not get another chance like that in this game, especially with that Ag Static Storm online. RP available. All the ults up for Falcons in 2 seconds. And you still have Aegis for 30. Do XG even have any smokes left? They pop so many.
Amar.
මොකද මුන් ෆැල්කන්ලා මෙතන මුළු ටීම් වයිප් එකක් වුණත් එහෙම අරුන් ටවර්ස් එහෙම පුෂ් කරලා නැති හින්දා ඒ ටීම් වයිප් එකෙන් කිසිම වැඩක් නැහැ. පුග්නා ආව මලා. පුග්නා ගත්ත එකෙන් මුන් ගේම් එක ත්‍රෝ කරා. පුග්නාවයි මේ පුග්නාවයි ජග්වයි ගත්ත එකෙන්. සොයින් හිටියා නම් එහෙම මීට වඩා ගහන්න තිබ්බා. මං කිව්වේ හැමදේම මං කියන්නේ පුග්නා ගන්න ටීම් එක පරදිනවා හැමදේම.
Will despawn, they'll back away, let the
මොකද විනාඩි 25ක් 30ක් විතර ගියාට පස්සේ පුග්නා useless.
And a smoke up from Extreme, hoping that Falcons would continue to take the fight as
Arun
the
Dinan.
Aegis expires, but they'll make no
Global
mistakes
Homo
here.
team එක දිනනවා.
It's time, Avery.
මුන්ට ෆැල්කන්ස් වල ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් දෙකක් ටීම් වයිප්ස් දෙකක් ගියත් උන්ට මේ කිසිම රිස්ක් එකක් නැහැ ගේම් එක පරදින්න.
This could be the killing blow. Extreme Gaming, you have to play with speed here. They have to make the initiation. They have to be so fast that they beat out Snake King's song.
They used their last smoke as well. It's about to expire. The vision is not on your side. The buybacks are not on your side. You're missing the 2 big ones here.
The creeps are pushing in. The illusions are pushing in. The Naga Siren, the Medusa. It's all
ICC
over the place.
ICC දින සීන් එකක්.
Falcons will give them a moment of reprieve. 2 minutes until another Roshan.
ඒ කියන්නේ literally අරුන්ට ටීම් වයිප්ස් දෙකක් afford කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ.
They are dangerous.
දැන් ඔය ස්වෙන්ලා ඩූම්ලා වගේ හෙන ස්ට්‍රෝං එකක් හිටියොත් එහෙම ටයිම් එක යන්න යන්න උන් ස්ට්‍රෝං වෙනවනේ. අරුන් වීක් වෙනවා. මේ පැත්තේ ස්ට්‍රෝං එක මොකුත් නැති හින්දා ඔය මේ ජගනාත් එහෙම සාමාන්‍ය දැන් ඌට යන්න පුළුවන් උපරිම ඔය ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්නේ.
He is 6 slotted. He can eat an Ags, buy something else, but
yeah, they already have all their shards. There's nobody to get it from this Tormentor.
Nothing left to get here.
You have almost every advantage you could ask for Falcons. They have Ags on almost every single hero. They have a shard on every
Extreme
single hero.
team fights 4ක් දිනන්න ඕනේ මැච් එක දිනන්න.
Holding on.
කවදාවත් වෙන්නේ නැති
We've
දේවල්
got
නේ.
a couple ultimates. We got the refresher on XM.
ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ආත්මෙට වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Team fights 4ක් දිනන්න ඕනේ.
For the lifesteal.
He needs BKB though. He cannot enter the fight unless he's just instant Omni into spin versus the Static Storm, versus these RPs, versus the Rolling Thunder into the Medusa damage like we saw earlier. He buys out. I think this is the correct call, but no buyback available for Ame. It will not be available in this next fight.
No room for mistakes here. But it might not even be a mistake. What if Snake King just songs into the base and they're able to just Static Storm it? Like, what is he going to do? He's just dead.
You get disrupted and hope you can survive. That is it.
Extreme Gaming are going to have to be so disciplined on their spacing here. Even deep inside their own base. All the way back behind tier 4s.
Yeah, they just don't know where the jump is coming. They have no vision right now.
අරුන් දැන් සදාකාලිකව ටීම මේක ගේම් එක loss. දැන් ඉතින් අරුන් අර මේ මරණ මංචකේ ඉඳන් අදෝනාව දෙන එක තියෙන්නේ.
The illusions are just non-stop 6%. Extreme are backed into a corner.
මේක අර
Will they
මේ
contest for the Roshan? Can they contest for the
හැමෝම අර
Roshan? These
නිකන්
Falcons still give them that
කලාතුරකින්
opportunity,
දකින
or
ලොකු
they just
කම්බැක් එකක් මේක එන්න
Roshan
බෑ.
more
මොකද
and then
මුන්ගේ මේ
smoking
ඔය
you.
There's no way they just sit in the pit. I mean, maybe you
මුන්ගේ
sit
ලීඩ් එක
Skeeter in
හැටියට
there, but
අඩුම
it's not
තරමේ
gonna be a
ටීම්
fun
ෆයිට්ස්
fight that you can take advantage of. There's
ටීම්
always gonna
ෆයිට්ස්
be
දෙකක්
non-illusions
පැරදුනොත්
on you.
එහෙම මුන් මැච් එක සමාන වෙනවා.
running out of smokes
හරිද?
in this game as
ටීම්
well.
ෆයිට්ස් 4ක් දිනන්න
Big
ඕනේ
question for
අරුන්ට
these
ලීඩ් එක
scores.
ගන්න.
Do you buy out in these situations?
Extreme
How valuable
එවුන්ට.
is your buyback versus something like a refresher on that shaker? 6k gold on XXS. It's do or die. The refresher might win you that fight. It could win you the game.
ටීම්
Buyback
ෆයිට්ස්
could
4ක්
also
කියන්නේ
win you a
කවදාවත්
base
වෙන්නේ නැති
fight.
දෙයක්. ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් 4ක් එක දිගට දිනන්න.
Might not even be able to get to the shop. That's another concern here.
These souls cast speed, so we're gonna have some instant requiems going out. He's got 2 of them. That is so much damage if you are right on top of a hero.
But think of how much control he has to go into.
Oh yeah.
Double Song, Ag Static Storm, Stone Gaze, RP, Rolling Thunder. Any of these spells can mess you up.
XXS buys out that refresher. He's
all
playing
in.
for the all-in.
Could have buyback available if he gets 500 more gold or so here, but that is not an easy task with how little map they have to work with.
Oh,
And
yeah,
there's just no way Ame can get his up.
They're getting the crumbs that are falling off of Falcon's tables right now.
Falcons know it. They're going to play it safe. They're going to play it disciplined. They're going to play for Roshan. Put an Aegis on this Medusa. There's a decent chance he just becomes untouchable. They're getting more Omni
Oh,
slash
nah,
counter
make a parody
ability
game, make a parody
E-Blade
arum.
available for this Magnus. They can build into some more Lotus Orbs.
මොකද ඊළඟ මේ ටීම් ෆයිට් එක පැවතුනහම ගේම් එක ඉවරයි.
E-Blade, a Ghost Scepter.
ඒකයි 6% මුන්ගේ වින් chance එක.
Surprisingly, no.
පැරදුන කට්ටියට එන්න පොඩි ගානක්
They could have
හම්බෙන්නේ.
just gone for that. Let
Main
Skeeter
prize
hit
pool
high
එකට
ground.
එකත් එක
Just keep,
සංසන්දනය කරන්න.
throwing those Lotus Orbs on him, but they played for the bigger kill. This big team fight combo. Falcons back up, go for the Roshan. It'll roar, and we'll see what Extreme do about this. Even if they smoke up, are they going to be able to get there in time?
It just seems like an impossible fight. If you know they're coming, you just song the play. You make them BKB early to have to commit. There's going to be some RP interrupt.
Got the horn toss once again. The Pugna punished time and time
Oh,
again.
Pugna nang shit. මහා කාලකන්ණියෙක් ඈ Pugna ගත්ත එක.
Force the buyback and they still claim the Roshan.
මං හිතන්නේ මේක මේ ජග්ට වඩා ගේම් එක පරදින්න හේතුව Pugna. Pugna තනියෙන් ෆීඩ් කරලා මූ ෆීඩර් කෙනෙක්. ඇත්තටම Pugnaව රිපෝට් කරොත් එහෙම අර වැල්ව් එකේ තියෙන ඔටෝ බොටා ඉන්නේ ඔටෝ මේ බෑන් කරන එක ඔටෝ බෑන් කරන එකෙන් Pugnaව ටයිම් අවුට් වෙනවා.
Very familiar with playing a late game Naga Siren lineup in a TI Grand Final.
තරහක් නෑ Pugnaව මරන්න
This is a team
ලේසි.
that knows how to abuse the vision, knows how to look for the jump. They have the vision, they have the jump.
මං ඒකයි කිව්වේ මේ ඔය මේකින කෝච්ලා එහෙම අති පණ්ඩිතයිනේ උන් අර මේක කවුන්ට් කරලා අරක කවුන්ට් කරලා 18 සංඥය දාලා 300 IQ නෙමෙයි හලෝ survivability තියෙන්න ඕනේ ඔක්කොටම කලින්.
He said, what do I need? It's all me, baby. I've got this. Fights an opening on 2.
What
now
can
Ame
Ame do?
has an opportunity. Oh, that Outworld Staff, man. It's just too good of a counter to the Omni Slash. Ame's making a run for it. He'll get back to the base safely. Falcons have bought back on Amar, though.
They want to end it. They still have Aegis. They know all the ults are on cooldown. This jump did not do enough with the
He's almost out
opening.
of mana on the first life here. Skeeter is getting quite low.
මං කිව්වේ අරුන් දැන් ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් 3ක් දිනන්න ඕනේ. අනික ඒක ෆුල් ටීම් වයිප් එකකුත් නෙමෙයි.
On this ward, Skeeter backs up. That's a one team fight for XG, stalling out this Aegis. XXS does it again. This man finds openings out of nowhere, and he has been decisive on the trigger.
Yeah, I couldn't even get to the preamble. He just saw a moment, went for it.
That's
Two
what you have
steps
to
and a
do.
blink.
You have to play like that in this game if you're going to win it as XG. And the slugger hits.
අරුන්ගේ බලන්නකො සෙකන්ඩර් ටවර්ස් එහෙම අල්ලලාවත් නැහැ. මුංගේ එහෙම අරුන්ගේ මේ ටවර්ස් තියෙන තැන් බේස් එක කොහෙද කියන්නේ කියලා. මම හිතන්නේ ගේම් එක පටන් ගත්ත වෙලේ ඉඳන් දැකලවත් නැහැනේ.
That's the upside for XG in this game. If you can
Extreme
find the
එවුම්.
jump, if you can commit, if you can
ගේම් අරුන්ගේ මේ ටවර්ස් එහෙම තියෙන පැත්ත පළාත කොහෙද කියලාවත්
the
දන්නේ නැහැ.
RP coming through, and it's not always fast enough, and it's not easy to get through these Requiem fears. 2.5 minutes left.
දැන්
on the
ඉතින්
clock
ඔව්
for
දැන්
Skeeter.
මොනවා
Round
කරත්
2 here
වැඩක්
for
නැහැ.
Falcons. They buy the bag to continue the push.
ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් තව 3ක් දිනන්න ඕනේ.
Trying to wait
එක
for
දිගට.
ultimate cooldowns.
The banner gets dropped, and the damage, it's coming so fast. Extreme had to cobble together some sort of idea here. Ame, he'll blink forward, deal with the banner.
Does have buyback
Spin on
now.
cooldown.
It's worth mentioning. 2
Rolling
lives on
Thunder,
the
that's
jug.
going to be a bit wasted here. Maureen tries to blink it again. Very awkward. Very far forward.
There's no punish, though.
That'll be a second lane. No response from Extreme on that.
They are being pushed to the limit here. Bend, don't break. That has been the motto of this squad, but you can only bend so far.
And amp damage is in that top rune. Falcons.
Oh, do they see it? Does someone go back to check?
See it, man. Skeeter setting up 2 minutes. He wants to force this now.
Look, A on disc, ready to be assembled for ATF. You might not be able to get that same kind of play on the Magnus anymore.
One building left till Megas.
You gotta go here.
HP, where's the jump? They make the jump now. Try and hit for the Requiem. The RP gets locked down as well. Song. Still though, the Fear pushes the Medusa inside. Little bit of a problem. Half mana for now. Trying to stall things out. Got the Static Storm out. Glimpse back onto him. Refresh. He couldn't get off the BKB. He's in trouble. The Crep Fight's gonna wear out. XM, now he gets off the BKB. He's making a run for it, but the Stone Gaze will allow Skeeter. He'll take Megas.
XG against Megas.
XXS, he doesn't want to let him leave. He's running straight to him. He challenges Crit, but a cheese goes off. Crit, he's alive for now, but he's separated the rest from the Medusa refresh, and now he's got lots of stuns. It's a win for a little bit more. Requiem, Fisher, everything they have. A jump forward, goes after Crit once again. Way to bash. Still though, the Medusa's in trouble. Ame, wait the song, and they can't stop him. He's teleporting away. There is no stuns.
He didn't omni him in the ghost blade because he felt like he was gone, but the song bailed him out. Falcons escape with everybody. Another opening where XG just fall a little short.
The fight recap shows Extreme Gaming. You got nothing out of that.
මොකද එක්ස්ට්‍රීම් එවුන්ට ඉන්න ටීම්මේට්ස් හතර දෙනයිනේ.
They have the lineup to hold up against Mega. The game is not over yet, not by a long stretch. But it does feel like Extreme Gaming is just bleeding, and they haven't really gotten any control back.
එක්ස්ට්‍රීම් තාම තුනක් දිනන්න ඕනේ. තව ටීම් ෆයිට්ස් තුනක් දිනන්න ඕනේ මේක දිනන්න.
Very few comebacks against Mega Creeps on the TI main stage. There has never been a comeback against Mega Creeps in a game 5 on the main stage.
ඒ කියන්නේ කවුරුත් කවමදාකවත් දිනලා නැහැ Mega Creeps එක්ක.
But XG are not out of this game yet. 5% chance they will take those odds if they can find one more opportunity to output the damage. Ame, he buys out yet again in this game, consumes an entire Ags. He will have the Swiss Slash to throw out now. More tools in his arsenal.
It'll be a little hard for Skeeter to make that same read with the Outworld staff that he did before.
And a Hex on XXS, more control. That buys a lot of time for Ame to go in and deal some serious damage. And they were dealing some serious damage to that Medusa. As bad as the fight outcome was for you, you got Megas, you didn't get a lot off of that. You gained some confidence in taking Skeeter down.
You did.
He died very fast, especially to XM's damage.
Yeah, it helps so much that both the Requiem and these long-range Fishers, it pushes a lot of these Falcons heroes who are trying to sit behind the Medusa. It pushes them so far away that Skeeter just ends up on an island.
Exactly. Isolate the Medusa, take him out. Even if a clutch E-Blade comes through, you might still just be able to push through it. You always have the Demonic Purge to throw on him. Guarantee the Omni lands outside of the Outworld staffs here. Falcons take a breather, decide to farm up, try and reset this game a little bit. Still firmly in control. But you're going to have to close this one out.
මොකද මේ බලන්නකො කොච්චර මේ ඒ කියන්නේ අරුන්ට අරුන්ගේ tier 2 towers උත් තාම තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ උන් team wipe එකක් උනත් අරුන්ට මේ push කරන්න බෑ. team wipes තුනක් කරන්න ඕනේ මේ දිනන්න. කවදාවත් වෙන්නේ නැති දේවල්. කවමදාකවත්.
What do you even do?
No BKB on this Dusa. I mean, you could just throw all the hexes into Skeeter, remove a lot of damage from the fight. You might get RP'd, but if there's no one to kill you in the RP, is it going to do that much here?
Look at all the Lotuses he's stacking up, man.
Oh, they are stacking them.
Another Tormentor. Once again, nobody to take the shard, just some gold for the squad. We're going to be playing 50 seconds until Roshan has the potential to respawn. I think this is a situation where Extreme, no way they can contest. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned base defense. It's just going to be sitting on your tier 4s, daring Falcons to get closer and closer to your fountain, where the buybacks are more potent.
Those buybacks are everything now for XG. Ame, you're pretty much capped out. You just got to play for maybe a refresher, maybe a nullifier somewhere in this lineup, but buyback is a lot more important at this point.
I mean, if he could get to Refresher, that would be sick. 4 different slashes to get around these Outworld staffs and these Ghost Scepters.
Gotta abuse the fact that the fight is gonna happen in your base and you're gonna be able to reset a couple times. At the same time, I mean, if you can continue to find levels in this game, the Shadow Fiend level 30 talent for some extra Shadow Raise damage, all these small things can add up here. Probably need to win a fight to get here, at least 1 or 2. But you look at this net worth lead, a lot of this net worth lead for Falcons is on that support duo, which can play a huge role, but it's not necessarily going into this core-on-core man fight. And we've seen how quickly that fight can go XG's way. This game is not easy to end right now.
Mar has an E on disc. He's ready to put together if this initiation goes wrong, but it doesn't. He got the opening on the Shadow Fiend straight to the Static Storm. That's going to be a buyback.
No disruption in time. A clutch
දැන් ඉතින් අනිත්‍යුන් එනවා චීනු ටික. එනවා යනවා.
25 off that extra RP stun duration can also be very impactful.
XM doesn't use his buyback right away. He's going to wait for Falcons to make another push. And Falcons are certainly going to go for that push. But how many times can they find this fissure opening? Every single time he goes for it, there's this risk that XXS responds fast enough, that one of these supports managed to get off some sort of save.
The awkward timing here, Roche up in 40 seconds. You have to know that this is in the range for the spawn interval.
Yeah, maybe Falcons, maybe they just go back. Maybe they've taken this SF kill, but maybe they can't actually force the buyback for the risk. What if they lose this fight? What if they give up Roshan?
The safe discipline play is to take Roshan here. 2 lives on the DOTA is what lets you break the high ground. As tempting as it is to force the fight without the SF, it could go horribly wrong. And then if you lose that Roche, it could all slip away. They're thinking about both. They went to the pit, now they're back to the base. ATF, he's made the call. He wants to look for somebody.
Once again, the Pugna, because why not? A disruption, okay. Gets thrown out onto the Magnus. Lotusaur bounces it back, and it's still the death of X-Nova. Man, it's just not getting to play any Dota right now. Still, though, they popped
not getting to play any Dota කියන්නේ ඌ ඉතින් ගේම් එකේ ඉන්න චොරම හීරෝ කෙනෙක් වරගෙන ඌ සදාකාලික පරලොව.
They just have to go to Roche.
Most important things in this game right now are the buybacks for XG and their glyph. These are the 2 things they need to maintain in this game to have a fighting chance in that base defense. Doesn't matter how much lead you grow from here. The fight is not going to change that much. Maybe Refresher on crit gives you a little more potential, but you've reached your potential with this lineup. All the playmaking is there, and XG, they want to contest this Roche.
This is crazy.
This is absolutely insane. Going into all the vision, all the control, you can get sub-static stormed at a moment's notice.
And creeps are still hitting their tier 4s. They haven't even pushed the base out yet.
They're just going to get thrown. You have to go back.
You have to go back. There's no way you can stop this Roshan Falcons. They play it cool. They back away. 5-man smoke up, and now they're heading into the base.
They lost tier 4s off that. They lost so much.
They realize that Extreme are a bit out of position. If they can get to the base before some of these other heroes, they can get yet another pickoff. It's X-Nova again.
බලන්නකෝ පුග්න ආයි මලා. මොන
does not have
මොන මෝඩේ දප්පා ෂෙක්.
Is that enough, Falcons?
හීරෝස්ලා ගන්නවා කියලා මෙහෙමත් ගන්නවද?
He's tired of this. No, the Lotusaur. Swift Slash. It was just a Swift Slash. Meanwhile, GQ. He just died in an instant. Skeeter took him out. And oh no, XM got bashed up right as he tried to go for the run for him. And he's gone.
XG crumbling right now.
They're wearing through these heroes one by one. And Ame in frustration, he managed to get his spin up there. The inside, but it's that Stormer response. And it's Song as well. Still though, the spin gets off the slash spin and bounce backwards. It didn't get onto the heroes. Now what do? You need a Refresher. XXS, he can't go back. He has to go in. He has to use everything he has. Refresher into the Echo Slam. They get one. They got lead. Half HP on Skeeter. Ame fighting for it. Can he take down DOTA? He's almost the song. And now a refresh. When he comes back up, Snaking has just saved the game for them. It was going to be the DOTA dead, and instead, it's a Falcons victory.
Ame, you've been here before. Will you be denied again?
මේක පුග්නවයි ජග්වයි තෝරප එකෙන් මේක පැරතුනේ. හොඳ වැඩේ චීනුන්ට චොර හියෝස්ලා වරගෙන ත්‍රෝ කරා බැට් එක.
Went to a game 5. That game 5 went to the 58-minute mark. It took every buyback XG had to hold on to that game. Every tower in the base. Falcons push it to the limit. They gave ATF the hero that has been Ame's nightmare time and time again. The Magnus will once more shut their dreams of an Aegis down and achieve the dreams for this Falcon squad. A long time in the making for some of these players. They will finally lift this Aegis. For some of them, they've been here before.
චීනු එක පැරදුනේ තනිකරම මේ පික්ස් වලින්. Skills වලට වඩා පික්ස් වලින් පරද්දගත්තා.
Now two-time TI winners, and they do it with their teammate AUI, who is now the first coach for a 3-time champion. The duo of Maureen and Amar, from their time together in obscurity on a little team called Creep Wave, moving to different teams, cheering each other on every step of the way, and now realizing their dreams as a team. And then Crits, the player at this TI, the longest consecutive run, 12 years in the making for him, and now the moment of triumph, the International 2025 champions, Team Falcons!
අරුන්ට කෙලින්ම මේ ගල් අඟුරු පතලේ වැඩ ඊළඟ අවුරුදු 10ට කවුද අඟුරු මිට්ට අඟුරු මිට්ටේ ඉන්නවද නේද?
Congratulations, boys. Of course, I'm going for you first. ATF, my man, you have told the world that you were the best player on your team, the best player in the world. And now, you got the proof, baby. Now, you were right. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to Amar, the first place international champion! Any words, my friend?
Thank you, my family. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, my team. Thank you to everyone who supported us.
මේ අරාබියෙක් නේ.
It's just the beginning.
Skitter! I guess the debate is over. Wraith Pact TI was not a fluke after all. You carried your team in Singapore and you have done it here again in Hamburg. Skitter, the mic is yours, my man. What's on your mind?
I'm just so happy that I was part of a squad that helped Crit win TI after he tried so many years. I'm just so happy for him. And obviously
ඊළඟ අවුරුදු ෂැන්හායි වල බලන්නකො චීන ආණ්ඩුවෙන් අර එන ප්ලේස්ලට මේ වහහරි දීලා අනිත් ටීම් එකේ ඉන්නේ උන්ට වහහරි දීලා මේ ඕක දිනන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා බලන්නකො ලබන අවුරුද්දේ චීනු ටික චීන වල ඔලිම්පික්ස් තිබ්බ කාලෙත් ඕකනේ කරේ
American brother. You have been the glue that has kept this team together. You always believed in this team, and they have always believed in you. And now, you get to raise a second Aegis with your brothers! How does it feel? Any words for them?
It's amazing. I'm on top of the world. I'm very grateful for Skitter and AI. We're going to run it again.
We're going to run it again!
Maureen, may I baller you for a moment, and you think you could maybe lift the Aegis for me as well? There are only 11 different mid laners inscribed on this trophy, and now you are joining the ranks of Dota history on just your second TI. Now I know generally you got a lot to say, Maureen, but has a TI made you speechless?
I barely can talk, but I never would dream and think that I would have any chance winning TI.
Chino
as a earliest.
cricket game එකගේ final එකට ඇවිල්ලා කනවා හැමදාම. නෑ ඊළඟ එක දිනනවා. මොකද ෂැන්හායි වල තියෙනවා නම් එහෙම. චීනෝ කරන්නේ අර අනිත් ටීම් එකේ ඒ උන්ගේ කැම්බ් බීම් වලට වස එහෙම දාලා. උන්ට කලන්ත එහෙම හදවලා දිනනවා අනිවාර්යෙන් බලන්නකෝ. ලබන අවුරුදු චීනෝ අනිවාර්යෙන් දිනන්නේ නැද්ද කියලා.
Fantastic. Sir, we will take that Aegis right over here. Oh, okay. Give it away whoever you want. That's all yours. All right. Owie 2000. Hell yeah! Lift it up! Owie 2000, you are the first man in history to see 3 teams to an Aegis, my friend. You have broken the record, and there's no denying you're the greatest mind in Dota history! Is there anyone you would like to thank in this moment?
I think just my team, Stas in particular. Thank you, Stas, carrying TTI. But no, thanks for all the people who make this game so great. Honestly, like I don't know what my life would be without Dota, and I don't know. I just can't express my thanks enough to everyone. Thank you for watching. Thanks for
කවුරුත්
supporting us.
මේ ගේම් නුවලට thank you කියන්නේ නැහනේ. දැන් Dota හදපෙවුන්ට thank you කියන්න ඕනේ ඔක්කොටම කලින්.
Thank you.
ස්වෙන් ගත්තේ ස්වෙන් ගත්තේ නැති එකයි පුග්නව ගත්තේ කෙනුයි තමාරුන් පෙරදුනේ.
But certainly not at all the least, Crit. This moment is the culmination of 9 different TI attempts. When many people would have given up, you persevered, my man. No matter what the rosters, no matter what the setbacks, no matter what the region, you never gave up. And now the day has come. Crit, you are a TI winner!
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's been a long time, and I like to not react too much when we win, and I feel like this time I'm lucky that I can even talk. I just want to thank everyone that supports us, especially our friends and family. Yeah, just thank you, everyone. It means everything.
Enjoy the moment, my friend. If anyone has earned it, it is you. And all of us, please, can we celebrate in this moment and make one more round of applause for your TI-14 champions, Team Falcons!
A crowning achievement on anyone's career, and Team Falcons, they get it for themselves. A team effort that spans beyond the 5 players and their coach to get to this moment, to get to this main stage here in Barclays Arena in Hamburg, and they have done it. They have finally done it, Kazu.
What an absolute treat to watch this entire TI and them winning this TI. And you can just, like, it's one thing to win TI and it's another thing to win it with the people closest to you. Like Amar and Malrine, they've played together for years. You can just see it. It's honestly like it's so touching and beautiful to like see this game unfold and to see a team win. It's taking me like everywhere.
I mean, in 2024, they were the favorites, right? They came into the Copenhagen TI with Crit on the roster, you know, hometown hero. They weren't able to do it. They kept the same roster. They didn't give up. In 2025, they didn't even win a single LAN. Coming into this TI, you know, they still weren't considered the favorites, but they showed that through the tenacity of these 5 players, with their coach, with their management, and everyone around them, they were able to pull out some of the best strategies that we have seen at this TI.
I mean, they struck gold with this roster. Ever since Falcons came into the scene a year ago, they were considered one of the best teams, even though they didn't win that TI last year. They're here on the stage now as the winners. They didn't change a thing. All of these players are so exceptional at what they do. They are so good in their roles. They have the confidence. They did not falter. And their road was long. It was grueling. They played the longest games during the road to TI. They had some throws. They had some comebacks. They went through the ringer to get to this Aegis.
Even with going through the upper bracket, they were still the team that played most games with the road to TI and the TI combined.
I mean, I feel like it had to be Crit to win it then, right? The fact that, you know, like we've already said, you know, it's his 9th TI in a row. He hadn't won it yet. He finally overcomes it. Of course, snaking Skidder is now their second TI in the books. Malrine's second ever TI played. He finally gets his win. It really is just a matter of everything. And for Amar to so calmly say when he lifts the Aegis, you know, that's not the end of it. You know, there's more to come.
This is the start.
This is the start.
They're both 20 years old. Like they're like best friends winning TI together at 20. You have Crit who powers through it for like years and years. And I know that snaking, he has to deal with Amar and Malrine, and I know that they're clowns a lot of the time. Like he has to like, you know, simmer them down, level them, make sure everything works. And AUI 2000, there's a big reason that people call him like IQ 2000. Like this guy, he knows it all. This team, I don't know, it's just so amazing to watch them.
I love that team dynamic though, that you mentioned, that there are these 2 crazy kids just having fun. They're playing for the love of Dota 2. You know, people laugh at them, people call them toxic because they're just enjoying themselves. They're tipping, they're in it together. You saw how they just plopped on the ground, just relieved at the win, staring at each other. That was a shot out of a movie, looking at that.
Yes, it really was.
That's how much, you know, TI means to these players, right? They've won so many tournaments.
Hari Manduka.
That emotional lay on the floor, you know, that's how much this tournament has a grasp on our players. Like, this is why this tournament is the most beautiful tournament of any point in the calendar. Is everything. And for the players, you can see how much it means to them.
Yeah, it has been a fantastic for 2 years in the making, I think, this grand finals for Team Falcons. And to make it in a game 5 as well, I do want to say, I mean, they did eliminate Extreme Gaming with the Magnus. I'm going to forgive them for that.
Arme won't, but
he will never forget. Like he already has so many days he can't forget. Like this one on top for XG. It's honestly so sad and like so trauma-inducing, but you gotta really give it to Falcons. They go back for the Snaking Naga. He's won TI with it before. Crit on Disruptor, not something we see too often, but this guy, he's played for so long. He's been in so many lands, in so many games. He can play whatever you need him to play.
Also, Skeeter on that Medusa, give that man his flowers. In a lot of the games this tournament, it was Malrine and Amar scaling heroes into the late game. In this game 5, they put full faith in Skeeter. They made him the expected him to carry them until the very end, and that he is a world-class player. He's the best carry in the world right now.
එහෙම නැත්නම් කැම් ගේම් එකේ කැම් ගර්ල්ස් ලා ඉන්න ගේම් එකේ මේවා එක කරන්නත් තියෙනවානේ.
Say the Rave Pack TI. People were saying, yeah, they only won because of Rave Pack here, there. No, look at them at this TI. They make the meta. They play their heroes. They play them top class, and that's why they win the tournament, not because of some random items here or there.
I mean, it's the fact that it's a team where all 5 players at different points had to shine to win a game, right? It's not a TI where we're looking at one player who's been able to, you know, carry the team or whatever, right? It literally is.
හැමෝටම එහෙනම් මේ සුබ රාත්‍රියක්.
And creating this
අපි ආයේ හෙට හම්බෙමු.
and, you know, friendship.
Yeah, let's take a look at the road that Team Falcons has taken to get to this very point.